increase the feelings between them, because this is a manifestation of care in the other person's heart, but the premise is full trust. Then do you want to check other places? Su Luo winked at Yi Zaiamu. Go take a shower quickly, you old pervert, I'm so sleepy. Yi Zaiamu blushed and spat at Su Luo. Okay, wife, wait for me, Su Luo said, bending down and kissing Yi Zaiamu. Go wash quickly, you smell of alcohol. Yi Zaiamu patted Su Luo and said coquettishly. Okay, wait a moment, Su Luo said, taking the clothes and walked into the bathroom. TT keyword add data title equals beauty. Data tag equals recommended products. Data type equals 1. Data value equals 1930/TT keyword add. Wife, go to sleep. Su Luo hugged Yi Zaiamu from behind and said softly. Yeah, Yi Zaiamu responded softly. Ever since the two of them fell asleep like this, Yi Zaiamu's sleeping posture has improved a lot. He basically doesn't kick Su Luo anymore, and he doesn't toss and turn anymore. This might be a sense of security, the sense of security that comes from being nestled in Su Luo's arms. The next morning, Su Luo was woken up by a phone call. Remind him to meet downstairs at the hotel at 8 o'clock in the morning. After Su Luo finished washing up, she woke up Lu Mio and asked her to come and continue sleeping with Yi Zaiamu. Wife, I'm going to record a show. Mio will be here soon. Su Luo squatted beside the bed and said softly. Yeah, okay, be careful, Yi Zaiamu said in a daze. Ding dong, the doorbell rang. Zaiamu Miao is here, so I'll leave first. Su Luo kissed Yi Zaiamu and spoke. Okay, Yi Zaiamu closed his eyes and waved his hand. Su Luo smiled, stood up and left, then opened the door. Brother-in-law, Lu Mio stood at the door with a pretty face. Miao, please go in, I'll leave first. Okay, brother-in-law, take care. Lu Mio walked into the room and waved to Su Luo. Let's go, Su Luo said and walked into the elevator. Ding, the elevator door opened. Brother Chichai, good morning. Chen Chichai was already in the elevator. Zairo Luo, good morning. Chen Chichai greeted with a smile. How is it, did you not drink too much yesterday? Chen Chichai asked curiously. Brother Ko and Brother Lu helped me block a lot of alcohol, otherwise I would have been drunk, Su Luo said, touching his head. Well, remember this from now on. The amount of liquor cannot exceed 8 taels. Luckily, it was a small cup yesterday, otherwise you would have fallen down if you drank like that, Chen Chichai warned. Thank you, Brother Chichai, I know, Su Luo said seriously. And remember, when you go to a drinking party, don't let your glass out of your sight and don't get drunk. Chen Chichai's expression suddenly became serious as he gave a warning. Brother Chichai, Brother Ko said almost the same thing yesterday. What does it mean? Su Luo had witnessed his father's drinking parties before, and he always drank hard. But why did it seem different in the entertainment industry? The entertainment industry is a complicated place. You will understand it later. Just remember what I tell you. Chen Chichai patted Su Luo's shoulder. Su Luo looked at Chen Chichai and instantly understood what he meant. She moved closer to Chen Chichai and asked in a low voice, do men in the entertainment industry also have Q rules? Q rules don't discriminate between men and women. Besides that, there are times when someone deliberately gets you drunk and threatens you. It's not ruled out. The entertainment industry is very competitive, and there will always be people who will do anything to get what they want, so you must be vigilant, Chen Chichai said earnestly. Okay, Brother Chichai, don't worry, I will definitely pay attention to it. Su Luo nodded in response. Ding, the elevator reached the first floor. Let's go, we don't know what the program for today will be recorded yet, Chen Chichai said as he walked out of the elevator. Su Luo followed beside him without saying a word. Director Yan was already waiting at the door. You must be Zairo Luo, right? I'm Yan Min and I often hear Kai mention you. Yan Min smiled and stretched out his hand. Hello, Director Yan, I'm sorry to trouble you. Su Luo quickly reached out and held Yan Min's hand and spoke. No trouble, you are Chichai's friend, so we are all friends. Don't be polite. Yan Min waved his hand and said with a smile. The three of them chatted for a few minutes, and then the others came down one after another. Unlike other variety shows, where the actors didn't stand still and then record the opening, a minibus came directly. Under Yan Min's guidance, the recording officially began with a click sound and the sound of the board being hit. 8 people got on the bus one after another. Chen Chichai and Deng Ko sat in the front row on the left, and General Fan sat in a separate seat in the first row on the right. Behind him is Uncle Dong, followed by Wang Mayan in the second row on the left, Lu Han in the third row, and Du Heishu in the last row. Su Luo was the last one to get on the bus. As soon as she got on, Lu Han pulled her over and sat next to him. After everyone was gathered, the car started to move slowly. Welcome everyone to Chen Chichai's hometown, Fuzhou, Yan Min said, holding a radio in front. Upon hearing this, Chen Chichai stood up, turned around and waved to the others. Today we are here to taste the delicious food of Fuzhou. This is a time when you can really relax, Yan Min said with a smile. I won't believe a single word the production team says now, Lu Han suddenly said. Really? Yan Min immediately retorted. You swear? Chen Chichai immediately followed up. I'll give you 4, Yan Min said, raising his right hand and extending 3 fingers. I'm warning you, don't play word games with me. Chen Chichai stood up and warned. Don't worry, today is all about eating, drinking, and having fun, Yan Min said with a smile on his face. Chapter 135, Brothers Entertainment, is about to collapse. I'm really worried, Deng Kao agreed. Please give me some face, otherwise I can't continue recording. Yan Min finally begged for mercy. Let's stop talking nonsense, Chen Chichai said. Everything was recorded normally. At noon, Yan Min found Su Luo and Lu Han alone. The two of them performed a dance that rocked the stage, and it was not out of place to give Su Luo a separate shot. After this clip was released, it immediately attracted a large number of fans of the actress and Lu Han. This is Miu Miu's husband. His dancing is amazing. I love you, tell Zhan Zhan that I can't go back. Isn't Su Luo known as a joke teller? Why is she so low-key except for this moment? After all, it's someone else's variety show, so I guess he doesn't want to take over the show. His emotional intelligence is very high. Snap, the sound of hitting the board. Several people were sitting at the dining table, recording the final end. It's finally over, I'm so tired, Chen Chichai lay back. Yes, it's too tiring, Du Heishu also agreed. Today's program almost covered the entire Fuzhou, from morning to night. Stop complaining, hurry up. It's time for the next game, barbecue and beer. Deng Kao patted Chen Chichai on the side. There's a barbecue place, and let me tell you, it tastes amazing. Come with me. Chen Chichai immediately stood up, waved to the program crew, and then walked out with a few guests. Let's go together. Just as Su Luo was about to leave, Deng Kao pulled her back and refused to let her go no matter what. Helpless, Su Luo had to take out her cell phone and send a message asking for leave. Wife, the show just ended, and now I'm calling you to go have barbecue. Okay, come back early and bring me some. I want to eat it too, hee. Expression kiss. Yi Zairamou replied to the message almost immediately. Yeah, I'll bring it back to you. Wait for me, expression /Mua. Then Su Luo put away her phone and followed the group to a food stall. Zio Luo, what are your plans next? Chen Chichai sat next to Su Luo eating skewers and asked. I don't have too many plans yet. Su Luo thought about it. He really had no idea about the development of the entertainment industry. You have to think clearly about this path. Just because your wife is a singer doesn't mean you have to follow the same path as her. The development of the entertainment industry has different paths but the same destination, and in the end we can all help each other. Chen Chichai acted like a caring older brother. I understand, Brother Chichai. Su Luo nodded. Brother Kao, Brother Lu, Brother Chichai, I'm leaving. Su Luo stood up and said goodbye to the 3 of them. If you ask Su Luo what she gained from participating in this variety show, then Su Luo can firmly say that she gained 3 more good brothers. Okay, Zio Luo, go back slowly. Chen Chichai nodded. Su Luo's announcement has ended, but they haven't yet. They have to record the beginning of the next episode and then start directly. Su Luo returned to the hotel carrying the barbecue. Ding dong, Su Luo rang the doorbell. Brother-in-law, Lu Miao opened the door. Miao, don't go yet. Eat something before going back. Su Luo immediately stopped Lu Miao, who was about to leave, and spoke. Okay, thank you, brother-in-law. Lu Miao's eyes lit up, and she said immediately, running back to the room. Sister Zairamou, my brother-in-law brought back barbecue. Lu Miao ran back to the room and spoke immediately. Upon hearing this, Yi Zairamou immediately got up from the bed and walked out. Hubby, you're back. Yi Zairamou stood in front of Su Luo coquettishly. Well, this is the barbecue you want to eat. Su Luo raised her hand and placed the barbecue on the table in the room. Hubby, you should eat with us, Yi Zairamou said while eating the skewers. I'm full, you guys eat. Su Luo waved her hand and refused. Yi Zairamou and Lu Miao were chatting and laughing while eating barbecue. Su Luo picked up her clothes and took a shower. Then I sat down at the computer and started typing. I've been typing whenever I have a free moment these days, and I'm almost done with Zhu Xian Zhuan. Sister Zairamou, you should go to bed early. I'm going next door. After eating barbecue, Lu Miao stood up and said, Okay, Yi Zairamou nodded, stood up and sent Lu Miao to the door. The next day, the 3 returned to the Magic City. After several days of fermentation, the stock price of Brothers Entertainment plummeted, and Luo Wen and Luo Wu were also restricted from leaving Shanghai. Tanya was extremely happy these days because Brothers Entertainment was in trouble, and the ban on Su Luo and Yi Xiaomu had no effect. All the companies were eager to get rid of their relationship with him immediately, and the police investigation into Brothers Entertainment was difficult to obtain due to the long time involved. "Mr. Jiang, I don't know why you do this." In a villa in Shanghai, Luo Wen said with his mobile phone in hand. "What do you think?" Jiang Yu was walking in the train station dragging a suitcase. "I don't know how we have offended you. As long as you can help me have fun, I will give you shares," Luo Wen said pleadingly. "No need, I'm just taking revenge on you. Good luck to you," Jiang Yu said and hung up the phone. Bang, a girl bumped directly into his arms. Then the mobile phones in the hands of the two people also flew out. "Hey, what are you doing?" This was a woman wearing a mask and sunglasses. "Sorry, I didn't notice," Jiang Yu said, bending down to pick up the mobile phone and handing one of them to the woman. "Hey, little brother, you're quite handsome. Let's chat on WeChat." The woman looked at Jiang Yu and her eyes lit up. Jiang Yu rolled his eyes at the woman in front of him who was wearing a mask and sunglasses and asked for her contact information. "I'm sorry, I don't think there's anything wrong with you. I have something else to do, so I'll leave first." After Jiang Yu finished speaking, he chose a direction and left. "You what?" Zhu Qing was stunned. Yes, this woman was Zhu Qing. After getting off the high-speed train, she immediately left her agent and ran away. As a result, he bumped into Jiang Yu, but was ignored. "Xiaomu, I'm in Shanghai. I heard you bought a new house. Could you please let me stay here for a few nights?" Zhu Qing looked at the distance with hatred. Then he took out his cell phone and made a call. "No problem. When does your high-speed train arrive? I'll pick you up," Yi Xiaomu said in surprise. "No need, I'm already here. Just send me the address and I'll go straight there." Zhu Qing stretched out his hand to stop a taxi. "Okay," Yi Xiaomu agreed, and then reported the address, Giyuan Court, Villa 36. "I'll be there soon. I'm hanging up first," Zhu Qing said and hung up the phone. Not long after Yi Xiaomu arrived home, she received a call from Zhu Qing. "Honey, my best friend Zhu Qing will be here soon. Please cook more dishes," Yi Xiaomu shouted towards the kitchen. "Okay," Su Luo agreed after hearing this. Chapter 136, 1 month later. On the other hand, Jiang Yu did not go to find Su Luo immediately after arriving in the Magic City. No matter what, now that he has lost his job, he plans to find another one first and then contact his good brother. Looking at the Magic City TV building in front of him, Jiang Yu smiled and walked in. TT keyword add data title equals beauty, data tag equals recommended products, data type equals 1, data value equals 1930/TT keyword add. "Brother-in-law, your craftsmanship is really amazing," Zhu Qing said with admiration on his face. "Xiaoking, if you like it, eat more." Yi Xiaomu smiled and picked up a piece of beef and put it into Zhu Qing's bowl. "Ah, after this meal I'm going to get fat again." Zhu Qing looked a little hopeless, but he quickly recovered. "But it doesn't matter. I have already finished filming this drama, and I don't know when the next one will be released." Zhu Qing seemed to be comforting himself. Yi Xiaomu and Su Luo looked at each other and nodded to each other. "Xiaoking, do you think Lu Zuki's image is similar to you?" Yi Xiaomu said with a smile. "This doesn't look like a human at all." Zhu Qing wiped the oil off his mouth and continued eating. "I'm not talking about personality, I'm talking about appearance." Yi Xiaomu looked at Zhu Qing's appearance and the corners of his mouth twitched. Who would have thought that Zhu Qing would look like this when eating? "That's a bit similar. After all, my costume dramas are still quite popular," Zhu Qing said with some pride. "Wait, Xiaomu, what do you mean? Lu Zuki?" Zhu Qing suddenly looked up and looked at Yi Xiaomu, saying in surprise. "Well, we are planning to shoot Zhu Xianjuan. I estimate that the project should be approved within 2 months," Yi Xiaomu said seriously. "So what is Lu Zuki's role?" Zhu Qing asked tentatively. "It's yours. You are my good sister after all." Yi Xiaomu smiled sweetly at Zhu Qing. "Xiaomu, this, I don't know what to say," Zhu Qing said excitedly. "It's okay. If you really want to thank me, just teach me how to act," Yi Xiaomu said with a smile. "Do you want to become an actor?" Zhu Qing looked at Yi Xiaomu curiously. "Well, if possible, I want to play by way. I just don't know if it will be too late," Yi Xiaomu said uncertainly. "Based on the speed at which I update and the crew's preliminary location selection work, filming will not officially begin until at least the second half of next year." Su Luo saw Yi Xiaomu was worried, so she just said it directly. Originally, he was not planning to speak. After all, it was not appropriate for him to join in the conversation among other girls. but he really couldn't bear to see Yi Zayaramu disappointed. "Husband, are you serious?" Yi Zayaramu looked at Su Luo in surprise. "If you want to make a good drama, it will only go slowly. It won't be faster than this," Su Luo explained. "Then we must make a good drama," Yi Zayaramu said as a matter of course. After dinner, Su Luo was typing in the room, while Yi Zayaramu and Zhu Qing were learning acting in the guest room. Of course, Zhu Qing himself is not the best, but he is more than capable of teaching Yi Zayaramu. In the following month, Tanya also talked with Zhu Qing about the termination of the contract. In the end, Zhu Qing paid 10 million in termination fees and officially signed a contract with Zayaramu Entertainment. At the same time, Zayaramu Entertainment also signed a large number of trainees. Zayaramu Entertainment has officially started operation, and Lu Mio has officially been appointed as the director of the Artist Affairs Department. In addition, Brothers Entertainment was dismantled and divided up by various entertainment companies. Just like that, the huge company, Brothers Entertainment, disappeared. May 7, Jiang Yu, who was the fuse, was sitting in a cafe at this moment. Opposite her was a heavily made-up woman. "Do you have a car? Do you have a house? Do you have savings?" The woman started speaking in cliches. "No," Jiang Yu said with a smile. "No, you still come here for a blind date. Isn't this a waste of my time?" the woman said, and immediately stood up to leave. "Wait," Jiang Yu stopped him. Remember to pay for your coffee." Jiang Yu called the waiter over and paid for his own cup. "Fuck, poor bastard." The woman angrily threw down the 100 yuan and turned away. "Here you go, the rest is a tip. It was given to me by that woman, don't hesitate." Jiang Yu smiled and handed 100 to the waiter. Then Jiang Yu took out his cell phone and made a call. "Liu Ko, you idiot. If you try to trick me again, you'll be dead." "Brother Jiang, isn't this what my uncle and aunt asked me to arrange?" Liu Ko said aggrievedly. "Then can you and I find someone more reliable? Do you think my parents would like this girl?" Jiang Yu said helplessly. "Don't worry about that. Uncle and auntie will definitely like it. They only have one requirement, a woman." "Get lost," Jiang Yu said and hung up the phone. "I have been in Shanghai for a month and have settled down here smoothly. Now I am an editor at Shanghai TV station. Zairo Luo, I'm in the Magic City." Jiang Yu sent a message to Su Luo. At this time, Su Luo was accompanying Yi Zayaramu in the hospital for a prenatal checkup. "Everything is normal," said the doctor. "Thank you, doctor." Su Luo took Yi Zayaramu's hand and walked out of the gynecology department. At this time, Yi Zayaramu's abdomen was slightly bulging, but fortunately there was no reaction of a pregnant woman. Ding dong! A message came on Su Luo's phone. "Zairo Luo, I'm in the Magic City." Jiang Yu's message. "Oh my God, didn't you say you would come in a few days? Why did you take it so long now?" Su Luo sent a message speechlessly. "I actually came here last month, but I found a job first and settled down." Jiang Yu's message came quickly. "Okay, I'm accompanying my wife on her prenatal checkup. It's over now. I'll book a place for lunch and we can have lunch together." "Okay, send me the location, and I'll be there in a minute." Su Luo put away her phone, looked at Yi Zayaramu beside her, and spoke. "My childhood friend is here. Let's treat him to lunch at noon." "Okay, I'll let Mio choose a place." Yi Zayaramu took Su Luo's hand and walked out. "Okay, let's talk about it when we get in the car." Then Su Luo helped Yi Zayaramu into the car, then walked to the driver's seat and got in. Mio, book a place and treat my friend to lunch at noon," Su Luo said to Lu Mio, who was sitting in the passenger seat. "Brother-in-law, aren't you going back to cook?" Zhu Qing asked in surprise in the back seat. "My childhood friend is here. I have to treat him to a meal." Su Luo smiled. "What about Zayaramu?" Zhu Qing asked curiously. "She's going with me." "Then let's go together," Zhu Qing said immediately. "If you and Mio don't mind, no problem." "We don't mind, we're just here for a free meal. How can we have any demands?" Zhu Qing said with a smile. "Brother-in-law, let's book it at the summer banquet Orchid Hall," Lu Mio said. "Okay," Su Luo nodded and sent the address to Jiang Yu. Then he started the car and drove towards Ziyan. "Brother-in-law, is your childhood friend handsome?" Zhu Qing asked with interest on the way. Chapter 137, Zhu Qing's Dish. "What's wrong, Zioking? Are you feeling romantic?" Yi Zayaramu teased. "I've been eating dog food every day for the past month, and I also want a sweet love." Zhu Qing blushed and said in a low voice. Lu Mio listened tremblingly, not knowing whether she should report to Tanya. Su Luo looked at Lu Mio, smiled, and said nothing. Their company would not interfere in such matters, but it still had to be reported. As the number of trainees increased, Tanya discussed this issue with Su Luo. Finally, the conclusion was reached. In principle, I have no objection, but there is a bottom line. No fans and no cheating. As for whether to make it public or not, it will be discussed by their respective agents and artists. However, Su Luo then felt that she was thinking too much. There was nothing to worry about, so why think so much? It is worth mentioning that this month, Su Luo has finished coding the entire Zhu Xian Zhuan and has sent the full text to Li Ziaoshuang. The script has already been polished, but it is estimated to take at least 2 months. TT keyword add data title equals beauty, data tag equals fine recommendations, data type equals 1, data value equals 1930, /TT keyword add wait until Li Ziaoshuang's script comes out and make a budget as soon as possible to see whether to invest alone or seek investment. And because Yi Ziaramu wants to play by way, this project will not be launched until next year at the latest. This is also to allow Zhu Xian Zhuan to ferment for a period of time, and the automatic update set on Zhangong Novel Network will take another 2 months to complete. In addition, a talent show previously invested in by Brothers Entertainment has also been postponed due to the disbandment of Brothers Entertainment, and the program team is currently being reorganized. Tanya took this opportunity to participate in the investment of Go-Go Trainee. He got 4 trainee spots and recommended Su Luo as a mentor. When Su Luo found out, he refused because it was a girl group audition, and as a man, how could he participate in such a program? Tanya said that Su Luo looked more feminine than any other woman when she dressed as a woman. Yi Ziaramu nodded in agreement and expressed her expectation that she hoped to see Su Luo perform in women's clothing. Su Luo said that she would attend the thesis defense on June 20. Tanya countered that mentors do not participate in closed management. Then Su Luo said that Yi Ziaramu was pregnant and needed care. Tanya retorted that Yi Ziaramu could live in the tutor's dormitory and not appear on camera. In the end, Tanya played the emotional card. After all, the only artists who debuted in Ziaramu Entertainment are Zhu Qing and Yi Ziaramu. I just paid Zhu Qing's penalty for breach of contract and invested in Go-Go Trainee, and I'm almost out of money on the books. The copyright fees for Zhu Xian haven't been settled yet. If this continues, the company will be out of money before Zhu Xian is even released. Su Luo had no choice but to accept the offer. However, the program had recently begun promotion and was scheduled to officially begin recording on May 22nd. Sister Ye, you must find a role for Zhu Qing, otherwise I won't do it. This was Su Luo's last act of stubbornness. How can this company rely on him alone to make money? Forget about the sweet romance. You'll be joining the crew soon. Su Luo looked at Zhu Qing's face, full of spring, through the rearview mirror and spoke. Have you got any role? Zhu Qing said in surprise. Sister Zioking, Sister Ye is currently discussing a script for an urban idol drama, Lu Mio said. When will you join the team? Zhu Qing asked curiously. If Sister Ye gets the deal, you'll need to join the crew within half a month. That's no problem. I've been resting for more than a month and have been wanting to join the group for a long time, Zhu Qing said with a smile. I envy you, Zioking. I also want to work. Yi Ziaramu sighed and said from the side. Is your album almost done? One of my dramas is not as good as one of your albums, Zhu Qing said with some despair. Keep trying harder and strive to advance to the first tier. Yi Ziaramu raised his hand and clenched his fist, saying encouragingly, We're here, let's get off the bus. Su Luo's voice interrupted the two women's conversation. Then Su Luo parked the car in the parking lot at the entrance of the summer banquet hall, got out of the car with the other girls, and walked into the orchid hall. There was no one inside at this time. Su Luo and the other 3 sat next to each other. Not long after, a tall and thin man who looked a bit handsome walked in. A Luo? The man was a little surprised to see the woman in the private room, but he still saw Su Luo at a glance and greeted her with a smile. Old Jiang, Su Luo stood up with a smile and walked to Jiang Yu. The two hugged each other excitedly. After a moment, the 2 men let go, and then they were introduced one by one. This is my wife, Yi Ziaramu. This is her agent, Lu Mio. This is her best friend, Zhu Qing. Su Luo introduced them one by one. This is my childhood friend, Jiang Yu. Several people greeted each other, and Zhu Qing secretly pulled Yi Ziaramu. Ziomu, this is my dish. When Yi Ziaramu heard what Zhu Qing said, she winked at her, telling her not to be so infatuated. Su Luo and Jiang Yu sat together, chatting about their childhood from time to time. I heard that idiot Wu Chen is doing pretty well in the army, Jiang Yu said. I can't contact him now, Su Shili said. I heard they're in closed training, but I'm not sure about the details, Jiang Yu said uncertainly. Liu Liu, stop chatting and order some food. Yi Zairamul pulled Su Luo's arm and spoke. Look at me, Lao Jiang, come and order whatever you want to eat. Su Luo said, handed over the menu and called the waiter over. Jiang Yu ordered whatever was most expensive during the meal. Good man, Lao Jiang, you've made tens of thousands of dollars for me in one go, Su Luo said speechlessly. Mr. Su is not short of money now, so he will definitely give you a good meal, Jiang Yu said with a smile. Okay, I admit it. How about some drinks? Su Luo shrugged and said. Let's not do that. It's not safe to drink with my sister-in-law here. Jiang Yu waved his hand and said seriously. Okay, Su Luo didn't force it and served some grains and freshly squeezed juice. Old Jiang, you've been in Shanghai for so long, but you only came to see me today. Su Luo complained to Jiang Yu during the meal. After all, I'm your brother. If I don't have a firm foothold in the Magic City, I won't be able to find you. Jiang Yu said casually. After all, he didn't come to Shanghai to seek help, but just to meet old friends and reminisce about the past. Old Jiang, what are you talking about? If it weren't for you this? Su Luo said and winked at Jiang Yu. Su Luo was talking about brothers, entertainment. Well, that's just a piece of cake, and with your ability, you can do it. Jiang Yu waved his hand and did not take credit for it. Su Luo smiled and said nothing more. It was not appropriate for me to push the blame back and forth like this. His relationship with Lao Jiang was not bad either. Moreover, Lao Jiang is a smart and talented person who can get along well anywhere, so Su Luo doesn't have to worry too much. Chapter 138 Shocking Jiang Yu. Brother Jiang, where do you work? Yi Zairamul asked in disappointment, unable to bear Zhu Qing's nagging. Sister-in-law, I'm currently working as an editor at Shanghai TV. Jiang Yu winked at Su Luo. Look, your sister-in-law is so sensible that she even knows to call you brother. Look at you. I just post some articles and kill time, Jiang Yu added casually. While eating, Zhu Qing would occasionally glance at Jiang Yu. Su Luo noticed the obvious action, but Jiang Yu continued to eat and drink as if nothing had happened. Cough, Su Luo coughed lightly. Old Jiang, I haven't seen you for a few years. Have you got married? After Su Luo finished speaking, Zhu Qing immediately put down his chopsticks and pricked up his ears. What's the point of starting a family? Women are too troublesome and only affect my gaming, Jiang Yu said without raising his head. Okay, uncle and aunt are not in a hurry. Su Luo looked at Zhu Qing sympathetically. I came to Shanghai because, on the one hand, I resigned from my job at home, and on the other hand, I came here to seek refuge, Jiang Yu said helplessly. At home, I go on blind dates 8 times a week. I'm fed up with it. Jiang Yu said this and wanted to take out a cigarette, but he glanced at Yi Zairamul and then put the cigarette away. Old Jiang, come on, have a cigarette over there. Seeing this, Su Luo took out a cigarette, handed one to Jiang Yu, then stood up and walked to the window outside. Jiang Yu followed with a cigarette in hand. Su Luo opened the window, and the two of them began to smoke. Lao Jiang, my wife's best friend, what do you think? Su Luo didn't beat around the bush. Since she could see that Zhu Qing had that intention, she helped to bring it up. The one sitting next to your wife, Jiang Yu recalled. Yes, an actor, and I promise I'm a clean person. Now that I'm signed to my company, those things won't happen to me. Since I want to introduce him to my childhood friend, Su Luo naturally cannot cheat him. If Zhu Qing himself is not a good person, Su Luo will not even mention it. He doesn't look very smart, Jiang Yu said in a flat voice. No, how can you judge someone as unintelligent? And what do you want? Find someone smart, and someone who's always so cunning as you. Su Luo rolled her eyes. Although Zhu Qing did look a bit naive, he couldn't be really stupid after being in the entertainment industry for a few years. You have to know that my IQ is 150. I can see through her at a glance. It's boring, Jiang Yu shrugged helplessly. So it seems that you don't want to find a girlfriend because you think her IQ is too low, Su Luo said speechlessly. Isn't it? Your feelings are written all over your face. I don't want to communicate at all. Jiang Yu spread his hands. High IQ is just so awesome. What's written on Zhu Qing's face? Su Luo asked curiously. Haha, I'm her type. Jiang Yu chuckled, then said lightly. Oh sure, then what's written on my face? Su Luo looked at Jiang Yu mischievously. You want to match me and Zhu Qing up, but you just want to see me slap myself in the face. Jiang Yu spread his hands and said casually. Fuck, how did you know? Fuck, how did you know? Two voices came out at the same time. Su Luo looked at Jiang Yu in shock, who was saying the same thing as him. What the hell? What the hell? Fuck, don't talk. Fuck, don't talk. All right, put away your magical powers. All right, put away your magical powers. Fuck, do you have the ability to read minds? Su Luo looked at Jiang Yu speechlessly, who seemed to be smiling. This is the protagonist, right? He is in charge of the overall situation, calm and at ease. Isn't this the feeling of a Taoist priest coming down the mountain? I can't help it. My IQ is too high. It's a bit tiring to get along with people with lower IQ. Jiang Yu put out his cigarette, looked at the tall buildings in the distance, and spoke calmly. Get out, are you a devil? Su Luo was helpless. She was not stupid, so why did she feel like her IQ was being crushed? Ha ha ha, are you doubting yourself? I know you better, it has nothing to do with IQ. Jiang Yu explained with a smile. Thank you. Although you are trying to comfort me, I still feel like I'm being ridiculed. Su Luo put out her cigarette and walked back to the dining table speechlessly. Husband, what's wrong with you? Yi Zaiamu asked in a low voice, looking at Su Luo, who seemed to have lost hope in life. Su Luo then leaned over and whispered in Yi Zaiamu's ear, and Yi Zaiamu looked at Jiang Yu in shock. Then he leaned over to Zhu Qing's ear and whispered in it. Zhu Qing listened, and his face turned red and then white. Old Jiang, let's not use our brains when we're out here, brothers. Su Luo looked at Jiang Yu and said, Puff. Jiang Yu almost spit out the food he took a mouthful of. Luo, could you please stop being so funny? Your IQ has plummeted. It turns out that marriage is a grave. Jiang Yu said with a calm face. Fuck, Su Luo slammed the table. This old guy is a little bit arrogant now. Waiter, bring the wine, Su Luo shouted. Old Jiang, I'm going to serve some wine. You didn't expect that, Su Luo said, laughing. Jiang Yu smiled, reached into his pocket, and took out a box with the word Cephalxin written on it. Old Jiang, this is not a problem of IQ. Are you a Taoist priest? Can you tell fortunes? Su Luo was helpless. Actually, it's because I know you better, so I know your personality, and it's easier to guess what you're going to do next. Jiang Yu smiled and began to explain. Brother Jiang, Zhu Qing called out. Yeah, Jiang Yu nodded with a smile. This girl was very well behaved and knew to call him brother. Just now, my brother-in-law told me that you are very smart and can almost guess what others will do next. Zhu Qing stood up and walked behind Su Luo. Jiang Yu was a little embarrassed. This was a bit too much. It could only be a rough estimate at most. Besides, Su Luo, this idiot, wouldn't tell others that I said she's not very smart, right? No, it's just that I know a Luo better. Jiang Yu waved his hand, but he still felt a little proud in his heart. So what do you think I should do next? As soon as the two people finished speaking, everyone except Su Luo and Jiang Yu opened their eyes as wide as copper bells. Is this true? Zhu Qing and Jiang Yu spoke at the same time again. Lu Miao and Yi Zaiamu were stunned. What kind of development was this? Someone really had such a high IQ. Zhu Qing also had a look of surprise on her face. She took a step forward and stood next to Jiang Yu. He held Jiang Yu's face with both hands and kissed her. Su Luo, Yi Zaiamu, and Lu Miao were all shocked, and the air suddenly became quiet. Jiang Yu's eyes widened, his body stiff and motionless, a blush appearing on Zhu Qing's fair face. I kissed you, did you guess it? After a long time, Zhu Qing let go of Jiang Yu and asked shyly. Chapter 139, Zhu Jia's Happy Event. Jiang Yu was sweating profusely, his speech was slurred, and he didn't know what to say. I suddenly remembered that I have something else to do. I'll leave first. Jiang Yu felt like he had lost his soul and stood up after saying that. Bang! Jiang Yu bumped into the door, then covered his head, opened the door, and left quickly. There were only a few people left in the room. Zhu Qing's face flushed. He didn't know whether to stand or sit. Su Luo and Yi Zaiamu smiled and looked at Zhu Qing. Lu Miao took out her cell phone and sent the information to Tanya. Miao, you are already a mature agent. You need to learn to think independently. You can handle this matter on your own. Tanya's message came back. Lu Miao held the phone, bit her lip and fell into deep thought. Zioking, what's wrong with you? Where is the person who just kissed Jiang Yu forcibly? Yi Zaiamu teased. Nothing happened just now, nothing happened. Zhu Qing rubbed his face and spoke. Then he looked at Lu Miao and said, Miao, please ask Sister Ye if she has finalized the script. I need to join the crew right away. At this moment, Zhu Qing felt that Lan Xing could no longer accommodate her. Why did she suddenly become impulsive? Old Jiang is a pretty good guy, but a bit pretentious. Don't be fooled by his pretentious demeanor. He's just a simple guy. Just a friendly reminder, at least as far as I know, he's never been in a relationship. Just like he said, he can guess what others will say next. No one can get close to him. Come on, I'm rooting for you, Su Luo said to Zhu Qing with a smile. Su Luo brought a few people back to Gyuanting, and with the help of Lu Miao, a little girl came. Hello everyone, I'm Zhu Yao, you can just call me Yao. I'm Sister Qing's assistant, and I'm 22 years old. The girl was a little fat and looked honest. Hello, Yayo, please come in, Lu Mio said as she moved aside. I won't go in, I just came to call Sister Ching. Sister, you said I can join the group. Zhu Yao looked at Zhu Qing in the room and said with a smile, Very good, I'll pack my luggage now. Zhu Qing breathed a sigh of relief and ran back to the room quickly. Sister Ya, I love you so much. You are really my savior. Zhu Qing called Tanya in the room. Are you a real tiger? Okay, just go to the crew and let Yayo accompany you. If you have anything, call Lu Mio. I'm the president, not your agent. Tanya had no choice but to hang up the phone. Zhu Qing stood there with the phone in his hand, grinning foolishly. The image of Jiang Yu with wide eyes popped up in his mind uncontrollably, and Zhu Qing slapped his face. This was just an accident. I was impulsive, yes, impulsive. Zhu Qing muttered to himself, then began to pack up. Downstairs, Zhu Yao finally came in and waited. After all, women really can't pack their luggage very quickly. Mio, do I really have to be a mentor in that show? Go trainee? Su Luo asked with some doubt. I don't have any works and I have less than 10 million fans. Third-tier artists are better than me. I heard from Sister Ye that we have already reached an agreement with the investors, and they have agreed to let you join as a mentor. Lu Mio explained. No way, how can someone like me who doesn't even have any works be a mentor? Isn't this asking for trouble? Su Luo rolled her eyes and spoke. I'm sure the program crew means that you are popular, brother-in-law. You're on the hot search again, Lu Mio said with a smile. I didn't do anything. It's not possible that I would become a hot topic just because I accompanied Yi Xiaomu for her prenatal checkup. Su Luo looked at Lu Mio suspiciously. You don't know. Lu Mio looked at Su Luo in surprise. What? Su Luo was puzzled, then looked at Yi Xiaomu. I don't know either. Yi Xiaomu shook his head and said, Tang Jiru is pregnant, Lu Mio said. She's even at Ingyu on Weibo to thank you. It's not mine. Su Luo looked horrified. Yi Xiaomu hit Su Luo on the head with a big knife. What are you talking about? Haha, I'm too nervous. I've been led by the rhythm for too long. I'm a little paranoid. Su Luo smiled embarrassedly. Lu Mio and Zhu Yao tried hard to suppress their laughter. Yi Xiaomu pinched Su Luo and said, then took out her cell phone and opened Weibo. Tang Jiru and Zhu Jai went to the hospital today to test positive for pregnancy. Hot. Zhu Jai officially announced on Weibo that Tang Jiru has confirmed her pregnancy and called out to Su Luo on Weibo. Hot. Shocked, Tang Jiru is pregnant. Why is Zhu Jai thanking Su Luo? Su Luo also took out her cell phone, opened Zhu Jai's Weibo, and saw the message pinned to the top of the homepage. Yes, it's just as everyone thinks. Jiru is pregnant. Thank you very much at Su Luo. Your diet therapy is really great. Please let me rest for the next 3 months. So touching. Actor Zhu finally got what he wanted. AG, please take good care of our Jiru. Wow, Su Luo's diet therapy is really effective. Please give me the recipe. Such good things should be shared. Please don't use moral blackmail above. It's Su Luo's freedom to share or not. Ding-ling-ling. Just when Su Luo was about to reply, her phone rang. Hey, Brother Jai. Luo, thank you so much. Really, I'm so excited today. Zhu Jai said with a little emotion in his voice. You're welcome. By the way, Brother Jai, I'll send you a few more recipes later. Sister Ru had a lot of stagnant energy in her body before, so she needs to recuperate. Su Luo had consulted Tongzi specifically before. I just gave the recipe to Brother Jai later. How come it still works? Wasn't it because of my god-level cooking skills? Tongzi lied. If I couldn't deceive you, how could I deceive her? It's all just her psychology. Damn, you lied. Su Luo was speechless. Tang Jiru just found out she's pregnant. She's had a lot of stagnant energy in her body, so she needs this recipe to recuperate for a month. Thank you, Tongzi. Su Luo smiled in her heart. Thanks, Luo. After 3 months, I will treat you to a meal. When the baby is born, I will let him call you Godfather, Zhu Jai said seriously. You're welcome, Brother Jai. It's okay to call me Godfather, ha. Su Luo said with a smile. Luo, I won't say anything more. I'll keep it in mind. The two chatted briefly and hung up the phone. Then Su Luo found Zhu Jai's WeChat chat. Recipe, Brother Jai. This recipe is very detailed. It can last for about a month, so it shouldn't be a problem. Thank you. When Su Luo put away her phone, she saw Yi Xiaomu looking at her with curiosity. Brother Jai wants his child to recognize me as his godparents in the future, Su Luo said with a smile, then looked at her as if asking. That's great, I have no objection. Looking at Su Luo's inquiring eyes, Yi Xiaomu nodded and said, Chapter 140 Dance Instructor is coming soon. Su Luo embraced Yi Xiaomu, then took out her cell phone, opened Zhu Jai's Weibo, and commented below. Su Luo, Brother Jai, Jai Ru is pregnant. Please don't thank me so loudly. It's too embarrassing. Remember to tell Jairu to take care of herself. Oh my god, the whole article is normal, but I can't help but overthink what's going on. Su Luo is truly shameless. Her joke-telling skills are well-deserved. Ha ha ha, look at our actor Zhu's will to survive. I have to make it clear that it's diet therapy. Beautiful grassland, my home. Don't be funny upstairs. Then Su Luo opened her homepage. Su Luo, Recipe X9, everyone, recipes that help with pregnancy have been shared. Please indicate the source when reposting to ensure that everyone is using the correct recipes. Food supplements are not medicinal herbs and have no healing properties. This was mainly because Sister Jiru was suffering from a heart condition at the time, so don't rely too much on diets. If you need to see a doctor, go see a doctor. Thank you so much for your support. At Chinese letter, Chinese letter, Chinese letter, Chinese letter, congratulations on getting what you wanted. Remember, I prefer daughters. If it's a son, please move on to the next child. P.S. A daughter is her father's little cotton-padded jacket. A son is his father's leather jacket. At Chinese letter, Chinese letter, Chinese letter, I love my own children, both sons and daughters. After editing, Su Luo clicked send. Wow, the recipe was actually shared. I've become a fan. I used to see negative things about him, but now I realize Su Luo's character is beyond reproach. The person above just got online. How could that be black material? That's a rumor. At Zhujai, did you hear that? We Su Luo only want a goddaughter. Look at the last sentence. It's a definite desire to survive. But between the lines, I still feel that Su Luo likes his daughter. Yi Zaiamu read. Wow, Mumu replied. At Chinese letter, Chinese letter, Chinese letter, Chinese letter, Chinese letter, must get it sorted out. At Chinese letter, Chinese letter, Chinese letter, Chinese letter, when are you going to release a new song? Hurry up. Stop checking Weibo all day and go record some music. I know what a Zayo Miano, small cotton-padded jacket means, but does anyone know what a leather jacket means? A leather jacket doesn't keep me warm when it's cold, but it's too hot when it's warm. I can't bear to throw it away because it's too expensive, but it feels bad to throw it away. It's similar to my son. Sometimes if I don't spank him, he gets mad, but if I do, I feel bad. The above person is very talented. Doesn't this mean that you still like daughters? Ha ha ha, my family is all about daughters. At this time, Zhu Qing had packed up and walked down with his suitcase. Zio Mu, brother-in-law, I'm leaving, Zhu Qing said. Okay, be careful. Call me if you have any problem. Yi Zaiamu put away his phone, stood up and reminded. Don't worry, it's okay. This is not your first time joining a group, Zhu Qing said casually. Well, if you need anything, you can call me. I'll ask Lao Jiang to visit the set. Su Luo stood next to Yi Zaiamu and smiled, covering her mouth. Ah, Su Luo, Zhu Qing's fair face flushed instantly. He exclaimed, picked up his luggage and walked out the door. Sister Zaiamu, brother Su Luo, I'll be leaving first. Zhu Yao said goodbye respectfully at the door. Yi Ayao, I'll go with you. Take me back to the company first. I still need to confirm my brother-in-law's notice. Lu Maomil called Zhu Yao and walked over to her and said, Sister Zaiamu, brother-in-law, I'm leaving first. Lu Maomil turned around and waved. Bye, drive slowly, Yi Zaiamu waved. TT keyword add data title equals beauty. Data tag equals recommended products. Data type equals 1. Data value equals 1930/TT keyword add. After a few people left, Su Luo and Yi Zaiamu were the only ones left in the villa. Husband, Yi Zaiamu called softly. Wife, Su Luo's eyes lit up, and she was about to pick up Yi Zaiamu. We're only one song away from completing the 8 songs. Let's finish it today and send it out, Yi Zaiamu said with a smile, squinting his eyes. Ah, it's this I thought, Su Luo said a little embarrassedly. You old pervert, you think about that all day long. Yi Zaiamu pouted and patted Su Luo. No, I'm going to write a song, Su Luo said and walked towards the piano room. Wait until tonight. Yi Zaiamu took 2 quick steps, took Su Luo's hand and whispered. Okay, Su Luo said excitedly. Writing a song, do you have any inspiration? Yi Zaiamu looked up at Su Luo expectantly. Sunny day? Su Luo looked at the clear sky outside the glass window, then walked to the piano and began to play. A melodious tune sounded, and Yi Zaiamu took out his cell phone and started taking pictures of Su Luo. The little yellow flower of the story, floating since the year I was born. Childhood swing. The memory keeps swaying till now. Yi Zaiamu's eyes were shining as he looked at Su Luo with love in his eyes. The ending of this song is not so perfect, but it can give people a sense of warmth and makes people feel happy. When the piano music stopped, Su Luo turned her head, wanting to see Yi Zaiamu's admiring eyes. But it turned out that Yi Zaiamu was holding a mobile phone, editing a video, and then opened Weibo. Yizayamu, the new song you asked for is here, video. Then Yizayamu looked at Su Luo. Husband, we won't separate, right? We won't separate? Su Luo held Yizayamu in her arms. Soon Yizayamu looked up. Teach me. I want to record some songs. Once I'm done, I'll have 8 songs and can release the mini-album. Okay, Su Luo nodded and took Yizayamu into the recording studio. Wow, Su Luo's singing and playing the guitar is so cool. These lyrics, holy crap, this is amazing. This is exactly about me, my first love. Damn, I'm in tears. But at the end of the story, you seem to say goodbye. After hearing this, the memory of death hit me again, but I didn't feel so sad. It was like a warm feeling. When will the lossless version be released, Mumu? Come On, I want to download it right away and keep it on repeat. At this time, the Come On trainee program team. Su Luo's singing seems to be pretty good. Director Wang Ji was holding a mobile phone in his hand, playing the clip of Su Luo singing and playing the guitar. Director, he is also a good dancer. He performed a segment for her in Celebrity Couple before, but it can't be found online now, said Wang Ji's assistant Liu Wen. Then how should we arrange for him? Wang Ji looked at Liu Wen tentatively. All they needed now was a creative mentor and a dance mentor. Director, why don't you let him be a creative mentor? Can he write songs? Wang Ji asked with some confusion. Probably, maybe. There's an analysis post online saying that Yi Luo means Yizayamu and Su Luo, so young and a little sweet should have been written by Su Luo. Couldn't it be written by Yizayamu? Director, Yizayamu shouldn't use a pen name when writing songs, right? Liu Wen said hesitantly. We can't take things for granted when they're uncertain. Let's just choose a dance instructor. After all, the information submitted by Zayamu Entertainment also shows that they're good at dancing. Wang Ji finally made the decision. Sunny. Lyricist, Jay Chu. Composer, Jay Chu. Original singer, Jay Chu. Chapter 140, When It's Not Shameful, Really. After Yizayamu and Su Luo finished recording the song, they returned to their room. Honey, I'm going to release the album before we go to the variety show. After washing up, the two lay on the bed, and Yizayamu spoke. Aren't you going to wait until the beginning of the month to rush to the top of the list? Su Luo asked. I don't care about these things now. I just want to release the album. Yizayamu stared at Su Luo and said seriously. In fact, what she had in mind was very simple. She just wanted to release the album, and together with the songs she had released before, everyone would definitely be able to guess that the songs were written by Su Luo. This way, he won't be scolded if he becomes a mentor. Okay, I'll do as you say. Su Luo nodded and said with a smile. Honey, let's go to bed, Yizayamu said in a low voice. Okay, wife, Su Luo said, turned around, hugged Yizayamu and closed her eyes. When Yizayamu saw Su Luo, she closed her eyes immediately, feeling a little embarrassed and annoyed. You were flirting with me all the time a while ago, and now, 3 months later, you're like this. Just like this. TT keyword add data title equals beauty, data tag equals recommended products, data type equals 1, data value equals 1930 / TT keyword add cough. Yizayamu coughed lightly. Wife, what's wrong? Su Luo opened her eyes and looked at Yizayamu. Nothing, Yizayamu said unhappily, looking at Su Luo with a puzzled look on her face. Then go to sleep, wife. Su Luo tightened his arms, hugged Yizayamu tightly in his arms, and then closed his eyes. Yizayamu rolled her eyes. Cough, Yizayamu coughed again. What's wrong, wife? Su Luo opened her eyes and asked with concern without any impatience. Yizayamu turned her head and muttered while lying in Su Luo's arms. You said before that it takes 2 people to sleep and 1 person to rest. I said sleep. We are sleeping now, Su Luo said with a smile. Ah, hate it, go to sleep, Yizayamu said angrily, then closed her eyes. Then Yizayamu felt a warm hand sliding into her pajamas and stroking her back. Yizayamu's body was trembling slightly. Seeing this, Su Luo lowered her head and kissed Yizayamu's cherry lips. Husband, Yizayamu's body softened and she called softly. This night the 2 hearts came closer. It was a fusion of souls. Puff, Yizayamu laughed out loud. Su Luo's face flushed. Hubby, it's not shameful, really, Yizayamu said with a big laugh. Su Luo pulled up the quilt to cover her face. In ancient times, Dayu passed by his home 3 times without entering, and now Su Luo spits in front of the door. I, Su Luo, feel that I can no longer stay on Blue Star. I am tired, let it be destroyed. Yizayamu stopped laughing, looked at Su Luo's shameful expression, gently pulled open the quilt and kissed her. Hubby, I know you are too nervous, don't worry. The gentle voice gradually calmed Su Luo down. Wife, Su Luo whispered. Yizayamu reached out, pressed her hand on Su Luo's lips and smiled at her. Relax, take a rest. After Yi Zaiamu said that, he lay down and hugged Su Luo quietly. Yi Zaiamu's warmth and encouragement made Su Luo raise her head again, and he gently embraced her. The extreme tenderness made Yi Zaiamu smile with satisfaction. Hubby, you're doing really well. Of course I did. I was too nervous before. Hubby, carry me to wash up. Okay. The next day, early in the morning, Su Luo slowly opened his eyes and saw Yi Zaiamu looking at him gently. Good morning, wife, Su Luo greeted with a smile. Good morning, husband, Yi Zaiamu replied with a smile. The two people smiled at each other. Wife, eat more. Su Luo brought the prepared noodles over. Yeah, you too. Yi Zaiamu was quite satisfied with Su Luo's cooking skills. Ding-ling-ling. At this moment, Su Luo's phone rang. Su Luo took out her phone and glanced at the caller ID. Jiang Yu. Hello, Lao Jiang. Su Luo turned on the hands-free phone and put it on the table. As she spoke, she picked up a fried egg and put it on the toast to make a sandwich. Luo, ahem, there's something I want to talk to you about. Jiang Yu's voice was filled with embarrassment. What's wrong with you? Lao Jiang, your voice doesn't sound right, Su Luo said, trying not to make any sound, and laughed. He must have not slept all night yesterday. Su Luo muttered softly so that only he and Yi Zaiamu could hear it. Why? Yi Zaiamu took the sandwich handed to her by Su Luo and asked in a low voice. Su Luo pointed at the phone, signaling Yi Zaiamu to listen. I'm fine, it's just, well, I feel a little bad about leaving suddenly yesterday. I want to treat you guys to dinner tonight, Jiang Yu said with a slight stutter. Zaiamu, you'll understand when you see his reaction, Su Luo said in a low voice. That's fine, you decide the place. Zaiamu and I will go there in the evening. Her best friend has joined a crew and is not here, Su Luo said calmly. Ah, well, I suddenly remembered that I have a plan to do tonight. Let's make an appointment next time, Jiang Yu said and immediately hung up the phone. Yi Zaiamu immediately understood that Jiang Yu had other intentions. Honey, could it be that Jiang Yu likes Zairoking? Yi Zaiamu asked in surprise. From what I know about him, he's probably feeling a bit unconvinced and curious about Zhu Qing right now. At best, I can only say he has a slight liking for her. Su Luo looked confident. What do you mean? Yi Zaiamu was curious. In his eyes, girls always affect his existence. If one of them suddenly loses control, he will definitely not accept it. When we were smoking, he told me that his impression of Zhu Qing was that she didn't seem very smart, and you saw what happened. Didn't this kiss make him stupid? He must have spent the whole night thinking about why Zhu Qing kissed him. I can only say that science guys are terrible. If there are logical errors in the data, they will easily collapse, Su Luo said with a smile. Is this okay? Yi Zaiamu asked. It's okay, just leave him alone. Maybe he won't be able to resist and will really fall in love with Zhu Qing, Su Luo said with a smile. Then let's eat melons. Yi Zaiamu looked at Su Luo with a wicked smile and said in a funny way. That's fine, Su Luo nodded with satisfaction. Ding-ling-ling, the phone rang again. Hey, Lao Jiang, what's wrong again? Su Luo said with a smile. I'm free tonight, I'll treat you guys to dinner. I'll send you the address later. Okay, I'm fine, Su Luo replied. In the evening, he will definitely ask about Zhu Qing, Su Luo said with a smile. Su Luo and Yi Zaiamu looked at each other and both laughed. Honey, do you think I should call Zhu Qing and talk about this? Yi Zaiamu showed a hint of hesitation on her face, mainly because she was unsure about Jiang Yu's attitude and was worried about another misunderstanding. Chapter 142, You lied to me, right? By then, girls will be thin-skinned and easily embarrassed. Wait, the way Zairoking forcefully kissed me doesn't look like someone who is thin-skinned. I think it's possible. With Lao Jiang's condition and my assist, don't worry, there will be absolutely no problem, Su Luo said confidently. Hee, I'll call Zairoking after dinner, Yi Zaiamu said, then lowered his head to drink his porridge. Su Luo thought for a moment, took out her cell phone and sent a message. Auntie, leave Lao Jiang's lifelong affairs to me. Don't worry, it's all right. After Su Luo sent the message, she felt satisfied. The foreshadowing of the assist had been laid. Lao Jiang, don't you know that what actors do doesn't have to be logical at all? Set a character background for yourself, and whatever you do can be explained, ha-ha-ha. Ding-ling-ling. Just as the two of them finished their meal, Yi Zaiamu's phone rang again. Su Luo gestured for him to wash the dishes, and then walked into the kitchen. Mio mio, Yi Zaiamu answered the phone. TT keyword add data title equals beauty, data tag equals fine recommendations, data type equals 1, data value equals 1930 / TT keyword add sister Zaiamu. I listened to the audio you sent yesterday. It's great. Now all 8 songs are complete. When are you going to release the album? Lu Mao said excitedly. I plan to post it on May 20th. This time is good. Yi Zairamu thought for a while and said, Isn't it a bit too hasty? If this continues, we won't be able to compete for the top spot on the list. Lu Mao said hesitantly. It's okay, I don't care about the charts, I just want to sing for my fans. Yi Zairamu said casually. Okay, I'll arrange the promotion immediately. Sister Zairamu, what are you going to name your album? Lu Mao asked. Nowadays, singers basically release songs in electronic form, and albums package the songs into a set of playlists and release them directly on music platforms. After a month of development, the number of registered users on the Tomato Music platform has increased by 50 million. After all, Yi Zairamu's fans are only over 30 million. Relying on one singer to attract users to a platform is still limited. At present, Fanky has reached the level of a third-tier music platform. But if Yi Zairamu's album becomes a hit this time, then the Tomato Music platform will definitely take off. It may not be the first-tier platform, but if it exceeds 100 million registrations, it will not be a problem to become a second-tier music platform. Yi Zairamu thought about it. Just call me that because of love, Yi Zairamu said, looking at Su Luo, who was busy in the kitchen with a smile on his lips. Okay, Sister Zairamu, I'll go arrange the promotion. You can also promote it on Weibo when the time comes. Okay, I understand, Yi Zairamu said and hung up the phone. He took the phone in his hand, put it behind his back, walked slowly to the kitchen, stood next to Su Luo with a smile on his face and watched him clean up quietly. Wife, wait for me in the living room. Su Luo turned to Yi Zairamu and said with a smile. No, I'll wait for you here and go out with you, Yi Zairamu said playfully. Be good just for a moment. Su Luo smiled and her hands moved faster. Okay, husband. By the way, Mao just called me. I told her that I'm going to release a new album on May 20th. It's called Because of Love, 520. Yi Zairamu shook her body slightly, looking very happy. I understand. I will help you promote it later. Su Luo smiled. The follow-up publicity that Su Luo had done for Yi Zairamu before was useless. The final download volume of A Little Sweet and Young Man was over 30 million. After all, it was a small platform, so the number of users was still a little small. This time, Su Luo planned to do some drainage, because according to his understanding, the shareholder behind the Zhangong Novel Network was officially Zizidao. Therefore, in theory, Zhangong Novel Network should not mind his diversion, and may even silently support it. After Su Luo cleaned up the kitchen, she sat on the sofa with Yi Zairamu. Then, Yi Zairamu dialed Zhu Qing's number with a gossipy look in her eyes. Hello, Zhu Qing's voice came from the other end of the phone, apparently woken up by the phone call. Zairoking, Yi Zairamu called out. Zairo, wait a minute, let me check. It's only 7:30, sister, what's going on so early in the morning? In the dim hotel, Zhu Qing closed one eye and opened the other. He took out his cell phone to check the time and then started complaining. Ha, I just want to tell you some gossip, Yi Zairamu said with a big laugh. Sister, I call you sister. Let's talk later. When I wake up, I'll listen to you. It's about you, Yi Zairamu said seductively. Mine what? Zhu Qing opened one of his closed eyes. Do you like Jiang Yu? Yi Zairamu asked straight to the point. Me, Zhu Qing instantly became awake from head to toe. So it seems like you like her. Love at first sight, Yi Zairamu teased. I think it's love at second sight, Zhu Qing hesitated. Meet again, you meet again, Yi Zairamu asked in surprise. I only remembered later that I had actually seen him a month before, at the train station, the day I moved into the villa. This is an incredible fate. Yi Zairamu immediately added fuel to the fire. I'm telling you, Zairoking, Jiang Yu has grasped this, Yi Zairamu said excitedly. Forget it, I didn't sleep well last night. I never thought I would do something like that. I gave my first kiss without thinking. Maybe others would think I'm a nympho. Zhu Qing said dejectedly, boys like girls to take the initiative, but they definitely don't like girls to come up and bite them. Call me sister, I'll help you, Yi Zairamu said excitedly, then raised her eyebrows at Su Luo. I'm not shouting, I joined the group early just to calm down, Zhu Qing evaded. Oh, you gave up already. You didn't even ask Jiang Yu if he liked you and you gave up. Does he like me? Zhu Qing prepared to go through the process listlessly. Dislike? Fuck, then why did you say that? I won't say anymore, I need to catch up on my sleep, Zhu Qing said speechlessly. Don't you think I was lying to you just now? Yi Zairamu rolled his eyes and started teasing. Ah, you lied to me, right? Zhu Qing suddenly became excited. I didn't lie to you. Yi Zairamu covered her mouth and laughed. Get out, Zhu Qing roared. Haha, are you defeated? Are you excited? Yi Zairomu said with a big laugh. No, I didn't. Don't talk nonsense. We haven't met for a long time. It's normal for me not to like you, hee hee. Okay, Zairoking, I won't tease you anymore. It's enough for me to know that you like him, Yi Zairomu said and hung up the phone. Knowing that Zhu Qing had a crush on Jiang Yu, Su Luo gave them a push so that the two could get to know each other better. As for whether they can be together and whether they are suitable for each other, that depends on themselves. Chapter 143, Yali's Urgent Mission. Zhu Qing stared at the phone in his hand in confusion. I know, he said. Now what, will you help me? Or what should I do, just say nothing? There are two most annoying types of people in the world. First, people who only speak half the words, and second, well, guess what? Ah, Zhu Qing exclaimed, then covered himself with the quilt and continued to sleep. On the other side, two people who had finished breakfast were walking in the yard. Honey, this yard is quite big. Do you want to get a pet? Yi Zairomu said. Not for now. Wait until the child is older. It's not good for you now. Su Luo shook her head and refused. Okay then, Yi Zairomu said aggrievedly. Be good and be patient. Su Luo rubbed Yi Zairomu's head. Yeah, Yi Zairomu nodded. By the way, the show you participated in last time has been played before. Have you seen it? Yi Zairomu said. I'm with you every day. Do you think I've seen it? Su Luo said with a smile, touching Yi Zairomu's head. I heard from my Omio that it's very beautiful, Yi Zairomu said proudly. It's okay. Su Luo touched her nose and felt a little embarrassed after being praised. Honey, when we have time, let's watch it together, okay? Yi Zairomu said coquettishly while holding Su Luo's arm. Look, I feel so embarrassed looking at myself, Su Luo said somewhat embarrassedly. Who said that? It's not embarrassing at all, okay? Husband. Yi Zairomu shook Su Luo's arm. Okay. Su Luo raised her hands in surrender. As expected, women who act like spoiled children have the best life. Teacher, where are we going? A young woman in a white coat asked the elder beside her. There were also 4 young men and women in white coats behind him. The specific situation is not clear yet. Let's talk about it when we get there. Get on the bus. The elder pointed to the minibus in front and said, I understand, teacher. The young woman nodded and helped the old man into the car. When the 6 people got on the bus, they found that there was also a doctor sitting in the car. Teacher Han, thank you for taking the trouble to come here. The doctor stood up and said respectfully, Li Fei, it turns out to be you. I was wondering why the voice on the phone sounded familiar, Han Zhongqun said with a smile. I'm so honored that Teacher Han still remembers me. Please take a seat. Li Fei spoke excitedly, then walked forward and supported Han Zhongqun. Let me introduce you. This is my student Cheng Yali, and this is Li Fei, my wife's former student. You can call him senior brother. Han Zhongqun was also very happy to see Li Fei. Li Fei was his wife and one of the first graduate students he taught. Hello, senior brother Li. Cheng Yali waved her hand and greeted him. Hello, junior sister Cheng. Please sit down first and we'll talk on the way. Li Fei nodded and asked Han Zhongqun and Cheng Yali to sit down. The 4 men and women behind were graduate students and were assistants on this mission. Han Zhongqun didn't know them himself and naturally couldn't introduce them. Soon, several people sat down, the car started, and drove out of the campus. Teacher Han, the situation is like this. Half a month ago, fevers began to appear in the military district. We thought it was just the previous epidemic, so we didn't take it seriously. As a result, the first death occurred in the early hours of yesterday morning, and as of early this morning, the death toll has risen to 3. Our military medical staff have not yet found the cause of the disease. Moreover, the number of fever cases continues to increase. Currently, there are 39 patients with fever. Li Fei briefly introduced the current situation. Continuous fever. Has the body temperature been recorded? Han Zhongqun thought for a moment and asked. According to our usual statistics, the average body temperature of patients was maintained at 37.9 degrees C, while the body temperature of the 3 deceased patients rose to 38.5 degrees C 24 hours before their death. When the patient was critically ill, his body temperature rose to 40 degrees C almost instantly. He then began to convulse, vomit, and became unconscious. Ultimately, rescue efforts were ineffective and he died. Li Fei's records of body temperature and other data were very clear, because the long-term fever had already attracted his attention, but he did not expect it. Sudden death came so quickly. Based on your description, this should be a symptom of infection. Han Zhongqun initially determined the cause of the disease. That's what we thought too, but we can't find the cause of the disease at the moment. Li Fei nodded and added. Have you confirmed whether it is rabies? Han Zhongqun asked. Teacher Han, rabies has been ruled out, Li Fei said seriously. Cheng Yali listened from the side, frowning. This symptom looked so familiar. The car fell into silence for a while, and soon 2 hours passed, and the car stopped in the Jinling military region. Everyone got off the bus. Senior brother Li, have you ever thought about whether it might be a virus? Cheng Yali whispered as she got close to Li Fei. Li Fei frowned when he heard this. After listening to Cheng Yali's thoughts, he began to work backwards and found that this was very likely. If it is indeed a virus, then it means it is very likely to be contagious. Then I thought about it. A group of people who had just returned from the Yunnan border during their rotation. Notify the commander, demanding that all soldiers, except those on missions, be brought back and placed in the dormitories. They must not move around and await Professor Han's verification before proceeding to the next step. Li Fei picked up the intercom on his chest and gave instructions. Just 30 seconds later, the base's alarm sounded. All the soldiers quickly gathered and were then taken back. The whole process took no more than 10 minutes. Cheng Yali looked gloomy and upset as she watched from the side. Li Fei, let me say a few words. Then we can go see the patient right away, okay? Han Zhongqun looked at Li Fei with a probing look. Sure, Teacher Han, Li Fei nodded. Yali and all the students, I'm very sorry. The problems I encounter while bringing you out for practice this time may very well turn into a nightmare. The possibility of infection cannot be ruled out. Given the current state of military training, if it is confirmed to be contagious, you must persevere. I'm sorry, but you don't have a chance to go back now. You have no choice but to continue, Han Zhongqun said with some guilt. Cheng Yali's face was full of determination, but of course she didn't say anything. She was Han Zhongqun's student, and it was not appropriate for her to express her opinion. Mr. Han, Dr. Li, from the moment we started studying medicine, we pledged to devote our lives to the medical profession, so Mr. Han, there's no need to feel sorry. For us, this is both a challenge and a rare opportunity to practice. Among the 4 assistants, a master's student named Wang Cheng stood up and spoke loudly. Good boy, what's your name? Li Fei asked with a smile. Dr. Li, my name is Wang Cheng, and I'm a master's student, Wang Cheng replied loudly. Chapter 144, I came to see the dance, but ended up with a mouthful of dog food. Very good, Li Fei nodded with satisfaction. Dr. Li, it's the same for us. The other 3 people stood up immediately afterwards, but they were not the first to stand up like Wang Cheng, so they did not have the right to introduce themselves. Very good, Teacher Han, let's go over and take a look now. Li Fei nodded and then looked at Han Zhongqun. Let's go, Han Zhongqun said decisively. Then several people came to the infirmary, put on protective clothing, and walked into the infirmary. Han Zhongqun began to check the patient's condition. Do you have the examination report? Han Zhongqun shone a flashlight into the patient's eyes and spoke at the same time. Yes, Li Fei waved his hand, and soon a doctor brought out a bunch of examination reports. Cheng Yali, Wang Cheng, and others took it and began to check it. There are abnormalities in the blood report. Cheng Yali could see at a glance that there was a problem with the blood test. The percentage of lymphocytes is high, and the white blood cell count is basically normal. The military district's medical staff must have seen from this blood test report that it was a viral infection. Yali, collect pathological samples immediately and conduct biological tests to confirm whether it is contagious. Han Zhongqun ordered immediately. TT keyword add data title equals beauty, data tag equals recommended products, data type equals 1, data value equals 1930/TT keyword add yes. Upon hearing this, Cheng Yali took action immediately. Han Zhongqun examined all the patients separately, and Wang Cheng and the other 3 followed behind to record the information Han Zhongqun said. Preliminary diagnosis is that it is an infectious disease. Abscesses of varying degrees were found on the patient's arms and legs. Han Zhongqun said with a deep and serious expression, Teacher, it's confirmed. Although we can't confirm what virus it is indeed contagious. Cheng Yali also ran over at this time and handed the examination report in her hand to Han Zhongqun. Filamentous virus, Han Zhongqun's eyes narrowed. Li Fei's eyes flashed with surprise. Filovirus? The Ebola virus with a mortality rate of up to 90% is a filovirus. Emergency notice. Li Fei immediately took out the walkie-talkie. Compared to the busy Jinling military region, Su Luo and Yi Xiaomu were currently curled up on the sofa, browsing Weibo. Mumu is finally releasing an album. It must be fully booked. Have you heard? Su Luo is going to be a mentor on Go-Go Trainee. I'm looking forward to it. I wonder if Miu Miu will appear on screen. Yi Zayaramu then opened the homepage of Come On, Trainee, and found that the program team had already started promoting it. Come On, Trainee Program Team, among the 101 trainees who will stand out and become one of the 7 members of the girl group. It has the grandest display stage. Picture: the founder of a top-notch girl group at Chinese Letter, vocal mentor at Chinese Letter, rap mentor at Chinese Letter, dance instructor at Su Luo, special guest instructor at Pei Enju. Go-Go Trainee will officially start filming on May 22nd. Stay tuned. Sure enough, the trainees have been officially announced. Haha, Su Luo's dance is quite explosive, but I want to say this timidly, this is a girl group. Upstairs, don't panic. Liu Liu has danced with celebrity couples in women's clothing before. They were even more charming than women. Where can I watch it? The current compilations of celebrity couples don't feature Su Luo and Yi Zayaramu, and the trailer has even been removed. I never expected that the video I recorded on a whim would become a thing of the past. The one above, please lend me one to talk. I feel like you guys are playing tricks, but I have no evidence. Liu Liu, look, they are all looking forward to your dancing. Yi Zayaramu raised her cell phone and spoke. They can't just watch it if they want to. Su Luo raised her head slightly and said proudly, "That's right, my Liu Liu's dance." Yi Zayaramu hadn't finished speaking. "You have to pay more." Su Luo's voice interrupted Yi Zayaramu's words and her thoughts. Su Luo, what the hell are you talking about?" Yi Zayaramu scolded with a smile. Obviously, she knew about the joke about having to pay extra. Haha, Su Luo smiled. "Honey, please dance for me and let me take a video. I want to post it on Weibo, okay?" Yi Zayaramu clasped his hands together and blinked at Su Luo. "Why are you so good at acting like a spoiled child now?" Su Luo said, covering her forehead. "Are you going to jump or not?" Yi Zayaramu's face changed and there was anger in his voice. "Jump, jump!" Su Luo immediately gave in. She sighed inwardly, thinking that her family status seemed to be a little different. Shaking her head, Su Luo connected her phone to the speakers in the living room and found a cheerful song. Boom, 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 boom. Music with a strong rhythmic sense sounded. Su Luo followed the music, taking a few steps, then raised her hands and began to dance to the rhythm. Yi Zayaramu looked at Su Luo on the phone and immediately laughed. The cheerful rhythm, coupled with Su Luo occasionally making a heart shape with her hands to Yi Zayaramu in harmony with the music. Then there was the sound of clockwork, and Su Luo immediately changed her dance style, poppin', with strong muscle tremors, each of which seemed to hit Su Luo's heart. Suddenly, there was a drum beat, and then the music stopped abruptly, while Su Luo made a movement to the beat. "Ah!" Yi Zayaramu screamed. She was electrocuted by the last blow. He stood up and ran to Su Luo, stood on tiptoe and kissed Su Luo's lips. "Honey, it's amazing, really. If you don't know, you would think it's a choreographed dance." Yi Zayaramu praised. "It's okay," Su Luo said with a smile. "Honey, wait for me. I'll post something on Weibo." After Su Luo finished speaking, she ran back to the sofa, took out her cell phone, and started editing. "Yi Zayaramu, on a whim, I wanted to see my husband dance at Chinese Letter. The result was the following video. Friendly reminder, it's freestyle improvisational dance. At Come On, Trainee Program Team, you made a good choice of dance instructor. Video. After Yi Zayaramu finished posting, she stared at the comments below. "What's going on? No comments." Yi Zayaramu scrolled a few times, but there were no comments. 3 minutes later, Come On, Trainee Production Team. I came to see the dance, but ended up feeling like I was fed a mouthful of dog food. The production team of Come On, Trainee was directly blown away and even made a joke. But they were also telling the truth. The main idea of Su Luo's dance was to express love in a fancy way. This dance was so sweet, I smiled the entire time. It felt like Luo Luo was confessing her love to me. Putting aside the display of affection, Luo Luo's technique, power, and sense of rhythm are simply too strong. The last gesture of making a heart with the lips is so cute. Kill Mew Mew and grab Su Luo. Making a heart shape with my lips is so difficult. I managed to do it, but my face is already deformed. How did Su Luo manage to make a heart shape with her lips in such a handsome and cute way? Looking for a boyfriend, only one requirement. Handsome lips making a heart shape. Upstairs, kill me. Chapter 145, Yali's Sorrow. The medical area of the Jinling military region has been completely sealed off, and everyone, including Li Fei, has been restricted inside. Everyone started to get busy, and Cheng Yali began to record the patient data one by one. "Miss, can I still be saved?" a patient asked expectantly. Cheng Yali fell silent. According to the teacher's initial judgment, this was a virus similar to Ebola. It is not that contagious. It is mainly transmitted through contact, and the possibility of cure is very small. According to our understanding, the main personnel in the medical area have all returned from the Yunnan border. Fortunately, no new cases were found. I understand. The soldier saw Cheng Yali's reaction and understood in his heart, saying with some disappointment, "Don't give up. Honestly, even though the chance of recovery is low, it doesn't mean it's impossible. We will definitely try our best." Cheng Yali looked at the soldier seriously and said sincerely, "If Su Luo were here, she would find that this soldier was Wu Chen." After more than half a year of military training and garrisoning on the border, Wu Chen became darker and his face became much more resolute. But at this moment, his face was filled with more despair. "Okay, I will stick to it," Wu Chen replied softly after hearing Cheng Yali's words. TT keyword add data title equals beauty, data tag equals recommended products, data type equals 1, data value equals 1930/TT keyword add. In the evening, in the restaurant, Su Luo and Yi Zairam were chatting and laughing while eating. Jiang Yu, who was sitting opposite him, raised his chopsticks, then fell into deep thought, raised his chopsticks again, and fell into deep thought again. "Old Jiang, what are you doing? There's something wrong with you." Su Luo looked at Jiang Yu speechlessly and spoke. "I don't know what's wrong with me," Jiang Yu said helplessly. "Do you know what this is?" Su Luo said with a smile. "What?" Jiang Yu asked. "I have nothing to do. Go." "Just kidding, let me tell you a method," Su Luo said with a smile. "What method?" "Find a chance to visit Zhu Qing's class. Instead of speculating here, it's better to confirm it in person." "Yes, you are right," Jiang Yu's eyes lit up. "Alas, people who fall in love lose all their IQ," Su Luo sighed. "You don't understand. How can I describe that feeling? It's like raindrops falling on a calm lake and then ripples begin to form." Jiang Yu thought about it and said it out. "What if the rain stops?" "Even if the rain stops, the rainwater will have already merged into the lake water, and the evaporated lake water will form rainwater again and drip down in the future." Jiang Yu explained calmly, a smile on his face. "This feeling is so wonderful, I want to experience it again." "Fuck, you don't just want Zhu Qing to kiss you again, do you?" Su Luo said with her eyes wide open. "No, I just want to feel the ripples on the calm lake." Jiang Yu shook his head and spoke seriously. "It's not the gangsters that are scary. What's scary is the gangsters with culture." Su Luo shook her head, covering her forehead and sighed, while Yi Zaiamu covered her mouth and laughed secretly. "Okay, Lao Jiang, I'll send you Zhu Qing's location later and also send it to you on WeChat. You can handle it yourself." After finishing the meal, Su Luo spoke. "Oh, Zio Luo, sister-in-law, be careful on the road." Jiang Yu nodded and spoke. "Longan Courtyard. Honey, is old Jiang reliable? Why do I feel like he's a little stupid?" Yi Zaiamu nestled in Su Luo's arms and spoke softly. "Don't worry about that. He's just a little emotionally slow. His ability to read minds is enough to prove that his IQ is not only fine, but extremely high. I think his IQ is exchanged for EQ," Yi Zaiamu said with certainty after hearing this. "There's nothing wrong with his interpersonal skills," Su Luo said. "Is it possible that he relies on IQ, not EQ, to get along with others? That is, rational thinking about how to get along with others and how to talk to individuals." Yi Zaiamu's face showed a hint of hesitation. "You mean he might actually be socially anxious, but he uses his intelligence to deal with people?" "Yes, otherwise look at his reaction to Zhu Qing's matter." Yi Zaiamu nodded and spoke. "That should be very likely." Su Luo nodded and agreed. At this time, Jiang Yu was staring at Zhu Qing's WeChat business card sent by Su Luo. "Hello, Zhu Qing, I'm Jiang Yu." Jiang Yu typed a verification message but deleted it quickly. "Zhu Qing, it's me, Jiang Yu." "Zhu Qing, I'm Su Luo's friend, Jiang Yu. We've met before." After deleting and writing, Jiang Yu still did not add Zhu Qing as a friend. On the other side, Cheng Yali, Han Zhongqun, and others stood beside a hospital bed with sad faces. Another patient had a seizure and died. This was a huge blow to Cheng Yali and the others in the team. It was the first time for the 5 of them to see a patient die in front of them. Cheng Yali handed the detailed report on the patient's illness to Han Zhongqun. I walked out of the medical area in a state of despair. It was already dark, and the area was surrounded by a quarantine zone made of barbed wire. Thinking of the patient twitching all over and screaming in pain, Cheng Yali tried all the first aid methods but failed to save the patient. "Time of death, 20:08. Cheng Yali said this in despair. The sound kept echoing in Cheng Yali's ears. She slowly squatted down, held her knees with her hands, and her body began to tremble slightly. "Are you crying?" A gentle voice sounded beside Cheng Yali. Cheng Yali's body stiffened. She wiped her eyes with her knees, raised her head, and saw Wu Chen in hospital gown. "Why did you come out?" Cheng Yali looked at Wu Chen in horror. "Don't be nervous. Don't be nervous. The old doctor just agreed because he said our virus is a contact virus. Normal conversation and so on won't be contagious." Wu Chen immediately started to explain, fearing that Cheng Yali would be too panicked. "Oh, you should have a good rest. You still have a fever." Cheng Yali stood up and returned to her original calm state. "I'm fine, but were you crying just now? I heard that one of my comrades just died, right?" Wu Chen spoke calmly, as if he didn't recognize the comrade who had just died. In fact, his mood at the moment was very complicated. He should have been upset, but at this moment he was unusually calm. He thought that he was so calm because he knew that there were 42 of them, and they would all die one by one. "I'm not crying. You just have a good rest. I will definitely cure you," Cheng Yali said seriously. Wu Chen looked at Cheng Yali's determined expression and smiled, pretending to be happy. "Okay, I believe you. You can do it," Wu Chen nodded. "Go to bed early." Wu Chen turned around and walked into the medical area. But out of Cheng Yali's sight, Wu Chen clasped his hands in front of his chest, trembling uncontrollably. Chapter 146 Life is too fragile in the face of death. Then every day, 1 or 2 patients died. Cheng Yali watched patients die before her eyes time and time again. Time of death, 7:14 m on May 20th. Cheng Yali said the death information somewhat numbly. Then he stumbled out of the medical area in a daze. Although the virus is not very contagious, and several medical staff were not infected, the military district's lockdown has not been lifted. At this moment, Cheng Yali completely lost the confidence she had when she just came here. She even didn't know what she could do. All the reports and tests were done, but what good did it do? Cultured cells simply couldn't kill the virus. "What's wrong? Are you depressed?" Wu Chen's lazy voice came out. Cheng Yali looked up and saw Wu Chen leaning against the door of the medical area, looking at her. He had become paler and looked a little weak. His hands, which were behind his back, seemed to be trembling, as his trembling had affected his shoulders. As a medical worker, this kind of cover-up can be seen at a glance. Of course, Cheng Yali did not expose him. Is he scared? Over such a long period of time, a total of 21 people have died. "I don't know." Cheng Yali shook her head, not knowing what to say. TT keyword add data title equals beauty, data tag equals recommended products, data type equals 1. Data value equals 1930 / TT keyword add. "I still remember you told me that you could definitely cure us," Wu Chen said firmly. "I overestimated my own abilities," Cheng Yali said somewhat disappointedly, then looked at Wu Chen. "Are you afraid of death? If I don't cure you, will you blame me?" Cheng Yali said with a conflicted look on her face. "Are you scared? I don't know. My identity requires me not to be afraid, but I don't want to die." Wu Chen raised his head, not knowing where to look, and spoke seriously. Then he looked at Cheng Yali and walked up to her step by step. "If you fail to cure me in the end, I won't blame you," Wu Chen said seriously. "But although I don't blame you, sister, if possible, I still want to live a little longer." After a moment, Wu Chen spoke with a flattering look on his face. "Puchai?" Cheng Yali looked at Wu Chen's funny look and laughed, and her mood became much better. "Thank you, really." Cheng Yali let out a long sigh and looked at Wu Chen in front of her and expressed her gratitude. "Gone?" Wu Chen looked at Cheng Yali in surprise. "What's gone? What else?" Cheng Yali looked at Wu Chen in confusion. "Is there nothing you can say? Like offering yourself to me?" Wu Chen smiled and winked at Cheng Yali, but the smile didn't look that good with his defeated face. "Get lost, little brat. How old are you and you're already flirting with your sister? Go back and get some rest." Cheng Yali's face turned red, and then she looked at Wu Chen angrily and scolded him with a smile. "Sister, your name is Cheng Yali, right?" Wu Chen glanced at the name tag on Cheng Yali's chest and asked. "Yeah," Cheng Yali nodded. "Sister, my name is Wu Chen, remember it." After Wu Chen said that, he looked at Cheng Yali deeply, turned and left. "Cheng Yali, if I get better, I want you to be my 100th girlfriend." After Wu Chen ran away, he suddenly stopped, turned around and shouted. When Cheng Yali heard this, she was stunned for a moment, and then the good impression she had for Wu Chen disappeared. "Bah, scumbag," Cheng Yali said with disdain. At 8:00 in the morning, Yi Xiaomu's first mini-album after the termination of the contract, Because of Love, was officially launched on the Tomato Music platform. Within 1 hour of its launch, the number of downloads exceeded 1 million, and it received continuous positive reviews. "I like to listen to Sunny Day, a kind of light sadness, but also a warm feeling, my first love, I miss you. Is the egg upstairs feeling sad?" Don't worry, follow me. The short video live streaming platform of the same name, the little red car has what you need. I understand. Oh my God, this place has a wide range of business. Can you make this sex doll cheaper? Have you noticed that the composer for Mew Mew's album, including the first 2 singles, is Yi Luo? Who is this Yi Luo? Could it be Su Luo? Su Luo is a finance major. How could she possibly write a song? It must be that some big shot in the industry was afraid of offending Luohua Entertainment, so he wrote the song anonymously. All 8 songs are excellent songs, and they are good songs that can be played on repeat. Love it. Rumor has it that Yi Luo is most likely Su Luo. Wow, is this the song written by Yi Luo? Biwei's army came to support the album because of love. Our Luzuki must support Yi Luo's song. Wait, guys, the lyrics and music for these songs are also by Yi Luo. Could they be the same person? Yi Luo awesome, crackling. At this time, a Big V opened an analysis post. Yi Luo first appeared on the Immortal Palace novel network. He was directly deified with a novel called Zhu Xian Zhuan and was recommended by Zhu Qing on Weibo. This Zhu Qing is Yi Zaiamu's best friend, so there is a possibility that Zhu Qing is helping Su Luo promote her new book. Next, there's the collaboration between lyricist Yi Luo and novelist Yi Luo. Novelist Yi Luo will help recommend new songs. Finally, Yi Zaiamu's Yi and Su Luo's Luo can naturally form Yi Luo. This post analyzes from multiple angles and finally concludes that Yi Luo is Su Luo. Su Luo looked at it and nodded, then gave a thumbs up. This unconscious like instantly set the internet on fire. The true identity of Yi Luo's top composer is actually, oh my God, it really is Su Luo. I was the first one to eliminate the wrong answer. Husband, you blew yourself up, Yi Zaiamu on the side suddenly exclaimed. She saw the details and secretly laughed in her heart, thinking that her husband was sometimes really like a mentally retarded person. What? Su Luo immediately opened Weibo and took a look. Oh my God, why are there so many rhythms all of a sudden? But it's okay. Even though there's no official announcement, the buzz is still there. Su Luo browsed through it casually for a while, and seeing that most of the fans had guessed the same thing, she smiled. Alas, my cover has been exposed, but luckily I still have a trick up my sleeve. Su Luo quietly took out a wooden sculpture of the god of wealth from her pocket and bowed to it secretly. It's okay, this kind of self-destruction does have some benefits. After saying that, Su Luo patted Yi Zaiamu's head. Hubby, now that you're done, stay with me for a while. Yi Zaiamu hugged Su Luo and whispered softly. Come, Su Luo said, putting her arms around Yi Zaiamu. Then the two smiled at each other and closed their eyes. The other sighed. Who are you looking for? I'm looking for Zhu Qing. Chapter 140, 7 Su Luo and Yi Zaiamu go to the program team. Zhu Qing, someone is looking for you. Zhu Qing was sitting under a parasol reading a script. Oh, here I come. Zhu Qing responded, then stood up and walked out. Zhu Qing, Jiang Yu called out when he saw Zhu Qing appear. Zhu Qing's expression changed. He felt a little embarrassed, but at the same time, he felt a little happy. What are you doing here? Zhu Qing said calmly. Can we go to another place? Jiang Yu looked around, and everyone had a gossipy look on their face. Come with me, Zhu Qing said, turned and left. Jiang Yu hurried to follow. Zhu Qing and Jiang Yu were in a dressing room built by the crew. Sit down, Zhu Qing pointed at the chair and said. After saying thank you, Jiang Yu sat down. You can tell me now. Zhu Qing saw Jiang Yu sitting down, so he sat down too, right opposite Jiang Yu. I just want to ask, why did you kiss me? Jiang Yu said seriously. You, Zhu Qing was amused. What on earth was I expecting? Go ahead, I have to go filming, Zhu Qing said, then stood up and left. I won't leave, I'll accompany you to film. When I know the answer, I'll leave, Jiang Yu said loudly. You should go back and work hard. Zhu Qing was speechless after hearing these words. He clearly didn't feel anything, but what he said was misunderstood. I've resigned. I won't go back until I find the answer, Jiang Yu said with a firm face. Zhu Qing paused and finally left without saying anything. Adults should be responsible for their own decisions. TT keyword add data title equals game. Data tag equals quality recommendations. Data type equals 1. Data value equals 1913 / TT keyword add. At noon, Su Luo and Yi Zaiamu got up and went back to their parents' home, spending 2 happy days with their parents. On the morning of May 22, Su Luo and Yi Zaiamu got on the car arranged by the program team and went to a villa area in the suburbs of Shanghai. This is a complex of villas that the program crew rented specifically for filming, which can be said to be a huge investment. It is worth mentioning that there is a grade A hospital nearby. Teacher Su, Teacher Yi, hello. I'm Liu Wen, Director Wang Zhi's assistant. A girl was waiting at the entrance of the villa area. When she saw Su Luo and Yi Xiaomu get out of the car, she immediately went to greet them. "Hello, Assistant Liu, we are not late, are we?" Su Luo said. No, you are the first to arrive. Let me take you to meet the director first." Liu Wen smiled and waved her hand and said, "Thank you for your help," Su Luo said politely. Then Su Luo and Yi Xiaomu, led by Liu Wen, met Director Wang Zhi. "Teacher Su, Teacher Yi, welcome to you very much." Wang Zhi was just checking the final preparations for the filming. When he saw Su Luo and the others, he immediately stopped working, walked up to Su Luo and spoke. "Hello, Director Wang, I hope I didn't delay you." Su Luo replied with a smile. Although it was the first time he met Director Wang, he felt that this person was very reliable. He didn't look very old, but he seemed like someone who could get things done. Otherwise, he would not have been chosen by the program's sponsors to be the chief director this time. "No delay, it's almost done." Wang Zhi waved his hand and spoke. "Teacher Su, let me tell you about the program rules and procedures." Then Wang Zhi brought Su Luo to the director's office, sat them both on the sofa, and then said, "Director Wang, please speak." Su Luo nodded, motioning for Director Wang to speak. "Our program features 101 trainees from various entertainment companies. After 3 months of training and program recording, 7 people are finally selected to form a group." Wang Zhi repeated the main theme of the program. "Director Wang, is this number a requirement from the investors, or?" Su Luo asked curiously. "It's like this. The largest investor in our show is YCAT Entertainment, so the final group needs to sign a team agency contract with YCAT Entertainment. The expiration date is 2 years, so during these 2 years, Waleo Entertainment promised at least 4 A-level resources, but these 4 A-level resources can only accommodate a maximum of 7 people. So we had a micro chat for entertainment, and the requirements were met, and the final result was a group of 7 people." Wang Zhi also explained the reason to Su Luojiang very clearly. "I understand," Su Luo nodded. It seemed that the 4 trainees from Xiaomu Entertainment were facing fierce competition here. However, Su Luo has never met these 4 people until now. Su Luo has no habit of going to the company, and he will not take the initiative to get to know other women. In the end, the development of the 4 people mainly depends on themselves. Su Luo can at most provide certain protection to prevent them from being affected by the dark side. "Director Wang, please continue." There are 5 mentors in total, and the trainees are divided into 5 classes. A, B, C, and D. Each mentor leads 1 class. It's just the first month, because the first elimination will take place in a month. After the elimination, the mentors will split into 2 groups, each with their own trainees. As for the division of tutors into classes, it is decided by drawing lots. After some communication, Su Luo nodded to indicate that she understood. "Okay, Teacher Su, Teacher Yi, I'll have someone take you back to your residence first," Wang Zhi said. "Then I'll trouble you, Director Wang." Su Luo stood up and expressed her gratitude. "You're welcome. Several instructors will be here at noon, and we can have lunch together then." "Okay, no problem," Su Luo said, holding Yi Xiaomu's hand and following Liu Wen walked out of the director's office. Villa number 1. "Teacher Su, Teacher Yi, this small villa was rented specifically for you by the director. Because there is a female mentor among the 5 mentors, it is more suitable for you to live with her than with the other 3 male mentors. I wonder if Teacher Su and Teacher Yi will mind," Liu Wen said, looking at Yi Xiaomu. "As long as Teacher Pei doesn't mind, we can do it," Yi Xiaomu said when he saw this. "That's great," Liu Wen said happily. Then Liu Wen took Su Luo and the other 2 into the villa. The villa was not very big, with 2 floors, a master bedroom upstairs and a guest bedroom downstairs. Taking the pregnant woman into consideration, Liu Wen arranged Su Luo and Yi Xiaomu on the first floor. "Thank you, Assistant Liu." Yi Xiaomu looked at the bedroom, which was indeed very exquisite, and said to Liu Wen seriously, "You're welcome. These are all arranged by the director," Liu Wen said with a smile. "Teacher Su, Teacher Yi, I won't bother you anymore. I'll come and ask you to have lunch together at noon. Oh, by the way, Mr. Pei will only come over when we're recording in the evening." After Liu Wen finished speaking, she turned around and left Villa number 1 with a charming step. Su Luo pulled the suitcase into the bedroom, then looked at Yi Xiaomu with a smile and began to pack. "Honey, thank you for your hard work," Yi Xiaomu said seriously. Su Luo turned her head, looked at Yi Xiaomu and smiled. "It's not hard, it's what I should do." Chapter 148, Catalog Preparation. There was no special preparation for lunch. but everyone except Pei Enju met in advance to get to know each other. Yi Zayaramu did not come. After all, this was a work-related social event, and it was not appropriate for her to come along. In the kitchen of Villa Number 1, Su Luo prepared dinner for Yi Zayaramu in advance, and then left and went to the place notified by Wang Zhi. Brother Lu. When Su Luo arrived, Lu Han was already sitting at the dining table. Ha, Zio Luo? Lu Han heard the voice, looked up, and saw Su Luo greeting him. He immediately stood up and walked to Su Luo's side. Then he handed 2 cigarettes in front of Su Luo, and Su Luo reached out and took one of them. Hello. At this time, another voice came from behind them. Yixing, Zio Lu. The two walked together, hugged each other, and patted each other twice. It was obvious that they were doing it very hard, and both of them had grimace on their faces. Well, it is indeed a brotherly love. Zio Luo, let me introduce Zhang Yixing, my former teammate. Just call him Brother Yixing, Lu Han introduced to Su Luo. Brother Yixing, Su Luo greeted him with a smile. This is Su Luo, just call her Zio Luo. Lu Han had a good impression of Su Luo. Not long after, Uncle Dong also came over, and the 4 men sat together, smoking cigarettes. After some chatting, several people affectionately called Uncle Dong brother-in-law. What are you waiting for? At this time, Wang Zhi walked in and said unhappily when he saw the 4 people who had smoked a pack. Isn't there another mentor? Zhang Yixing asked in confusion. Didn't I tell you that she won't come until the recording begins? Wang Zhi said, covering his forehead. What are you waiting for? Serve the food quickly, Director Wang. I'm starving, Uncle Dong said speechlessly. A lunch and a pack of cigarettes helped the few people break the ice. After lunch, teachers, please go back and have a rest. The recording will officially begin at 4:00 p.m. It will be held in the dedicated room 10. Teachers, please don't be late. After dinner, Wang Zhi talked about the meeting time in the afternoon, and then left. The 4 of them smoked a cigarette after dinner, and then left. Zio Mu, have you eaten? Su Luo, who returned to the villa, looked at Yi Zayaramu lying on the sofa and asked. I've eaten. Yi Zayaramu sat up and answered. That's good. The director just told us that the recording will start at 4 o'clock. I guess it will take quite a while today. You should go to sleep first and don't wait for me. Su Luo sat next to Yi Zayaramu and spoke. I understand, but I might not be able to sleep, Yi Zayaramu said softly while holding Su Luo's arm. I'll be back as soon as possible. Su Luo rubbed Yi Zayaramu's head and said softly. Yi Zayaramu nodded. The 2 of them slept together almost every day. In this month, Yi Zayaramu's sleeping posture had improved a lot. Correspondingly, he was used to being in Su Luo's arms, and suddenly he was alone, which made him a little uncomfortable. Otherwise, Yi Zayaramu would not be lying on the sofa at noon. I couldn't sleep during my lunch break, so I just lay on the sofa and watched TV casually. Let's go, I'll take a nap with you, Su Luo said softly. Yeah, okay, husband. Yi Zayaramu smiled and spoke crisply, then hugged Su Luo's arm and walked towards the room. Bang, the bedroom door closed. Yi Zayaramu immediately pulled up the curtains and took off her clothes. Then he ran to the bed and stretched out his hands to Su Luo with a smile. I remember you were very shy before. Su Luo teased Yi Zayaramu while dragging her clothes. You've seen everything, why are you shy? Yi Zayaramu said carelessly. Su Luo smiled dotingly, then got on the bed and held Yi Zayaramu in her arms. Go to sleep, little bastard. You are the naive one, you old pervert. Yi Zayaramu closed her eyes, found a comfortable position, and pouted coquettishly. When Su Luo woke up again, it was already past 3 in the afternoon. Husband, are you going to get up? Yi Zayaramu murmured, awakened by Su Luo's actions. Sorry for waking you up. I should get up and go over, Su Luo said apologetically. It's okay, husband, go ahead. Yi Zayaramu waved her hand, said casually, and then closed her eyes. Su Luo put on her clothes, washed up briefly, then walked to the window and kissed Yi Zayaramu. Then Su Luo walked out of the room. Yi Zayaramu raised the corners of her mouth slightly, but did not open her eyes. Today was the day for the trainees to be divided into classes, so there were no audiences arranged, and Yi Zayaramu did not need to go there. When Su Luo walked out of the room, he saw a suitcase at the door, but he didn't see anyone. Then he opened the door of the villa and walked out. In Villa Number 10, the behind-the-scenes staff of the program are busy at this time. 101 trainees were staying in a unified lounge, waiting for the show to begin. Teacher Su, come quickly, I need to put on makeup for you. As soon as Su Luo arrived, she was caught red-handed by the makeup artist. Although Su Luo has a good foundation, she still needs to consider factors such as lighting and background during the actual shooting. Generally speaking, she still needs to apply a little makeup. In this way, the shooting effect can be improved as much as possible, and the facial deformation or ugliness of the characters in the shooting will not occur due to lighting problems. Attention everyone, there are 30 minutes left before the official recording. Please turn on all cameras in the trainee lounge at 4:00 p.m. sharp. At 4:30 p.m., Luhan will open the show. Following the instructions, the other instructors will enter in turn. Wang Ji began to explain the process so that all the mentors and trainees could be prepared. Then Su Luo put on her makeup and, under the guidance of the makeup artist, came to the tutor's temporary lounge. The reason why it is called temporary is that there will be no rest after the recording of today's program begins. Brother Lu, Brother Yixing, and brother-in-law. Su Luo greeted several people as soon as she entered. Hello, teacher Pei Enju, I am Su Luo. Then Su Luo looked at Pei Enju beside her and greeted her. Shu Luo, hello Li. Pei Enju's Chinese seemed not very good. After talking for a long time, she finally said it. Mianio, sorry, honorific. My Chinese is not very good, Pei Enju said a little embarrassedly. It's okay, it's okay. Looking at Pei Enju, who kept bowing opposite her, Su Luo had no choice but to keep bowing as well. Zyro Luo, don't be so funny. Luhan looked at them, laughed helplessly, and then immediately stopped the two of them. Don't be so polite, he is my good friend, Luhan explained in Korean. Then several people quickly started chatting. Su Luo and her uncle looked at each other in confusion because they could not understand the Korean language. Chapter 149, come on, trainees, the recording begins. At 4 o'clock in the afternoon, the production team turned on all the cameras in the trainee lounge. Su Luo and others who were sitting in the temporary lounge saw the 101 trainees through the screen. Liu Wen gave each of Su Luo a piece of information, which included detailed information on all 101 trainees. Teachers, here are the detailed information of the 101 trainees. Your first task will be to grade each member based on their performance, followed by a month of training. The teachers will also become mentors for each class. Liu Wen began to introduce the mission situation. Assistant Liu, I have a question, Su Luo said at this time. Lu Han and the others also looked at Su Luo in confusion. Teacher Su, please ask, Liu Wen said. According to what Director Wang said before, we each lead a class, and each of us has different strengths. Will this? Su Luo spoke with some doubt. In the end, he didn't know how to express it. The general meaning was whether the trainees would have a bias in their studies. It's like this. Although you will be teaching different classes separately, you will need to have unified teaching in the morning. In the afternoon, each instructor can make their own arrangements. As for the trainees' skills that Teacher Su is worried about, this is a deliberate arrangement by the production team. Luck is part of one's ability, and the trainees need to rely on themselves. What Liu Wen actually meant was that if a trainee who is great at dancing is assigned to a dance instructor and can only rely on open classes for singing, then that is her fate, and the program team will not provide any extra help. Similarly, if a trainee who is good at dancing but weak in singing is assigned to be a singing instructor, then this is his fate. Thank you, Assistant Liu, I understand. Su Luo nodded. Okay, teachers, I won't bother you anymore. Please take a look at the information, Liu Wen said and left the lounge. PD Lu, how is it? Any ideas? Zhang Yixing briefly flipped through the information and asked. There is less than half an hour left, so it is obviously impossible to finish reading all the information. We'll each choose a team and take turns. This way, when we look at the materials during recording, it's less likely to make mistakes. As for the level, let's discuss it among the 5 of us, Lu Han said and repeated it in Korean. Teacher Lu, I know a little bit of Chinese, Pei Enju said a little embarrassedly. Is that so? Lu Han asked, looking at the few people who were silent. Okay, several people nodded in agreement. Next, since there was still some time, a few people took a quick look at the information. Only then did Su Luo realize that she actually didn't know who the trainee sent by Zyaramo Entertainment was. Although she had seen him before in the company, she couldn't remember his name. Su Luo felt a little embarrassed and started searching quickly. Lu Laipai, vocalist, is 19 years old. She has a baby-like face and looks quite quiet. Miao Fanglin, who is good at dancing, is 18 years old this year. She has a plump figure and fair skin. Wu Dan, the dance leader, is 20 years old this year. He is tall and has a cool look. Xiao Ting, who specializes in the guzheng, is 19 years old. She is elegant, dressed in hanfu, and exudes a classical temperament. These 4 people are the trainees that Zyaramo Entertainment has just signed recently. Su Luo looked at the information and photos and nodded. Each of the 4 people had their own characteristics, and should be the best among the trainees of Xiaomu Entertainment. Xiao Luo, what are you looking at? Lu Han saw Su Luo in a daze and walked over. Xiaomu Entertainment. Lu Han looked at the introduction on the information. Oh, by the way, this is a trainee from your company. Why are you only seeing him now? Lu Han looked at Su Luo in surprise. Haha, no, I knew it before, I just took a look at it casually. Su Luo said a little embarrassedly. Tusk, who doesn't know you? The only opposite sex in your eyes is Yi Xiaomu. Who else can you notice? Lu Han rolled his eyes and teased. Zhang Yixing and Uncle Dong also nodded in agreement. Pei Enju looked at Su Luo thoughtfully. Because she just heard the 3 words Yi Xiaomu, who was someone she knew, and then she didn't understand anything else. Lu Han spoke too fast. Look at the screen, look at the screen. Su Luo awkwardly changed the subject. On the screen, 101 trainees were gathered in groups. Some were chatting with each other, some were encouraging each other, and some were dressing up. Is anyone familiar with this? Lu Han asked with a smile as he looked at the constantly switching screens. Yes, Pei Enju said loudly. That contestant debuted in our country, South Korea. Her name seems to be Su Yueking. She dances very well, Pei Enju said in not very fluent Chinese. This, I know him, Song Jinan. He used to be an extra, a special actor, Lu Han said, pointing at a trainee. For a straight man, Su Luo repeated. Puchai, Zhang Yixing laughed out loud. My name is Song Jinan, Lu Han said with a frown on his face. Yes, it's for straight men, Uncle Dong agreed. Ha ha ha, several people laughed, even though they were making fun of other people's names. However, these people didn't have any other intentions, they were just chatting casually. They didn't think there was anything wrong with Song Jinan's transition from being an extra to being a trainee. Instead, they thought she was working very hard. Then a few people started chatting. There were indeed a few famous trainees among them, and everyone discussed with each other. Teacher Lu, the time is up, you can go up first. When the time was up, Liu Wen opened the door and reminded. Yeah, Lu Han nodded and walked out. Teachers, after Teacher Lu finishes speaking, he will ask you to enter the venue and you can also go backstage. Liu Wen then reminded the others. Oh my, why are you a little nervous? Zhang Yixing stood up and said with a smile after listening. Let's go, why are you so nervous? Just go for it, Uncle Dong said as he stood up. The 4 people followed Liu Wen to the backstage and saw that Lu Han was already standing on the stage. How embarrassing, Su Luo said. What's embarrassing? Asked Uncle Dong. Look, there's no one here, and Brother Lu is standing there alone, pretending like someone is watching. Su Luo pointed at Lu Han, who was talking, and said with a smile. Haha, now that you mention it, it's true, it's quite embarrassing. Uncle Dong laughed out loud. Pei Enju covered her mouth and laughed secretly. Although she didn't fully understand what Su Luo said, she understood what he meant. Next, it's time for our trainee mentors. Vocal mentor Zhang Yixing, rap mentor Dong Daju, dance mentor Su Luo, and our beautiful guest mentor Pei Enju. Lu Han finished his lines with great passion. Chapter 150 Balance. Zhang Yixing and others heard Lu Han's words and went on stage. The 5 people stared at each other, and the scene suddenly became quiet. Speak up, don't let it be a dull moment. Director Wang's voice came from the earphones. At this moment, the screen in the trainee lounge was playing the scenes on the stage. Seeing the mentors staring at each other, they all laughed out loud. 4 of them were nervous because that was their boss. After hearing what the director said, Lu Han felt a little helpless. There was no detailed description of this in the script. This part was not mentioned in the previous communication. Didn't the instructor come in and start directly? Is Director Wang messing with him? If Wang Zhi knew what Lu Han was thinking, he would definitely give him a big bag. When the 4 of them enter, they can just go directly to the mentor's seats and sit down. As a result, 5 people stood on the stage, so we have to say something. You are all mentors of the trainees. Do you have anything to say to them? Finally, Lu Han rolled his eyes and brought up the topic. Teacher Zhang, please speak first, Lu Han said, handing over the microphone. In fact, the microphone is of little use. They all have their own receivers, and preparing a microphone is just a ritual. Wang Zhi also explained it this way. Me, Zhang Yixing took the microphone and looked at Lu Han in surprise. He is indeed my good brother. At this moment, Zhang Yixing's brain was spinning violently, and then turned into a mess. Come on, trainees, Zhang Yixing said subconsciously. Well said, Teacher Zhang, don't say it next time, Su Luo said, suppressing her smile. If you can do it, you tell me. Zhang Yixing looked at Su Luo, pretending to be angry. At this time, the trainees' lounge was already laughing, and these mentors looked very interesting. I know it in my heart, but I won't say it. I think my uncle seems to have something to say, so let's give the microphone to him. Su Luo winked at Zhang Yixing and looked at Uncle Dong. Zhang Yixing immediately understood and handed the microphone to Uncle Dong. I'm your uncle. I'm here to watch the talent show. All I have to do is yell 666. Yeah. Uncle Dong said, single bet, with a bitter face, and wiped the sweat from his forehead. Thank you for your hard work. Su Luo patted Uncle Dong's shoulder. Sister Enju, do you want to say something? Su Luo looked at Pei Enju and asked. As he spoke, he snatched the microphone from Uncle Dong and placed it in Pei Enju's hand. Wang Ji in the backstage nodded in satisfaction. Although this segment was not prepared, Su Luo's control of the situation was immature, but at least it allowed this segment to retain some vegetarian dishes. Hello everyone, I'm Pei Enju. I hope every student can cheer up, work hard, and excel during this period. Pei Enju used all his strength to filter the words in his mind. Then he immediately threw the microphone back to Su Luo. Dear students, please take a look at the stage behind me. Thank you to the production team for providing you with the best stage. China's top singer and dancer, P.D. Lu. China's outstanding singer-songwriter, Mr. Zhang. A first-class rap teacher, Dajiu Ji, and South Korea's outstanding original singer, Mr. Pei. Of course, there's also Xiao Ming, teacher Su Luo. With 4 top-notch instructors like you and me, your idol instructor, as long as you work hard, I believe you will definitely gain something. Come on for the debut spot. Give it your all and leave no regrets. After Su Luo finished speaking, the trainees all applauded excitedly. Sure enough, when it comes to being thick-skinned, none of us can compare to you. The first thing Lu Han said, after he got on the microphone, was to tease Su Luo. They have 4 talented mentors, and Su Luo is an idol mentor, which means he is the most handsome. Shameless. Let's go, let's take our seats first, Lu Han said after receiving instructions from the director. The 5 people took their seats one after another. Lu Han was in the middle, Zhang Yixing on the left, followed by Uncle Dong, Pei Enju on the right, and then Su Luo. The 3 most famous mentors sat in the middle, and Su Luo and Uncle Dong knew this clearly. Lu Han coughed lightly. Next, we will evaluate the 101 trainees. Does anyone have any good suggestions? Lu Han said softly. Since it's a girl group performance, let's watch the group performance first. If there's anything you want to see, we can watch the individual performances later. Zhang Yixing spoke according to the previous information. No problem, let's do it this way. I'll choose one first. Lu Han started the cue process according to the original plan. Your balance isn't good enough. You have to learn to find balance. Your body is not balanced enough. Zhang Yixing kept talking, seemingly forgetting that he was a vocal instructor. Su Luo did not refute, because as a person with God-level dancing ability, he fully understood what Zhang Yixing meant. After the 3rd team of trainees finished their performance, they stood on the stage, breathing slightly. Don't you all understand what balance means? Zhang Yixing looked at the people in the audience and the trainees on the stage. Everyone shook their heads in confusion. Lu Han looked at Zhang Yixing with a somewhat amusing and helpless look. Well, teacher Zhang, you are a vocal instructor, Lu Han said with a smile. Oh, sorry. It's just that when I see something, I can't help but say a few words. Teacher Su, I'm sorry. Zhang Yixing apologized politely. Teacher Zhang, it's okay. You're very professional. Whether it's singing or dancing, you're qualified to teach them. Su Luo said with a smile that he didn't mean to be angry. Zhang Yixing didn't mean it, and this was also his attitude as the person in charge. Well, let me explain what teacher Zhang means by balance, Su Luo said with a smile. The original meaning of balance is equilibrium, but when applied to dance, it can be understood as a point. It's the rhythm of every beat that makes your movements catch the audience's attention. In street dance, this is what makes the audience explode. Su Luo gave a brief explanation, and the 3 teams of trainees, including the trainees in the lounge, suddenly understood. Teacher Zhang, is this what you mean? Su Luo looked at Zhang Yixing. Yes, Zhang Yixing nodded, and his favorable impression of Su Luo increased greatly. He was a strict and responsible person when it came to his work. Just by hearing Su Luo's words, he knew that Su Luo was absolutely professional in dancing. Okay, let's discuss what ratings we should give them, Lu Han said. The 5 people gathered together and gave each other advice. The final rating we give you is Class C for all of you. Lu Han announced the final result. Thank you, teachers. Several people in the audience said in unison, and then walked to Class C's seats and sat down. Chapter 151. The Honest Lu Lipe. The 3 teams just now were selected by Lu Han, Zhang Yixing, and Uncle Dong. Teacher Pei, you choose a team, Lu Han said. Pei Enju smiled at Su Luo and then spoke. Then I'll choose Xiaoramu Entertainment. After saying that, he winked at Su Luo. Huo, does Teacher Pei know the relationship between Xiaoramu Entertainment and our teacher Su? Lu Han asked with a smile. Yes, just now in the lounge, I saw Teacher Su looking at their information, so I was very curious. Pei Enju explained the reason for choosing Xiaoramu Entertainment in a unique accent. So I want to see if the trainees from Xiaoramu Entertainment can surprise me. Pei Enju said, blinking at Lu Han with her sweet looks and cute girl temperament. No problem for me. Then come up, trainee from Dawn Entertainment. Lu Han nodded and continued speaking. It's our turn. In the lounge, Wu Dan looked at his three teammates and said. Then the four of them walked into the studio with nervous expressions. Hello, teachers. We are from Xiaoramu Entertainment. Lu Lipe, artist. Miao Fanglin, trainee. Wu Dan, student. Xiaoting, employee. Four people gave four answers at the same time. Su Luo covered her face with one hand, looking at the four people who had no tacit understanding, and at that moment she rejected them in her heart. Teacher Su. Lu Han suppressed his smile and looked at Su Luo. Zhang Yixing and Uncle Dong were also trying to hold back their laughter as they looked at Su Luo. Only Pei Enju had a bewildered look on her face. The sudden mix of words made her feel lonely. You really are, Su Luo shook her head. Okay, I admit these four silly girls are trainees from my company. Puchai, not only the instructors were laughing, but even the trainees in the lounge were laughing. Let me introduce myself first, Su Luo said awkwardly after everyone finished laughing. Hello, teachers, I'm Lu Lipai, and I'm a vocalist. Hello, teachers, I'm Miao Fanglin, and I'm a dancer. Hello, teachers, I'm Wu Dan, and I'm also a dancer. Hello, teachers, I'm Xiao Ting, and I'm good at playing musical instruments. Four girls came out one by one, bowed, and introduced themselves. Then please start your performance, Su Luo said seriously. Su Luo did not give any special care to the trainees of her own company. It is obviously inappropriate to give them any care at this time, mainly because those people did not perform, and Su Luo did not fully understand their strength. No matter what, he was invited here to be a mentor, so we can't be too partial to him, right? The music gradually sounded. The melody was very nice. It was actually Pei Enju's song. Lu Lipai's voice sounded steady, and Su Luo nodded slowly in her heart. In just 2 minutes, the first part of the song was performed today. Several people breathed slightly and looked at Su Luo expectantly. Seeing this, Lu Han smiled and looked at Su Luo. Teacher Su, I just saw you nodding with satisfaction on your face. Can you give me some comments? Lu Han said with a smile. TT keyword add data title equals game. Data tag equals featured recommendations. Data type equals 1. Data value equals 1913 / TT keyword add no, I didn't. Don't talk nonsense. Su Luo waved her hand immediately. Just now I was just sighing. This excellent music really knows no boundaries. Although this is Teacher Pei's song in Korean, good songs don't need language to capture the ear. Su Luo smiled and explained what had just happened. After all, I'm their boss, so it's not my place to judge them. I won't get involved in any evaluation. Teacher Pei, please give your evaluation of the song they sang. Su Luo finally declined the opportunity to comment. The girls performed very well, but Su Luo knew that she had to avoid suspicion, as this would make the comments of the next few people more convincing. Pei Enju naturally praised him, and Zhang Yixing was also smiling at this time. Although your dance is simple, it is very eye-catching. This is exactly what I want. The balance feels great. Zhang Yixing squinted his eyes and said with a smile, still nodding his head. I think our uncle seems to be deeply involved in this. Uncle, wake up, the show is over. Lu Han teased Uncle Dong, who looked like a pig. Ah, very good, really. I like your performance very much. Uncle Dong was awakened and said a lot of nonsense. Your performance is indeed very good so far, but I always feel like something is missing, Lu Han said with some regret on his face. I think it might be the song. Why didn't you choose your boss Yi Xiaoramu's song but Teacher Pei's song? Zhang Yixing's eyes lit up. He had no hatred towards South Korea. After all, he had been a trainee in South Korea. But he really wanted to do Chinese language work, and now that Pei Enju was here, he changed his way of saying it. Lu Han nodded secretly in satisfaction. In fact, he had some opinions about the song selection, but he didn't know how to say it. Our agent said that if we sing Teacher Pei's songs, you won't criticize us too much but will praise us instead, Lu Lipai said seriously. Pei Enju couldn't help but burst out laughing. Lu Han and the others also laughed out loud helplessly. You are really good at playing the worldly ways. Did your agent tell you not to tell anyone about this? Su Luo took over the conversation speechlessly. Yeah, Lu Laipai responded subconsciously. Then she exclaimed and covered her mouth. Did I just tell that? Lu Laipai muttered with an embarrassed look on her face. Miao Fanglin, Wu Dan, and Xiao Ting all looked at Lu Laipai speechlessly. Well, there's a traitor among us. Okay, next, let's discuss the grouping, Lu Han said. Teacher Lu, you guys just discuss it. I won't participate in their evaluation, Su Luo said. Lu Han nodded, and then discussed it with the other 3 people. Our final rating for you is Lu Laipai Class A, Miao Fanglin, Wu Dan, Xiao Ting, Class B. Thank you for your performance, Lu Han said with a smile. Thank you, teachers. The 4 girls bowed in thanks and ran towards the classroom area. Then Su Luo also called someone, Su Chengshuan, because she had the same surname as him. I didn't expect that this person was a personal trainee with a wild personality, like a tomboy. This level of professional skills was indeed unsatisfactory, and he was eventually assigned to Class F. Next, over the next few hours, all 101 contestants' initial performances were reviewed and the class divisions were completed. All trainees have been divided into classes. The next month will be the official start of everyone's training. Lu Han looked at the rest areas of each class and spoke seriously. Currently, there are 7 people in Class A, 14 people in Class B, 21 people in Class C, 28 people in Class D, and 31 people in Class F. Our 5 instructors will draw lots and be responsible for each class. The rest will be explained in detail by the instructors of each class. Chapter 152, It's okay to praise yourself. Our 5 instructors will draw lots and be responsible for each class. The rest will be explained in detail by the instructors of each class. Then Liu Wen came up with a non-transparent box. PD Lu, there are 5 ping-pong balls in the box. They are labeled with the letters A, B, C, D, F. Each teacher can draw one. Liu Wen began to explain. Okay, teacher Pei, you go first. Ladies first. Lu Han nodded, looked at Pei Enju and spoke. Okay, Pei Enju did not refuse. She walked forward, reached into the box, and took out a ping-pong ball with Class A written on it. Wow, the 7 girls in Class A cheered instantly. Compared to those stinky men, aren't young ladies and sweet girls better? Brother Yixing, why don't you take the next one? Lu Han said when he saw Pei Enju had finished drawing. Zhang Yixing did not refuse. It was just a draw. There was nothing explosive. Generally speaking, when it was edited, it would look like everyone drew the lot at the same time. He walked forward and randomly picked one, Class D then. Several people picked one in turn, Lu Han from Class B, Uncle Dong from Class C, and Su Luo from Class F. Next, each mentor took their team members to eat. After all, they had been recording all night and hadn't had any food. Hey, fellow trainees, come with me. Let's have a meal and get familiar with each other. Su Luo walked to Class F and said. Many trainees are not actually very familiar with Su Luo, but they have seen Su Luo's dancing videos before, and he is very handsome. Although the atmosphere in Lu Han's and Zhang Yixing's classes was not as high as it was, at least half of the students were actively joining in. What Su Luo noticed was that the trainee named Su Chengshuan responded particularly actively. As an individual trainee, he has not even signed a contract with an entertainment company, and his professional level is much worse. Of course, those who can pass the selection are actually not that bad. Come on, trainees. Most of them are promoted from various entertainment companies. There are actually individual trainees, but they are very few and are selected by the program team themselves. Su Luo smiled and walked out of the studio without changing the attitudes and reactions of the team members. The villa area is divided into 11 areas. Villa number 1 is the dormitory of Su Loi Xiaomu and Pei Enju. Villa number 2 is the area for Lu Han and his friends. Areas 3-7 are separate practice rooms for the 5 AF classes, and Area 8 is the cafeteria. Area 9 is another studio used for shooting peripheral programs, commercials, and some activities. Area 11 is the dormitory for all the trainees. Su Luo led the team to one of the restaurants in Area 8. A super long table that was twice as large came into view. Please sit wherever you want, Su Luo said, sitting at the front row and signaling to the staff to serve the food. Su Chengshuan took a running start and sat directly next to Su Luo. Teacher Su, my name is Su Chengshuan. Please take care of me in the future, Su Chengshuan said sweetly to Su Luo. Hello, classmate Su Chengshuan. Su Luo nodded and replied. Teacher Su, my name is Song Jinan. Please take care of me. Song Jinan on the other side of Su Luo also greeted with a smile. As for the others, most of them have signed contracts with economic companies. They are not very familiar with Su Luo and naturally will not be very proactive. They only need to cooperate during the filming. They didn't think Su Luo could teach them well. TT keyword add data title equals beauty, data tag equals recommended products, data type equals 1, data value equals 1930 slash TT keyword add. Dear students, let me tell you my requirements before we eat. Su Luo took everyone's performance into consideration. There were those who were dismissive and those who took it in stride, neither caring nor disgusted. Of course, there were also those like Song Jinan and Su Chengshuan who respected him more. For the next month, I will be the mentor of Class F. A month later, the show will have its first elimination round. And to be frank, most of the people who will be eliminated will be in our class. Su Luo saw that everyone was looking at her and said lightly, after all, although most people have a rebellious personality, they still pay attention to basic etiquette. What's more, this room is full of cameras. Of course, after hearing Su Luo's words, these people curled their lips, obviously not agreeing with Su Luo's words. Teacher Su, I don't think so. You are belittling us by saying that. A girl stood up, looked at Su Luo and spoke. Student, what I'm saying is a fact. After the joint judgment of 5 instructors, you will be classified as Class F. To put it bluntly, some of you were even assigned to Class F simply because the lowest rating was Class F. As Su Luo spoke, she saw more people wanting to stand up and refute her, so she raised her hand and waved. Student, please sit down first. You're feeling dissatisfied or uncomfortable with what I just said, which is fine, but think carefully. Can you really compare to the other 4 classes right now? For the next month, they will be like you, attending classes together in the morning and being taught by their own instructors in the afternoon. Do you really think you can surpass them? Su Luo smiled and calmly spoke about the reality. After hearing Su Luo's words, the 30 trainees showed disappointment on their faces, and their initial pride disappeared. What's wrong? Are you hit? Want to give up? Su Luo teased after seeing everyone's reactions. Teacher Su, if you say that, does that mean we all have no hope? Song Jinan asked. I'm not telling you this to discourage you, but to tell you that you have no way out. From Class F, going all the way upstream, how do you feel about this? Su Luo said with a confident smile. This smile infected everyone, sweeping away the previous atmosphere, going against the current, and making people feel excited just by listening to it. Su Luo secretly broke into a sweat. These young people were so easy to fool. Teacher Su, do we really have a chance? Su Chengshuan asked in a low voice. The others also looked over expectantly. Do you know where your advantages lie? Su Luo smiled mysteriously. The girls all looked confused. They couldn't sing or dance and their looks weren't particularly outstanding. So what advantages could they have? A sense of anticipation. You are in Class F, so the instructor is well aware of your abilities. If you can impress the instructor in a month, then you should understand. And the most important thing, let me tell you a secret. Besides being a great dancer, I'm also a great singer. As Su Luo was talking, she covered her mouth and laughed. It was really shameless of her to praise herself. Tusk, several girls looked disdainful. It turned out that at the end of the speech, Su Luo wanted to praise herself. However, everyone's mood has recovered, and they have put away their arrogance. Instead, they are more motivated than ever before. Chapter 153, This is the Real Married Life. Okay, eat first. You will have classes tomorrow morning as normal and gather at Area 7 this afternoon. Seeing that the time was almost right, Su Luo waved her hand and spoke. The main thing is that it's getting late. It's already past 9 o'clock in the evening, so why doesn't he go home to be with his wife? Well, you guys keep eating. I'm leaving now. Remember, gather at Area 7 at 1:00 p.m. tomorrow. After Su Luo finished speaking, she left the restaurant, leaving the trainees looking at each other in bewilderment. They wondered if the teacher Su, who had been so confident and encouraging them just now, was a little unreliable. That's it. I heard that Miu Miu is here too. He must be in a hurry to go back and be with his wife, one of the trainees whispered. I feel like I've eaten dog food. Su Luo had nothing to do with the program team's subsequent arrangements, which mainly involved allocating dormitories, and the program team would arrange these on their own. Su Luo returned to Villa Number 1 without stopping. Wife, I'm back, Su Luo shouted as soon as he entered the door. Then he found that Yi Zairamu had fallen asleep on the sofa. Su Luo walked over and picked up Yi Zairamu in her princess arms. Hubby, you're back. Yi Zairamu opened her eyes in Su Luo's arms and said in a daze. Why don't you go back to your room and sleep? Su Luo said with some pampering. I wanted to wait for you to come back together, but I fell asleep. Yi Zairamul raised his hands, hugged Su Luo's neck, and said softly, "Don't wait for me anymore. This production team is inhumane," Su Luo said, complaining. Hee. Yi Zairamul smiled sweetly. She felt that it was pretty good. She had no job and no worries. She just relaxed every day. "Have you had dinner?" Su Luo didn't even have dinner during today's recording. "I've eaten." The program team arranged for meals to be delivered and also sent a lot of snacks, Yi Zairamul said with satisfaction. Su Luo nodded. It seemed that the program crew had thought it through very carefully. That was good. He gently placed Yi Zairamul on the bed and covered her with the quilt. "Zairo, I'll go wash up first." Su Luo lowered her head and kissed Yi Zairamul's forehead, saying softly, "Yes, hurry up." Yi Zairamul nodded, then turned over and slept on her side. Su Luo agreed, then took her pajamas and walked into the bathroom. Yi Zairamul, who had just had a nap, suddenly couldn't fall asleep. She walked out of the room barefoot, put on the slippers beside the sofa, and took her mobile phone. Circles and circles, every day, year after year, She hummed the song Su Luo wrote for her while shaking her head. Jiangnan, creak, the door of the villa suddenly opened. Yi Zairamul, who was twisting her body, froze. She turned her head mechanically and saw Pei Enju looking at her in surprise with her mouth open. Yi Zairamul, the queen of Chinese music. Pei Enju knew that she had a cold appearance. "I just didn't expect that simplicity in reality would be so casual, and with that slightly unruly dance posture." This deeply overturned the influence Yi Zairamul had on her mind. "Hi, Teacher Pei." Yi Zairamul gritted his teeth and greeted him. "Hello, Yi Laoxi. You just sang Jiangnan, right? It's a really beautiful song. I like every song on your new album." Pei Enju had selective amnesia and praised Yi Zairamul. No, just sing casually." Yi Zairamul waved her hand and said a little embarrassedly. The two chatted for a while, easing the awkward atmosphere. Fortunately, there are no cameras installed in the mentors' dormitories in this program. Otherwise, she, the dignified queen of songs, would have been socially disgraced. TT keyword add data title equals beauty, data tag equals recommended products, data type equals 1, data value equals 1930, /TT keyword add. When Yi Zairamul returned to the room, Su Luo had just come out of the shower. "Wife, you haven't slept yet?" Su Luo looked at Yi Zairamul in surprise when she walked in. "I can't sleep, I just took a nap," Yi Zairamul said with a smile. "Honey, how do you feel about today's recording?" Yi Zairamul then pulled Su Luo onto the bed and asked. "Not bad. I also saw the 4 trainees from our company, 1 from Class A and 3 from Class B. Their results are pretty good." "It seems that Sister Ya has good taste," Yi Zairamul said with a smile. "Indeed, all 4 girls are very capable." Su Luo nodded and praised. Yi Zairamul looked at Su Luo strangely. "But compared to our Zairamul, she is still far behind. She needs to continue working hard. But if she wants to surpass Zairamul, that's impossible." Su Luo pretended not to notice Yi Zairamul's expression and spoke seriously. "Su Luo, do you have such a strong desire to survive?" Yi Zairamul covered her mouth and laughed. "Ah, what do you mean by desire to survive? I'm just telling the truth." Su Luo looked confused and said doubtfully, "You are such a good actor, you are such a drama queen." Yi Zairamul patted Su Luo in disdain, then lay down. "I'm going to bed, drama queen." Su Luo was exposed, but she refused to admit it. "The main thing a man can do is to be tough on the outside." "Then I'll sleep with you," Su Luo said and lay down, hugging Yi Zairamul. "Ouch, move over there. You're always squeezing me." Yi Zairamul gently kicked Su Luo, signaling him to stay away. Su Luo withdrew her hand aggrievedly and leaned away. "So love will disappear, right? So this is what married life is really like. When we are in love, we can't wait to stick together every day. Now, after a long time, when I sleep with you in my arms, I either feel too hot or too crowded." Seeing Su Luo's aggrieved look, Yi Zairamul smiled, reached out and held Su Luo's hand, kissed his heart, and then closed his eyes. Feeling the warmth in her palm, Su Luo immediately felt happy and closed her eyes. On the other side, on the evening of May 20th, Jiang Yu sat in the corner of the filming location the entire time, watching Zhu Qing filming. After the shooting ended in the evening, Zhu Qing looked at Jiang Yu, who was still sitting at the edge. Feeling a little strange in his heart, he called Zhu Yao and walked over. "Hey, are you hungry?" Zhu Qing kicked Jiang Yu, who was taking a nap. "Ah, what did you say?" Jiang Yu opened his eyes, looking a little confused. "I asked you if you were hungry." Hungry, Jiang Yu nodded quickly. "Then come have a midnight snack with me," Zhu Qing said, turned around and walked out of the cinema. Sensing Jiang Yu following him, the corners of his mouth raised. 2 people came to a roadside stall. "Boss, 2 servings of fried cold noodles, what would you like to eat?" Zhu Qing said, then looked at Jiang Yu and asked. I'm just like you. Okay, boss, 3 servings of fried cold noodles. After Zhu Qing said that, he took Zhu Yao and Jiang Yu to find a table and sat down. It was already very late, and there were not many people on the road. Soon, the boss brought 3 servings of fried cold noodles. Jiang Yu took the plate and started eating. He hadn't eaten for a long time and was really hungry. Jiangnan, lyricist Li Ruixun Chen Xiaoqi, composer J.J. Lin, original singer J.J. Lin. Chapter 154, How Could I Have Such a Good Son? Zhu Qing took a few bites and then put down his chopsticks. She didn't believe in love at first sight, but when she saw Jiang Yu wolfing down his food, she actually found it pleasing to the eye. I can't finish it, I'll give it to you. Zhu Qing watched Jiang Yu quickly finish the fried cold noodles and handed the one in front of him to him. Jiang Yu was extremely hungry, so he took the fried cold noodles and started eating. Zhu Yao watched from the side, wanting to say something but stopping himself. Zhu Qing looked at Jiang Yu lovingly as he tried hard to finish the food. Wait, what's the word loving? How could I have such a good son? Then Zhu Qing looked away, took out his mobile phone, scanned the code, and paid. Burp, I'm alive, Jiang Yu said with a satisfied look after finishing his meal. Are you stupid? They say you are smart, but you don't even know how to eat. Zhu Qing stood up and complained to Jiang Yu. I don't know when you will finish. I'm afraid that when I go to eat, you will think I'm gone. Jiang Yu smiled awkwardly and spoke. So what do you want to do? Zhu Qing was helpless. This man looked stupid no matter how he looked at him. I want to know something about you. Jiang Yu wiped his mouth, stood up and spoke. Then what? Zhu Qing asked calmly. What happened next? Jiang Yu was puzzled. Zhu Qing looked at Jiang Yu's reaction and felt angry. He pulled Zhu Yao and walked towards the hotel arranged by the crew. What's wrong with you? Jiang Yu was puzzled. What was wrong with this woman? She didn't play by the rules at all. I'm going back to sleep. Why do you want to follow me? Zhu Qing turned around, glared at Jiang Yu, and said angrily. Well, it's getting dark, I'll take you there. Jiang Yu scratched his head and said awkwardly. You don't have to see me off, Yaya, let's go. Zhu Qing said, calling Zhu Yao and walking towards the distance. Jiang Yu followed Zhu Qing silently and watched her enter the hotel. He stood at the hotel door for a while and saw that the light in a room on the 10th floor was on. An hour passed, the lights in the room went out. Jiang Yu nodded, turned, and left. The hotel was booked by several film crews, so he couldn't stay there and had to leave and find another hotel. In the following time, Jiang Yu would go to wait for Zhu Qing every day. Starting from the next day, every time he went to a restaurant, the executive meeting would specially send a box lunch to Jiang Yu. In the evening, Jiang Yu occasionally has the opportunity to have a midnight snack with Zhu Qing. Then I sent her back to the hotel, stood downstairs and waited for an hour until the lights went out, and then left. 3 more comrades have passed away. Wu Chen is now standing at the door of the medical room, quietly looking at the starry sky. Bin Bin, a soldier, stood beside him. Wu Chen is often pronounced as Wu Bin, so people who are familiar with him will call him Bin Bin. Squad leader. Wu Chen turned around and saw Chen Ming standing next to him. Chen Ming is his squad leader on the Yunnan border and a veteran. What's wrong, are you scared? Chen Ming asked. Afraid, I don't know, but seeing my comrades dying one by one, I feel very depressed. Wu Chen's eyes turned slightly red as he spoke. We have to trust Professor Han and the others. Don't think too much. Chen Ming patted Wu Chen's shoulder and said seriously. I know, but... Wu Chen hesitated to speak. No buts, we have to persevere first. The troops in Yunnan are also persevering now. The medical conditions there are much worse than here. They are still waiting for our research results to save their lives. We can't give up. The longer we persevere, the greater our chances of success. We must persevere, this is an order, Chen Ming said sternly with a serious face. Yes, Wu Chen stood at attention and replied loudly. Chen Ming looked at Wu Chen with satisfaction. He still remembered how carefree he was when he first joined the army. A few months passed in a flash, and now he is a qualified soldier. But why my eyes are blurry and my head is a little dizzy? Squad leader, Wu Chen's anxious voice kept ringing in his ears. Doctor, come quickly, Wu Chen shouted anxiously with red eyes. What happened? Wu Chen stopped Cheng Yali, who had just come out of the emergency room. I'm sorry, Cheng Yali showed a trace of pain. Thank you, Wu Chen let out a long sigh and said in a low voice. Are you okay? Cheng Yali was halfway through her sentence when Wu Chen had already left. As confident as Wu Chen was just now, he was as desperate at this moment. That was his squad leader. The squad leader who had been with him since he was a recruit. The squad leader who had just patted his shoulder and told him to keep going. Wu Chen squatted beside the stone stairs leading to the medical room, his body twitching slightly and his eyes red. Cheng Yali followed him out, stood not far from him and looked at him quietly. "Senior Sister Cheng, Teacher Han wants you to come over." Wang Cheng ran out and said immediately when he saw Cheng Yali. "Here I come," Cheng Yali said, looked at Wu Chen deeply, and then left with Wang Cheng. Wu Chen's heart moved, and he followed quietly. "Teacher," Cheng Yali came to the laboratory and called out. "Yali, based on my findings, this virus is similar to a filovirus, and its symptoms are almost identical to those of a filovirus, so there's still a possibility of a cure." Han Zhongwen handed the report in his hand to Cheng Yali. After Cheng Yali took it, she looked at it carefully, with a hint of surprise on her face. "That's great," Cheng Yali murmured excitedly. "However, the true form of this virus has not yet been studied, so the inactivated virus is very unstable and requires a lot of experiments." Han Zhongwen sighed. They still needed time. This virus was too cunning and had deceived them with its disguised appearance. "But those soldiers don't have that much time," Cheng Yali asked nervously. "Teacher, can we directly make inactivated viruses and let them try it?" Wang Cheng suggested. "This won't work. Without extensive experiments and clinical verification, there will be a lot of risks." Han Zhongwen immediately shook his head and refused. "But we don't have much time left. If we wait any longer, the remaining 18 soldiers," Wang Cheng said hesitantly. "But we can't joke about their lives," Han Zhongwen said seriously. "Professor Han, use me for your experiment." The laboratory door was pushed open, and Wu Chen stood at the door and said firmly. Cheng Yali looked at Wu Chen in surprise. "As long as you can quickly produce antibodies, I will fully cooperate. Even if it fails, I will not blame you. I will sign the waiver. I am doing this voluntarily." Wu Chen looked at Han Zhongwen firmly and spoke in a powerful voice. At this moment, Cheng Yali seemed to see Wu Chen glowing. "Bin, what are you doing?" A soldier came over from behind with a flashlight. Chapter 155. My identity does not require consideration of these. "I don't agree." Han Zhongwen looked at Wu Chen seriously. "Professor Han, I know that if I give you time, you will definitely be able to develop antibodies, but we are running out of time now. Our comrades in Yunnan are still waiting to be saved." Wu Chen spoke up, and the soldier who had just held the flashlight also looked in agreement. "No, I can't joke with my life," Han Zhongwen said firmly. "Professor Han, the monitor is gone. I'm the boss here now. I volunteered for this." "Professor Han, I'm willing too." The soldier next to him also stood up straight and said seriously. "Professor Han, there are over 10,000 troops stationed on the Yunnan border. If my sacrifice can buy their lives, then I have no choice but to do it. Professor Han, don't hesitate any longer. I might still die in a few days. Why not take a gamble? I'll bet that Professor Han will succeed this time." Wu Chen looked at Han Zhongwen with some pleading. Han Zhongwen's eyes were slightly red. As a medical worker, he could not agree, but as a Chinese, he could only agree with great pain. Seeing Han Zhongwen nod slightly, Wu Chen's face showed joy. "Thank you, Professor Han. Let's start right away," Wu Chen said excitedly. "Yali, start the experiment tonight and try to conduct the first antibody test tomorrow morning. Wang Cheng, take this soldier to prepare." After Han Zhongwen finished speaking, he hunched over and walked towards the Petri dish. Wu Chen and the soldiers beside him followed Wang Cheng out. "I am the only experimental subject. You return to the team. This is an order." In the corridor, Wu Chen said seriously to the soldiers around him. Bin Yu, please call me acting monitor. Acting squad leader. Execute the order." "Yes." "Aren't you afraid?" Wang Cheng watched the soldiers leave, looked at Wu Chen, and asked softly. "With my status, I don't need to consider this. Let's go, Dr. Wang." Wu Chen looked at the soldiers going away, shook his head, and spoke. The two people passed through the first-floor disinfection room, and then entered the sterile ward. "You can rest here for a while," Wang Cheng said and prepared to leave. "Dr. Wang," Wu Chen called Wang Cheng. "What's wrong?" "Don't tell other comrades where I am, and don't allow them to participate in the experiment. This is the order from the current highest commander until I die." Wu Chen looked at Wang Cheng seriously. "I promise you," Wang Cheng said, turned and left. Wu Chen lay quietly on the hospital bed, with complicated thoughts. TT keyword add data title equals beauty. Data tag equals boutique recommendations. Data type equals 1, data value equals 1930, /TT keyword add the next day. When Su Luo opened his eyes, he saw Yi Xiaoramu lying on her side, looking at him. "Wife, good morning." Su Luo leaned forward and kissed Yi Xiaoramu's red lips. Good morning, husband. Yizayamu smiled sweetly at Su Luo. Why didn't you call me? Su Luo said. You were sleeping so soundly, I couldn't bear to wake you up. Are you hungry? Su Luo asked with a smile. I'm hungry. Yizayamu covered her stomach and said with a pout. You're hungry and you didn't call me, are you stupid? Su Luo reached out and scratched Yizayamu's nose, saying in a reproachful tone. Hee, I want you to sleep a little longer. Yizayamu said with a silly smile. Call me when you wake up next time, remember, Su Luo said and got up to change clothes. I know. Yizayamu lifted the quilt to cover her nose and secretly glanced at Su Luo changing clothes. If you want to look, just look openly. You are my wife. How can I not let you look? Su Luo looked at Yizayamu's cunning look and teased. Who wants to look at you? Yizayamu immediately lay down and covered her head with the quilt. After changing her clothes, Su Luo smiled and went into the bathroom to wash up. Honey, I'm going to cook. Do you want to eat in the room or go out? After washing up, Su Luo walked to the window and asked. I don't want to get up. Yizayamu blinked and said with a smile. Okay, wait a moment. I'll make breakfast and bring it up later. Su Luo said this and walked out of the room. Good morning. As soon as I went out, I saw Pei Enju sitting in the living room watching TV. Good morning, Teacher Su. Pei Enju greeted Su Luo with a smile. I'm going to make breakfast. Do you want to eat something? Su Luo asked politely. Great, Teacher Su, are you going to cook? Pei Enju's eyes lit up. She didn't want to go to the restaurant, so she hadn't eaten breakfast. Then I'll do more. As expected, there is a big difference in social etiquette due to different nationalities. Thank you, Teacher Su. Pei Enju immediately stood up and bowed to Su Luo. Well, now I have to prepare enough. However, making breakfast was very simple for Su Luo. She looked at the ingredients in the refrigerator. Su Luo made 3 servings of green pepper and shredded pork noodles and fried 3 poached eggs. She specially fried Yizayamu's portion into a heart shape. No matter how skilled a cook is, he may not be able to make this. Su Luo used a mold to make it. I just made it casually. I don't know if it suits your taste. Su Luo put a bowl on the coffee table in the living room and said, Thank you, Teacher Su. It smells really good. I love it, thank you. Pei Enju smelled it, spoke excitedly, and bowed 3 times at the same time. As long as you like it, Su Luo said, turned back to the kitchen, put the remaining 2 bowls on the tray and brought them back to the room. Wife, it's time for dinner. Su Luo put 2 bowls on the small table by the window and called softly. Yeah, Yizayamu responded with a smile, then stood up, ran barefoot to the table and sat down. I picked up the chopsticks and started eating. Delicious, delicious, Yizayamu said with a pout. Seeing this, Su Luo smiled, sat down, and started eating with chopsticks. Yizayamu suddenly stopped and exclaimed. What's wrong? Su Luo was puzzled. I haven't brushed my teeth yet, hee. Yizayamu covered her mouth and laughed. Oh, never mind, I've already eaten it. Yizayamu said casually and continued eating. Su Luo just looked at Yizayamu lovingly and continued eating. I'm full and feel great. Yizayamu leaned on the sofa beside the table, with her little feet resting on Su Luo's legs, sighing. Okay, I'll go wash the dishes first. Su Luo patted Yizayamu's tender feet gently and said with a smile. Go, husband, I love you. Yizayamu nodded, retracted her feet, raised her hands, and made a heart shape with them. Su Luo first stretched out her hands, pretending to catch something, and placed them on her chest. Then he stretched out his thumbs and index fingers, crossed them, and gently pushed them towards Yizayamu. The 2 hearts instantly hit Yizayamu. What? Yizayamu covered her mouth with both hands, thought it over, and blew a kiss to Su Luo. Okay, I'll go wash the dishes first and come back soon. Su Luo smiled, carrying the bowl, chopsticks, and plate, and walked out of the room. Chapter 156, She is making trouble. He is laughing. Teacher Su, leave the dishes to me. Pei Enju was washing dishes by the sink at this time. When she saw Su Luo coming over, she spoke. Okay, thank you. Su Luo hesitated for only a second before placing the bowl next to the sink. You're welcome. It's very nice of you to make breakfast for me, Teacher Su. I should be the one to wash the dishes. Pei Enju said with a smile. Okay, thank you for your hard work, Teacher Pei. Su Luo said with a smile, then turned around and prepared to leave. Teacher Su, Pei Enju called Su Luo. Su Luo turned around and looked at Pei Enju in confusion. Teacher Su, will you still cook at noon? Pei Enju said, blushing a little. I understand. I'll make you a portion at noon. Su Luo was helpless. This step was wrong, and all the steps would be wrong. You can't just refuse someone else's request after they have just washed the dishes for you. Well, it's okay to cook for 2 people, and for 3 people, it's just a matter of adding some dishes. Su Luo didn't find it difficult. Thank you for your hard work, Teacher Su. Another bow. Then I'll go back to my room first. I'll call you at lunchtime. Suluo nodded, said, and left the kitchen. When Suluo returned to the room, she saw Yizayaramu lying on the bed, holding a cell phone and smiling. Honey, don't you have to record a show this morning? Yizayaramu looked up and asked when she heard Suluo come in. I have a big class this morning. Brother Lu can go and I can go in the afternoon. As Suluo spoke, she changed into her pajamas, lay down next to Yizayaramu, and reached out to hug her. Oh, why are you lying down again? Yizayaramu's face turned red because of Suluo's actions, and she asked shyly. Hee, there's still a long time to go. It's not too much to take a nap with my wife, Suluo explained with a wicked smile. Hateful, Yizayaramu leaned in Suluo's arms and patted her gently. Suluo smiled, reached out and touched Yizayaramu's abdomen, feeling it gently. Although I can't feel anything, it still feels magical. Suluo gently rubbed Yizayaramu's soft abdomen and sighed. You'll be able to feel it in 2 months, Yizayaramu said with a smile on his face and squinted his eyes. Wife, the doctor said during the last prenatal checkup that it was a single baby. Do you think it's a boy or a girl? Suluo asked softly. So do you hope for a son or a daughter? Yizayaramu asked with a smile. I like them all, but it would be even better if it was a daughter. Why? Yizayaramu asked curiously. Because I am a son myself. I know how naughty I was when I was little, so I think girls are more obedient, Suluo said with a smile. Then I want a son, humph. Yizayaramu wrinkled her nose and snorted deliberately. My son is fine too. Then my son and I will protect you together. Suluo reached out and pinched Yizayaramu's nose, speaking lovingly. Hee, why can't I and the child bully you together, hee. Then I'm in trouble. Woohoo, my dear wife, please spare my life. Suluo pretended to be pitiful and begged for mercy. Well, that depends on your performance. Yizayaramu raised her head and said proudly. Yes, my dear, I will start showing my skills now, Suluo said seriously. Then he lowered his head and kissed Yizayaramu's tender lips. Oh, I haven't brushed my teeth yet. Yizayaramu dodged and said shyly. It's okay, I don't dislike you, Suluo said and moved closer again. Yizayaramu was kissed. TT keyword add data title equals beauty, data tag equals recommended products, data type equals 1, data value equals 1930/TT keyword add wife. After their lips parted, Suluo looked at Yizayaramu affectionately. Honey, it's daytime now, I'm embarrassed, Yizayaramu said shyly with her eyes closed. Then let's wait until tonight. Suluo stopped and put her arms around Yizayaramu. Yeah, Yizayaramu nodded with a red face and a happy smile on her face. The two of them were different from ordinary couples in this regard. Yizayaramu still couldn't accept it. In broad daylight, Suluo was particularly concerned about her feelings, not just today. The last time, his tenderness seemed still vivid in her mind. The two of them lay on the bed, chatting, and mentioned that Pei Enju wanted to have lunch together at noon, and that he had made breakfast for her in the morning. Although he knew that Yizayaramu believed him and would not think too much, Suluo still felt that he should say it. After all, they had lived under the same roof for 3 months. Especially during Yizayaramu's pregnancy, she sometimes had a strange temper. What if she had some weird thoughts one day? Suluo didn't want to set a trap for herself. Oh, husband, what are you doing? Are you treating me like a jealous jar? Yizayaramu spoke coquettishly, but her mouth was almost stretched to her ears. This feeling of being respected and having a strong sense of security are what girls care about most. Isn't this just like reporting my work to my wife every day? Suluo said with a smile. You performed well. I'll give you a reward, okay? Yizayaramu kissed Suluo on the mouth with a smile on his face. Brushing your teeth is a reward, you, Suluo said with disgust. HMPH, it seems the reward is not enough. Yizayaramu immediately held Suluo's face with both hands and kissed her. Suluo looked as if her evil plan had succeeded. She closed her eyes and touched Yizayaramu's face with one hand. After a long time, Yizayaramu let go of Suluo, panting, and looked at him angrily. Hate it, you did it on purpose. This is a reward. Suluo rubbed Yizayaramu's head and said gently, If you challenge my authority again next time, I will punish you. Yizayaramu's eyes turned and he said with a smile, I'll punish you by making you eat durian, ha. I was wrong, my dear wife is so powerful. Suluo immediately begged for mercy. Good boy, this is my good brother. Yizayaramu patted Suluo's head and said proudly. Wife, stop it, Suluo smiled. If you don't call me sister, you're a little wild, brother Suluo. Yizayaramu raised his eyebrows. Of course I have to, otherwise how can I marry you? Suluo kissed Yizayaramu on the cheek and said with a smile. Ah, as expected, The reason I attracted you was because of my stunning beauty. Yizayamu touched her pretty face and said with a smile, and Su Luo also laughed. This is the state where she is making trouble and he is laughing. She wants to be a little girl and he keeps spoiling her. She wanted to be the queen, so he cooperated and let her feel the majesty of a queen. She wanted to be a big sister, so he let her experience being a little brother. Honey, I want to go out for a walk. The doctor said I need to exercise properly after 3 months. After laughing, Yizayamu looked at Su Luo and spoke softly. Then get up, I'll take a walk with you, Su Luo said with a smile. Okay, wait for me. Yizayamu immediately stood up and started changing clothes. Her belly was slightly bulging and as perfect as jade, which deeply attracted Su Luo. Silly boy, stop looking and get up. Yizayamu turned around and saw Su Luo's expression and said with a smile. Chapter 157, My Damn Desire to Survive. Wife, you are so beautiful, Su Luo said seriously. Oh, I get it, I'll ignore you. Yizayamu blushed, changed her clothes, and ran into the bathroom. Not long after, the two of them walked hand in hand in this specially rented villa area. Staff from the program crew kept greeting us along the way. As early as when they came to participate in the show, they had already communicated with the program team that Su Luo would bring Yizayamu to participate in the show. The only requirement of the program team is that Yizayamu can appear in the camera if possible. Of course, this is not a job for Yizayamu, and she is not forced to appear in the camera. As the two walked, they came to Area 10. Su Luo saw that Yizayamu was full of interest, so she took Yizayamu's hand and walked in. Following the aisle, I arrived at the studio door. Through the gap, I saw Lu Han standing in the middle giving a lecture. Brother Lu is in class. Do you want to go in and take a look? Su Luo asked. Is it okay? Will it affect the trainees? Yizayamu asked softly. It's okay, this isn't school, Su Luo said with a smile, then pulled Yizayamu and gently opened the door. Lu Han saw Su Luo and Yizayamu the first time and nodded slightly. Su Luo and Yizayamu also waved gently and greeted them. Some trainees noticed Su Luo, and Su Luo immediately put her finger to her lips, signaling them not to make a sound. The trainee nodded excitedly. After walking for a while, Su Luo saw someone she knew in the last row. He pulled Yizayamu over and let Yizayamu sit next to Su Chengshuan. Sister Mumu, I'm your fan. As soon as Yizayamu sat down, Su Chengshuan excitedly held Yizayamu's arm. Sister Mumu, me too, me too. Song Jinan, who was sitting next to Su Chengshuan, said excitedly. The trainees nearby also looked at Yizayamu and Su Luo excitedly. Speak softly, don't disturb teacher Lu's class, Su Luo said in a low voice. Oh. The trainees nodded, but the news began to spread rapidly from here. Look, Sister Mumu and Su Luo are here together. Where's? Look, there it is. Just like that, all the trainees in the classroom knew that Yizayamu was here in an instant. Lu Han looked at the trainees whispering to each other in the audience and stopped talking about professional matters. Classmates, judging from your expressions, have you discovered anything? Lu Han asked with a smile. When Su Luo heard this, she knew that something bad was going to happen and wanted to pull Yizayamu away. Who knew that Yizayamu actually started chatting with Su Chengshuan and was reluctant to leave. Wife, Brother Lu is going to cause trouble. If you don't leave now, I will probably have to perform on stage, Su Luo whispered to Yizayamu. The performance is yours, it doesn't matter to me. I'm just chatting with Zairo Su, Yizayamu said without turning his head. After all, Yizayamu was quite bored in the program crew because she had no one to talk to except Su Luo. Now she met someone she could talk to. They are still her fans, calling her sister Mew Mew one by one, which makes her very happy. Fortunately, they don't have a son now. Otherwise, Su Luo would have reason to suspect that Su Chengshuan is the daughter-in-law that Yizayamu has his eyes on. Her expression and her way of speaking are exactly the same as his mother. TT keyword add data title equals beauty, data tag equals recommended products, data type equals 1, data value equals 1930 / TT keyword add yes. The trainees in the audience answered in unison. Oh, I don't think I saw it. Lu Han pretended to be ignorant. There. The girls stood up and pointed in Su Luo's direction. Su Luo had no choice but to stand up, put her hands together, and greeted with a smile. Lu Han didn't say anything, just looked at Su Luo quietly. Wife, I'll go upstairs for a while, don't run around here. Su Luo bent down and said softly. Okay, Yizayamu nodded and agreed. Su Luo stood up straight and walked towards Lu Han. Brother Lu, I'm sorry to disturb you in class. Su Luo went to the stage and shook hands with Lu Han, saying embarrassedly, I don't mind that. The point is, since we're here, why don't we do something? Lu Han immediately put the microphone into Su Luo's hand. He had his own microphone. Then let me say a few words first, Su Luo said with a smile. Lu Han raised his hand, signaling Su Luo to speak. Dear trainees, Xiaomu and I were just planning to take a look around, and Xiaomu is right there, Su Luo said, pointing at Yi Xiaomu. Yi Xiaomu also followed the words, stood up and waved, and the scene immediately cheered. Xiaomu is pregnant, so I won't come here specifically. We'll see each other again if there's a chance in the future. Thank you all. After Su Luo finished speaking, she bowed to the trainees. After all, the trainees were very well-mannered. Considering Yi Xiaomu's physical condition, they did not try to squeeze in. Su Luo had to thank them for this. Just saying thank you isn't enough, is it? Lu Han started to add fuel to the fire, mainly because he received a prompt from the director team to let Su Luo perform a show. Brother Lu, you are trying to mess with me, Su Luo said with a wry smile. It's not me. Look, are all the students looking forward to it? Lu Han said, waving to the trainees. Clap, 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 applause rang out. Yes, the trainees shouted in unison. In that case, let's dance, Su Luo smiled and said. No, we want to hear you sing. There was a cheer from the audience. Yi Xiaomu had uploaded the video of Su Luo singing, so they all knew that Su Luo was not only a good dancer, but also a great singer. Su Luo was helpless. Then a staff member came up and installed a microphone and an ear monitor for him. Everyone, what do you want to hear our teacher Su sing? Lu Han said loudly. Sunny, meet. Because of love. There are all kinds of voices. These are all Yi Xiaomu's songs, but they are all from fans of both Su Luo and Yi Xiaomu. Everyone knows that Su Luo can sing Yi Xiaomu's songs, because in fact, Su Luo cannot be considered a debuted artist. He has no representative works of his own. The only ones that can be counted are A Little Sweet and Because of Love, which are duets of Su Luo and Yi Xiaomu. After setting up the equipment, Su Luo looked at the excited trainees below the stage. Even Yi Xiaomu was shouting along. He covered his forehead and smiled helplessly. The original singer is right there, and you're asking me to sing it. Aren't you deliberately trying to trick me? Su Luo said with some entanglement. After all, if he sang better than Yi Xiaomu, then in the eyes of black fans, they could scold him, saying that Yi Xiaomu had been in a bad state after marriage and was not very talented. Or they could try to sow discord between Su Luo and Yi Xiaomu, which is something that black fans would love to see. Of course, Su Luo's original intention was not to be afraid of these things. Oh, my damn desire to survive. If I sing Xiaomu's songs today, no matter how well I sing, I will have to kneel on a durian when I go back. You all know what I mean, right? Su Luo blinked wildly. Chapter 158. Is this a talent show or a dating show? No, we just want to listen to you sing. The girls shouted loudly. They loved this kind of thing the most. You guys, wait, remember, I am still your dance instructor, Su Luo said, pretending to be angry. Don't be afraid, students. Teacher Pei Enju's dance is also very good. I can barely do it. Lu Han blinked and started to spoil the show. Brother Lu, you have become a bad person. Maybe you were led astray by Brother Chichai. Su Luo looked at Lu Han with resentment. Absolutely not. Brother Chichai, after watching the show, remember this. This is the image of you in A. Luo's mind. Lu Han immediately waved his hand, then looked at the camera and spoke seriously. Next, Su Luo did not refuse anymore. She joked for a while and the atmosphere became lively. That was enough, if she really refused anymore. Although there will be no problem with the program, it will still be a problem when it is broadcast. After all, if you really don't plan to perform, then you should just not go up in the first place. Since you've gone up there, you know you have to perform. After all, the radio and everything are installed, and you say in the end that you don't want to perform. What kind of fool is that? It seems that my wish to dance today will not come true, Su Luo said while spreading her hands helplessly. Haha, it's obvious that the students want to listen to music more, Lu Han said with a smile. Then I won't refuse. The next song is dedicated to Xiaomu. Su Luo said this, put away her smile, and sat down at the piano beside her. The scene fell silent. When Yi Xiaomu heard Su Luo's words, he immediately looked at Su Luo and saw him sitting upright beside the piano. Yi Xiaomu narrowed her eyes with a smile. She liked Su Luo's serious look the most. It was so handsome. Lu Han also walked aside and gave the stage to Su Luo. A slightly cheerful piece of music began to play. Hearing Su Luo open her mouth, Yi Xiaomu was a little surprised. A new song. Wow! The lyrics of the main song made the trainees look at Yi Xiaomu with a look of surprise. A happy smile appeared on Yi Xiaomu's face. Is this the song that Su Luo sang to her? My dear, falling in love with you from that day on, it was sweet and easy. Don't be willful, dear. Your eyes are saying I do. When the chorus sounded, Su Luo and Yi Zaiamu looked at each other. Wow, they are indeed the most affectionate couple in the entertainment industry. Are all their new songs about affection? I'm full. The trainees were obviously stimulated by the interaction between Su Luo and Yi Zaiamu again. Wow, an online confession. This song is so nice. Mumu is so happy. The director team all had a confused expression at this time, and they were happy that the ratings of this segment would definitely explode. As for crying, it's okay to just eat dog food on Weibo, but this time it really happened in real life. Move the camera towards Su Luo and Yi Zaiamu's faces, director Wang Ji shouted. This music is just like the song Sunny Day. You can immediately hear the taste of first love. The casual tune makes people feel relaxed. It is a sweet song, so sweet that it makes your teeth sticky and makes you risk your life for it. TT keyword add data title equals beauty, data tag equals recommended products, data type equals 1, data value equals 1930, /TT keyword add listening to Su Luo's sweet words. Yi Zaiamu stood up with a smile and walked towards the stage. The camera followed Yi Zaiamu's figure, and the girls around her looked at Yi Zaiamu with excitement and envy. Su Luo's gaze was always on Yi Zaiamu, and the song continued. Dear, I love you, a love diary and memories of perfume. A whole bottle of dreams, all with you in it, stirred together. When Yi Zaiamu stood next to Su Luo, the sound of the piano stopped abruptly. Su Luo stood up, took Yi Zaiamu's hand, looked at her tenderly, and her gentle voice echoed throughout the studio. Don't be willful, dear. Your eyes are saying I do. End of song. Yi Zaiamu could no longer control herself. She hugged Su Luo emotionally, stood on tiptoes, and kissed Su Luo on the lips. Su Luo immediately raised her hand, covered her lips, and kissed Yi Zaiamu. Wow, there was a burst of booing from the audience. It's so sweet. Why do I feel like I'm not here for a talent show? I'm here for a dating show. Love, get married right here, wait, you're already married, right? Have your wedding night right here, wait, you're already pregnant, right? Then, I'm tired, let's destroy it. The trainees shouted excitedly, while Su Luo and Yi Zaiamu were immersed in their own world, oblivious to the people around them. I think if you keep kissing, our show will become 18 plus. Lu Han's somewhat teasing voice sounded. Yi Zaiamu pushed Su Luo away, then with a blushing face, he took Su Luo's arm and buried his head in Su Luo's shoulder. Only then did she remember that this was in the studio, with 101 trainees in the audience, as well as the production crew and cameras. Was she too proactive just now? Also, was she the one who stuck out her tongue first? So embarrassing. Su Luo was a little thick-skinned and smiled. After all, Yi Zaiamu was so embarrassed. If he didn't bear it, what else could he do? Brother Lu, you are a bit redundant at this time. Su Luo rolled her eyes and said to Lu Han, I know I disturbed you. I apologize, but I wanted you to perform a show, not kiss. Lu Han said this and laughed. Haha, I can't help it. Su Luo said somewhat embarrassedly. What is this song? After teasing, Lu Han returned to the topic and asked. The name of this song is Confession Balloon. Su Luo's words made the trainees in the audience restless again. Confession Balloon, the name is very appropriate. Is it specially used for confessing love? Lu Han said with admiration. At this time, Yi Zaiamu was no longer so embarrassed. She stood up straight and looked at Su Luo beside her. Yes, although I have been with Zaiamu for a long time, I owe her a formal confession. Su Luo said this and looked at Yi Zaiamu seriously, and Yi Zaiamu was touched. Wait, go back and kiss slowly later, otherwise the show really can't be recorded anymore. Seeing that Yi Zaiamu seemed to be about to continue stepping on the ladder, Lu Han immediately stopped her. The girls in the audience all laughed out loud. Yi Zaiamu also smiled shyly. Zaiamu, do you have anything to say? Lu Han said, handing the microphone to Yi Zaiamu. Dear trainees, come on, Su Luo is really amazing and she's a great dancer too. You must learn from her well. Yi Zaiamu's words were very official. I'm asking if you have anything to say to Luo. After all, the atmosphere was so tense just now, Lu Han said with a smile. Upon hearing this, Yi Zaiamu glanced at the expectant expressions of the trainees and turned to look at Su Luo. I won't tell you about this. Let's talk about it slowly when we get back. After Yi Zaiamu finished speaking, she gave a playful smile to the audience and blinked one eye. Confession Balloon. Lyricist Fang Wenchen. Composer Jay Chu. Original singer Jay Chu. Chapter 159, The First Day of Trial. After the performance, Su Luo took Yi Zaiamu out of the studio. It was okay to stay for a while, but it would not be appropriate to stay there all the time. My dear, I fell in love with you. From that day on, it was so sweet and easy. On the way, Yizayamu sang softly with a sweet voice and a happy look on her face. At noon, Suluo cooked a meal, and the aroma attracted Pei Enju. The three of them had lunch together. Honey, I have to go record the show. You take a nap. If you wake up and feel bored, come find me in Area 7. After dinner in the room, Suluo looked at Yizayamu and gave her serious instructions. Oh, husband, you are becoming more and more nagging. I know, Yizayamu said with a smile. Okay, I won't say anything more. I'll leave first. Suluo walked to the door with a smile and waved her hand. Yeah, Yizayamu, who was lying on the bed, agreed repeatedly. Then Suluo opened the door, walked out, and then gently closed the door. As soon as I walked out of the room, I saw Pei Enju coming down the stairs. Teacher Su, are you going to class? Pei Enju asked. Yes. Then let's go together, Pei Enju invited with a smile. Suluo nodded and followed Pei Enju out of the villa. Teacher Su, I'm here, Pei Enju said in area number 3. Come on, Teacher Pei, I'm still ahead. After Suluo said this, she walked to area number 7 alone. When Suluo walked in, all 30 trainees were already there. Most of them looked at Suluo with admiration. Suluo nodded in her heart, thinking that it should be easy to teach in this state. Hello everyone, I'm Suluo. Come and sit here first. Suluo sat in front of a large mirror and gestured for the trainees to sit together. 30 trainees sat in front of Suluo one after another. Suluo took a quick look and recognized 2 of them, Su Chengshuan and Song Jinan. Professional knowledge will be taught uniformly every morning, so my first requirement for you is that you must listen carefully to the morning classes. Suluo raised a finger and spoke seriously. The afternoon classes are from 1:00 to 5:00. During this time, you will be able to train freely, and I will take turns giving you guidance. Suluo did not tell him to come to him if he had any problems like he did at school. Otherwise, he would be really afraid that this group of people would rush up to him. Of course, this afternoon doesn't count. It's the first day, so let's get used to it and chat. Suluo smiled and said that she mainly wanted the trainees to get to know each other. Teacher Su, have you not graduated from university yet? A trainee in the audience asked the question. Yes, I'm a senior and will graduate in June. Suluo nodded. Teacher Su, how do you know Teacher Z? I can only say that fate is wonderful. Suluo smiled mysteriously and spoke. Suluo answered each of the trainees' questions seriously, which brought her closer to the trainees. After chatting for a while, Suluo glanced at the camera and thought for a while. If this continued, there would be no footage here. He didn't care. The main thing was that these trainees needed the footage. The benefits of this talent show are not limited to the 7 who debuted. The other trainees who did not debut received exposure and fans, which are definitely opportunities they would not have encountered under normal circumstances. Well, classmates, we now know each other pretty well. Next, let's play a game. Suluo thought about it and felt that there had to be something attractive before the director team would consider giving it a shot. Teacher Su, what are we playing? A trainee asked. In the following time, Suluo played a few small games with the trainees, with some funny and interesting moments. Suluo nodded in her heart, thinking that there should be quite a few shots. Yizayamu did not come in the afternoon, mainly because he was afraid of disturbing Suluo's class. Classmates, today's class ends here. Tomorrow afternoon we will start free practice. Don't miss out on singing and dancing. I'll guide you one by one, so don't worry. Okay, get out of class is over, let's go eat. Suluo said this and walked out of area number 7. When Suluo returned to the villa, she found that Pei Enju had already arrived and was heating up the food in the kitchen. Yizayamu was sitting on the sofa watching TV. Honey, you're back? Yizayamu looked at Suluo coming in, stood up and greeted her. I'm back. Suluo changed into slippers at the door, walked to Yizayamu and hugged her. Teacher Su, I heated up the lunch dishes. It should be fine. Pei Enju came out at this time and spoke. Thank you for your hard work, Teacher Pei, Suluo said with a smile, then took Yizayamu's hand and walked into the kitchen. The food tasted pretty good. After the 3 of them finished their meal, Suluo accompanied Yizayamu for a walk and then returned to the room. The 2 chatted for a while, mainly talking about their feelings on the first day of class. Yizayamu became interested in everything Suluo said. Honey, can I go with you tomorrow? Yizayamu looked at Suluo expectantly. Okay, but you can't work too hard, just look around more, Suluo said softly while hugging Yizayamu. Don't worry, the doctor said you can do some exercise, it's okay. Yizayamu said happily with his eyes narrowed. Okay then, Su Luo smiled and agreed. Zhang Yixing's class tomorrow morning was his, so he could play it off again. Unlike the harmonious atmosphere of Class F, the competitive atmosphere between Class B, Class C, and Class D is quite strong. Especially Class B. They think that as long as they work harder, they can get into Class A. That night, several girls sneaked into Villa number 2 and discovered that the tutors lived together. The idea of private tutoring was instantly extinguished. The girls looked at each other and returned to the dormitory helplessly. At this time, the program Come On, Trainee has been promoted again on the internet. The first episode is scheduled to be broadcast 1 month later on June 22, which is both the elimination day and the day the first episode will be broadcast. At the same time, the relevant promotional video has been uploaded to the Tengku Video website. At the same time, on the official Weibo, voting options have appeared for the 101 trainees. After the first round of eliminations is completed, the remaining trainees will open a voting channel to vote for their support. For trainees, they not only have to consider the mentor's scores, but also the outside votes. Because 1 month of training cannot really change much, especially for individual trainees like Song Jinan and Su Chengshuan. Without the support of the company, our inherent advantages will be much worse than others. At this time, it was already 10:00 p.m., and the lights in the practice room in Area 7 were still on. The two aloof princesses are practicing the basics of dance over and over again. Chapter 160, What the Hell is Boss Dad? That morning, Su Luo and Yi Zairamu got up early and took a simple walk in the villa area. Good morning, Teacher Su, Teacher Yi. The trainees who were rushing to class greeted them. Su Luo and Yi Zairamu held hands and responded with a smile. Boss lady. Lu Laipai stood in front of the two of them coquettishly. This is Lu Laipai from Class A trainee from our company. Su Luo looked at Yi Zairamu, who was a little confused, and began to explain. Oh, come on. Yi Zairamu nodded, then clenched his fist towards Lu Laipai. Thank you, Madam Boss. Lu Laipai bowed and said seriously. Let's go to class quickly, Su Luo said with a smile. Okay, Lu Laipai nodded, and continued walking towards Studio 10. HMPH, Yi Zairamu snorted. What's wrong, wife? Su Luo looked at Yi Zairamu in confusion. I'm obviously the boss, Yi Zairamu said angrily, pretending to be dissatisfied. Yes, my Zairamu is the boss, Su Luo replied immediately. Ha ha ha, Yi Zairamu suddenly laughed. Su Luo looked at Yi Zairamu, who was grinning foolishly with a puzzled look on her face. You are the boss, I am the boss's wife, so I am the boss and you are the boss. Dad. Ha ha ha, boss dad, I'm dying of laughter. Yi Zairamu covered her mouth and laughed. Su Luo looked at Yi Zairamu with a frown on her face. Was this girl stupid? It was okay for her to call him daddy. He rubbed Yi Zairamu's head lovingly. Wife, go back and have breakfast. I'll make you some walnut porridge. Su Luo wiped the non-existent sweat from her forehead, took Yi Zairamu's hand and spoke. Hubby, you can also cook walnut porridge? Yi Zairamu looked at Su Luo in surprise. This was the first time she had heard of walnut porridge. Yes, I cooked it especially for you. Su Luo looked at Yi Zairamu with a smile. Thank you, husband, you are so nice. Yi Zairamu praised with a smile on her face. Su Luo tried hard to suppress her smile. My silly wife, you should be more careful. When the two returned to the villa, they saw Pei Enju crying for food in the living room. I'm so hungry, Pei Enju shouted loudly. Liu Liu said to cook walnut porridge. It will be ready in a while. Yi Zairamu said to Pei Enju with a smile. Wow, walnut porridge, I love walnuts the most, Pei Enju said with a smile. Well, another child who needs care. Su Luo used a pressure cooker to cook porridge. Although the taste was a little worse, it was quick. The three of them quickly sat down in the restaurant and had breakfast. That's great, Teacher Su. Wow, Zairamu, you are so lucky, Pei Enju praised while eating. It's delicious, just eat more, Yi Zairamu said gently. As she was about to become a mother, the radiance of maternal love began to show, and she looked at Pei Enju with a caring face. After breakfast, Pei Enju took the initiative to offer to clean up the dishes. Su Luo was also relieved. After sending Yi Zairamu back to the room, she felt craving for a cigarette and ran to the balcony to smoke. In the morning, Su Luo accompanied Yi Zairamu in the room to read books. At noon, she called another child to have lunch together. Wife, I'm going to class, Su Luo said with a smile. Yes, come back early. Yi Zairamu nodded and made a heart shape to Su Luo. I love you. Su Luo stood at the door and made a heart shape with her hands. Then Su Luo left the villa. This time, she did not meet Pei Enju and went directly to Area 7. When Su Luo arrived at the practice room, The trainees had already started practicing. Seeing Su Luo come in, all the trainees immediately stopped and looked at him. You guys continue. Su Luo waved her hand, signaling them to continue practicing. Girls are the easiest to sign up for a group. 30 people were divided into several small groups, some for vocal practice and some for dancing practice. Your voice plus chest resonance. When you pronounce the words, you can feel the vibration of your chest. Feel it for yourself. Thank you, Teacher Su. Most dances require a sense of power. Slender movements don't mean they lack power. On the contrary, you need to control the power and ensure the movements are clean. Stop means stop. If you don't use force control, your movements will seem slow. Yes, that's it. Thank you, Teacher Su. Su Luo kept correcting everyone based on their practice. For a girl group, singing and dancing are the basics. Many people can't sing while dancing, and the truth is, they don't have enough breath. In addition to the necessary vocal training, I suggest you get up in the morning and run a few laps around the perimeter to improve your lung capacity. Su Luo did not manage the small groups in the class. This kind of thing existed not only in the entertainment industry, but also in the workplace. Whether to integrate into the group or enjoy solitude is everyone's choice. There is no right or wrong. Society is not simply black and white. This is Su Luo's silent lesson, which they need to experience for themselves. Pa pa pa. Seeing that time was almost up, Su Luo clapped her hands. The girl stopped and looked at Su Luo curiously. It's almost time, let's play a game, there are 30 of us. Let's stand in a row first, Su Luo said. The girls listened to Su Luo's words and clapped their hands. Then count 1, 2, 3. According to the reported numbers 1, 2, and 3, Su Luo divided them into 3 groups. Next, let me tell you the rules. The regular rhythm of street dance is 8 beats. The first person does a 2-beat move, the next person adds a 2-beat move, and so on. The last person needs to perform all the moves. How about that? Want to take on the challenge? Su Luo said this, looking at the group of trainees. Teacher Su, is there a reward if we complete it? Song Jinan shouted loudly. Reward, sure. As long as you complete it, you will get a reward. Su Luo nodded with a smile. What reward? Speaking of rewards, the girls became interested. The reward is confidential, but I can tell you that in the entire entertainment industry, no more than 5 people have this reward. Su Luo smiled mysteriously. The girls became excited instantly. Teacher Su keeps his word. That's right, we can definitely accomplish this. Don't worry, I will definitely keep my word. Look, it's still recording, right? Su Luo pointed at the camera. Liu Liu, what are you talking about? Yi Xiaomu just walked in at this time. Teacher Yi, Teacher Su is playing a game with us. They said they will give us a reward if we succeed. Oh, then I'd like to see if you can complete it, Yi Xiaomu said with interest when he heard this. Then Su Luo whispered to Yi Xiaomu and explained the rules. I understand, it's very difficult. Come on, I believe in you. After listening to this, Yi Xiaomu looked at the girls with a smile and encouraged them. In the end, of course, no one could complete it. Basically, after the 5th or 6th time, they would not be able to remember the movements. Don't lose heart. Classmates, I've promised you, Teacher Su, that you can play once a day for this month. As long as you complete it, you'll get your reward. Yi Xiaomu looked at the lost trainees and spoke to comfort them. Chapter 161, The 6th One Around Me. On the way back, Su Luo kept looking at Lao Liu's wife beside him. Husband, why are you looking at me with such resentment? Yi Xiaomu stopped in front of Su Luo with her hands behind her back, leaning sideways, looking at him with a smile on her face. I let them play this game because I knew they couldn't complete it, Su Luo said with a wry smile. Aren't you lying to them? No, I will give them a reward if they finish it. Su Luo spread his hands. His original intention was just to paint a pie in the sky. It doesn't matter what I said, this game is quite difficult, Yi Xiaomu said with a smile. Yes, the first 9 people each have 2 beats and at least 2 moves, which adds up to 18 moves. No one in the middle can make a mistake. Wife, have you ever thought that they have choreographed the movements in advance? Su Luo said softly. Ah, Yi Xiaomu's expression changed instantly. They probably wouldn't have thought of this. Right. These little brats are all very naughty, Su Luo said, taking Yi Xiaomu's hand and walking towards the villa. How old are you? You still call them brats? Yi Xiaomu smiled, reached out and pinched Su Luo lightly and said with a smile, Hey, I'm married and going to be a father soon, so the generational relationship is different. Su Luo said this in a funny way, and then pretended to be serious. Puche, Yi Xiaomu looked at Su Luo and laughed out loud. Stinky brother, just pretend. Stinky brother, what's stinky about you? What's stinky about you? Su Luo said as she moved closer to Yi Xiaomu. Hate it, go away. Yizayamu pushed Su Luo. Hee, Sister Xiang, you smell so good, Su Luo said after sniffing. You're so smooth talking, Yizayamu said angrily. Su Luo stopped immediately and looked straight at Yizayamu. What are you doing? Yizayamu also stopped and asked curiously while standing opposite Su Luo. Let me show you if I'm a smooth talker. Su Luo smiled and leaned towards Yizayamu. Yizayamu, who was being kissed, whimpered. Luo, are you guys here? I'm leaving first. Luhan called out as soon as he saw Su Luo after class, then immediately lowered his head and hurried away. You're so annoying. We're outside. Yizayamu pushed Su Luo away with a red face and scolded with a smile. Just now you held me tightly, Stop talking. Yizayamu blushed and covered Su Luo's mouth. Let's go back quickly. Then Yizayamu pulled Su Luo's arm and walked quickly towards the villa. The two returned to the villa, but Pei Enju had not returned yet. Wife, what do you want to eat tonight? Su Luo asked. Whatever, Yizayamu said with a smile. Then let's make some pickled fish. I don't want to eat fish anymore. Then the braised pork. It feels too oily. Then what do you want to eat? Su Luo touched her forehead. Casual. In the end, Su Luo managed to make a few home-cooked dishes. Cola chicken wings, slightly spicy boiled pork slices, stir-fried seasonal vegetables, and tomato and egg. Finally, she made a corn and pork rib soup. When Su Luo finished cooking, Pei Enju just came back. Sorry to bother Teacher Su and Teacher Yi, Pei Enju said apologetically. Did you just finish class? Su Luo asked curiously. Yes, Pei Enju nodded. Teacher Pei, don't be so stubborn. If you do this, others will have no chance of survival. You are in Class A. Su Luo said speechlessly. You have been coaching for longer than others, and you are in Class A, a class that can almost debut. Yizayamu, who was standing aside, covered her mouth and laughed secretly. Teacher Su, what is a scroll? Pei Enju asked with confusion. Su Luo was stunned. How to explain it? Although there are explanations for it on the internet. This feeling that can be understood but not expressed in words must be expressed in this way to make it meaningful. Eat, Su Luo said, picking up a chicken wing and putting it in Yizayamu's bowl. After dinner in the evening, Wang Ji came to discuss the broadcasting rights of Confession Balloon, which was pushed to Lu Miao by Su Luo. Teacher Su, excuse me for asking, is that Yi Luo you? Wang Ji handed Su Luo a cigarette at the door of the villa. Guess, Su Luo took the cigarette and lit it. That's you? Teacher Su, we have an unwelcome request, but we don't know if we should ask it. Wang Ji spoke a little embarrassedly. Then don't say anything. Su Luo slowly exhaled a puff of smoke and said with a smile. Wang Ji's words got stuck in his throat. It's just a joke, Director Wang, go ahead. Su Luo smiled and said, it's about cheering up the trainee theme song. I wonder if Teacher Su is interested. But it was detected that Wang Ji was trying to get the host to create a trainee theme song. Please specify the reward direction first. 1. Money shares. 2. God-level skills. 3. Entertainment works. 4. Other options. Choose 3, Su Luo thought silently. The selection was successful, as only one option was chosen. The rewards for the mission selection are all entertainment works. 1. Agree to create the theme song for the trainee. Come on. And receive, you are the most beautiful as a gift as well as a music store. 2. Refuse to create come on, trainee theme song reward script mall. Faced with these two choices, Su Luo hesitated for a while and decided on option 1. On the one hand, it was because he had previously had the option of choosing God-level singing skills instead of God-level acting skills. On the other hand, although it was difficult to choose the reward this time, Su Luo still made a choice considering Yizayamu's interests and hobbies. Choose 1, Su Luo muttered to herself. Choose success and be rewarded with, you are the most beautiful and the music mall. Su Luo sank into her mind, and a light screen appeared in her mind, with various categories on it, including love songs, inspirational songs, choruses, etc. You can also search by keywords and try listening to the songs, but the purchase price ranges from 100,000 to 5 million. The final reminder from the light screen. Purchases from this mall will use reasonable methods to deduct the host's Chinese currency and automatically register the copyright. This reward is really good. Su Luo was very happy. Director Wang, let me give it a try, Su Luo said modestly. Yes, just try it. Wang Ji nodded with a smile and agreed. I listened to the song given by the system. It was light and upbeat, and it was a very good theme song. Su Luo did not write it immediately, but planned to wait for a few days. Otherwise, this creative ability would indeed seem a bit incredible. By the way, there is one more thing I want to tell you. Wang Ji put out his cigarette and spoke. Director Wang, you go ahead. Su Luo nodded in response. You Are the Most Beautiful is the theme song of Creation 3. Chapter 162, Su Luo's Individual Tutoring. 20 people will be eliminated on June 22nd. Then each mentor will have to perform a program, and the mentors will perform the theme song. Also, if you need a dancer, you need to tell us in advance, and we will arrange a dance troupe to cooperate. Wang Ji briefly talked about the upcoming recording plan. Okay, Director Wang, I understand. Su Luo nodded and spoke. Okay, Teacher Su, I won't bother you anymore. Please tell Teacher Pei about this for me. I'll be leaving first. After Wang Ji finished speaking, he left Villa Number 1. He still had to go to Villa Number 2 to inform the news. Su Luo returned to the living room and found Yi Xiaomu and Pei Enju chatting together. When they saw him come in, they looked at him in confusion. Teacher Pei, Director Wang just informed us that we need to prepare a program before June 22nd. If we need dancers, please let him know. Also, Su Luo told Pei Enju the information briefly and clearly. Thank you, Teacher Su, I understand, Pei Enju said seriously. You're welcome. Xiaomu, do you want to go out for a walk? Su Luo smiled and asked Yi Xiaomu. Okay, let's go. Yi Xiaomu immediately stood up and trotted towards Su Luo. Slow down and be careful. Su Luo supported Yi Xiaomu and reminded her. I know, don't worry, I will be careful next time. Yi Xiaomu nodded and agreed. Enju, Liu and I are going out. You should get some rest early. Yi Xiaomu walked to the door, turned around and greeted Pei Enju. Pei Enju smiled and waved at Yi Xiaomu. Su Luo and Yi Xiaomu began to take a walk around the villa area. Maintaining a certain amount of exercise every day would be beneficial for Yi Xiaomu's future fertility. It was a relatively cool night in May. Su Luo took off her coat and put it on Yi Xiaomu. Yi Xiaomu held Su Luo's coat with both hands and smiled. The two of them walked casually while chatting about family matters. Honey, that's area number 7. The lights are still on. Is anyone still practicing in there? Yi Xiaomu pointed to a place not far away and said in surprise. It's not just Class F, look, the lights of several trainees are on. Really, they work so hard. Su Luo sighed. After all, this audition is an opportunity for them, and they may not have another chance for a year or even several years. Yi Xiaomu said with emotion. Many entertainment companies sign hundreds of people at a time, but in reality, only a few of them may become popular. As for the rest, just give them a basic salary or make some money from the penalty for breach of contract. No matter what, as long as 1 out of 100 trainees becomes popular, they can make a lot of money. Then the small amount you earn may be enough to offset the free meals of the other 99 people, and there may even be some left over. Therefore, most trainees cherish this opportunity very much. Hubby, let's go and take a look. After all, he is your student. Yi Xiaomu showed interest and pulled Su Luo towards number 7. TT keyword add data title equals beauty, data tag equals fine recommendations, data type equals 1, data value equals 1930/TT keyword add. Okay, I'll listen to you. Su Luo smiled dotingly and let Yi Xiaomu pull her towards area number 7. In the practice room, 2 figures were constantly performing basic rhythmic movements, perhaps adding some moves they had learned during the day. Su Luo stood at the door, covering her forehead. These 2 really had never learned any dance. Teacher Yi, Su Luo was just thinking about it when Yi Xiaomu pushed open the door and walked in. The 2 girls saw Yi Xiaomu at the first moment. Hello, classmate Su, classmate Song. Yi Xiaomu greeted them gently. After Yi Xiaomu finished speaking, Su Luo also walked in. Teacher Su, the 2 girls bowed to Su Luo. This is not a school, no need to bow, Su Luo said with a smile. Haven't you learned any dance at all? Su Luo asked curiously. Yes, the 2 girls lowered their heads and replied in a low voice. Liu, please take care of them. After all, you are their teacher, Yi Xiaomu advised from the side. After all, these 2 girls, Su Chengshuan and Song Jinan, were the 2 girls sitting next to Yi Xiaomu during the first class. Yi Xiaomu still had an impression of the 2 people, and she also had a good impression of them. I remember that you 2 practiced singing during the day, Su Luo recalled. Teacher Su, we 2 are the type that are not good at anything. We have to practice everything, Song Jinan said self-deprecatingly. Okay, let me take you through the basics first, and then you can practice on your own. Su Luo thought for a while and spoke. After all, neither of them has even started yet, so it would be difficult to achieve any results if they simply practiced the rhythm. Thank you, Teacher Su, the 2 little ones said excitedly. Su Luo found a stool and moved it to Yi Xiaomu, asking her to sit down. Then Su Luo walked to the mirror. I took out my cell phone and found some hip-hop music and started playing it. Come on, let's start from the beginning, Su Luo said, tilting her head to one side and pressing hard with her right hand. Press harder, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, switch to the other side, Su Luo said, turning to the other side and pressing hard with her left hand. Yi Xiaomu watched with interest as Su Luo led the two of them in basic training. Yi Xiaomu is a singer. Although some of her songs require dancing, she learns the moves directly with the choreography and instruction of professional teachers. This kind of practice starting from the basics was the first time she had seen it, and it wasn't that she was unwilling to learn the basics. It's because she spent most of her time practicing her singing skills. Otherwise, she wouldn't have won the title of Queen of Singing so early. Next up, the shoulders. Next, the feet. Turn inward, turn outward, speed up. Su Luo taught him from head to toe, including basic hand movements. Have you memorized these basic movements? Su Luo turned and looked at the two girls. The two girls stammered. They were so busy following the practice that they had no idea how to remember the movements. The key point is that these girls don't have mobile phones, so they can't even record videos. Su Luo gave Yi Xiaomu a helpless smile, and then simply walked the two girls through the movements, while also teaching them some stretching and hip-opening techniques. Remind them to stretch and open their hips after each warm-up with basic exercises. Remember, Su Luo asked again. Remember, Teacher Su. The two girls nodded heavily. Only when the foundation is laid can you learn the movements quickly later on, but you don't have much time, so you need to make your own decisions. Su Luo walked to Yi Xiaomu, took the tissue she handed over, wiped the sweat from her forehead, and spoke softly. Thank you, Teacher Su, thank you. The two bowed to Su Luo and Yi Xiaomu again. Okay, we're leaving first. You guys go back and rest early. Su Luo said this and took Yi Xiaomu's hand and left the practice room. Hubby, watching you teach them, I also want to learn, Yi Xiaomu said with envy. Don't worry, I will teach you later. Su Luo reached out and rubbed Yi Xiaomu's head, saying with a smile. Chapter 163, Director Zai Wangji. Su Luo and Yi Xiaomu left Area 7 chatting and laughing. After Su Luo and the others left, a figure stood up and looked at Su Luo and Yi Xiaomu's backs with a hint of anger. Su Luo and Yi Xiaomu returned to the room, washed up, and fell asleep in each other's arms. The next day, Su Luo and Yi Xiaomu were sitting in the restaurant eating. Pei Enju had already left early. She was the one who attended the class this morning and left very early. After dinner, Su Luo took Yi Xiaomu to find Wang Ji. Handed over the music score of You Are the Most Important. Wang Ji took the music score and looked at Su Luo awkwardly. He couldn't understand it. Oh, sorry, I forgot you don't understand the music score. Su Luo touched his forehead and said helplessly. Wang Ji looked at Su Luo's expression and shouted in his heart, MMP, I'm the director. How the hell do I understand the music score? Then I'll sing for you, Su Luo said with a smile. Wang Ji nodded in agreement and called a few people from the program team, as well as Lu Han and Zhang Yixing who happened to be passing by. Then Su Luo walked to the front, sang the song briefly, and added the original dance. Stand at ease, please report and smile at first sight. Keep your head high and your back straight. Don't scream or your chest will pound. Clap, clap, clap. Yi Xiaomu clapped excitedly. Although this song is not a song with a lot of connotation, it is light and clear, and Su Luo also adds some dance moves. This made Su Luo, who always looked like an old man, suddenly show her playful side in front of Yi Xiaomu. Hubby, you're so great. Yi Xiaomu quickly stepped forward, took Su Luo's arm, and said in surprise. Wang Ji and Lu Han looked at each other, and seeing Lu Han nod with satisfaction, he understood what was going on. A Luo, sure, this is indeed a good time to make a theme song for a girl group. Lu Han looked at Su Luo and said with a smile. Zhang Yixing also nodded, although he was not willing to make this kind of music. However, this kind of song that expresses feelings directly has a strong sense of rhythm, and is light and bright is indeed very suitable for girl groups. Then Wang Ji agreed to use the song and immediately called Lu Miao. Su Luo, Lu Han, and Zhang Yixing got together to compose the music. Yi Xiaomu sat next to Su Luo, watching Su Luo busying herself seriously and couldn't help but be a little dazed. Serious men are the most attractive. Lu Han and Zhang Yixing are both professional singer-songwriters. Together with Su Luo, the three of them completed the arrangement in more than an hour. That's great. It seems that we have to record another special before being eliminated, Wang Ji said excitedly. Director Wang, aren't we being too hasty? Su Luo looked at Wang Ji in surprise. It turned out that they could have given up almost a month, so why did they suddenly have to record an extra episode? No, the release of this theme song is a top priority. It was originally planned to be released after the eliminations, but now that it's finished ahead of schedule, it's definitely better to record it earlier. Wang Ji was listening to music in his headphones and talking excitedly. Okay, I'll let you be a slut. I'll let you be a slut. Su Luo was helpless and hit her right hand hard with her left hand while muttering to herself. Yi Xiaomu was laughing secretly beside Su Luo, but she actually wanted to do it from the bottom of her heart, because that meant Su Luo would have better exposure. It's not that Yi Xiaomu insisted that Su Luo debut as a star, but she had her own little plan in mind, to let more people see Su Luo's excellence. In this way, as his wife, she would feel very proud. The final result of the discussion was that after Su Luo finished the open class, one round would pass, and they would gather together to record the release theme song. This is fairer to the trainees and can also provide targeted training. In the end, Wang Ji took the initiative to ask for a gesture and invited all the instructors to have lunch together at noon. Pei Enju was reminded after class and then walked over. The 5 mentors, Yi Xiaomu, and 3 people from the director team got together, and this time they were in the program crew and ordered food from Gongting Yuan. After a burst of eating and drinking at noon, all the tutors finally agreed to this arrangement. Director Wang, it's not easy to have a meal with you, Su Luo said with a smile. That's right, really, Director Wang, we've been shooting for 3 days and there's been nothing delicious to eat for 3 days. Don't you feel bad about that, Director Wang? Uncle Dong fanned the flames. And to be honest, wasn't this a bit too hasty this afternoon? I couldn't even drink alcohol. Lu Han chimed in. Look at each of you, you are so bad, our Yixing is still better. Wang Ji looked at them with a wry smile. Oh, Director Wang, I do agree with what they said. Upon hearing this, Zhang Yixing immediately sat up straight and expressed his opinion. Wang Ji rolled his eyes and finally said with reluctance that he would arrange a drink in the evening after the next episode was recorded. Director Wang, please don't do anything bad. I'm starving on the first day of recording. Su Luo's words made Wang Ji's face change. This was what he had thought. Director Wang, I saw your expression change. Oh my God, do you really think so? Lu Han said in a teasing tone. Teachers, I was wrong. I promise I will finish the recording during the day. Looking at Zhang Yixing and others who were staring at him covetously, Wang Zhai raised his hands in surrender. After dinner, Su Luo sent Yi Xiaomu back to the villa and then went to Area 7. The afternoon was the same as yesterday, with individual instruction, but Su Luo always felt a vague sense of hostility. What's going on? At this moment, a girl in the crowd stared at Su Luo's figure, anger flashing in her eyes. He doesn't teach them well during normal times, but gives Su Chengshuan and Song Jinan special lessons at night. Thinking of this, he looked at Su Chengshuan and Song Jinan with jealousy. This person is also an individual trainee, Dong Nuo, who is a live streamer. He came out last night and accidentally discovered that area number 7 was lit. When I walked over quietly, I found that Su Luo was talking to Su Chengshuan and Song Jinan alone. Chengshuan Nan Nan, is this how teacher Su said to pronounce it? Looking away, Dong Nuo said to the 2 of them with a smile on his face, and then began to speak. Nano, you are so awesome, Su Chengshuan said with envy. Dong Nuo chuckled in her heart. After all, she was a big anchor and she must have learned singing and dancing. After several rounds of guidance, the time was almost up. Teacher Su, does the game that teacher you talked about yesterday still count? When Su Chengshuan saw Su Luo wanted to run, she immediately shouted loudly. Forget it, Su Luo felt helpless. What else could he do? He could only fill the hole his wife had dug himself. The women cheered, then. Sure enough, all 3 groups completed it. I know you will prepare in advance, but our Xiaomu has already promised you, so what can we do? Su Luo spread her hands helplessly and spoke awkwardly. Creation 3, Theme Song Hard Candy Girl 303. Lyricist, Guo Jingaming. Composer, The Antelopes. Arranger, The Antelopes/Zurongjian/Zheng Nan. Chapter 164, Where Does the Killing Intent Come From? The girls laughed together at first, then stopped Su Luo curiously and asked, Teacher Su, what is the reward? You'll know when I give it to you. Oh, and cancel the game. From now on, if you succeed every time, I won't be able to handle it. Su Luo said this, turned around, waved her hand, and walked out of the practice room. Seeing Su Luo fleeing in panic, the students in Class F were all laughing uncontrollably. As soon as she went out, Su Luo saw Yi Xiaomu standing at the door. Wife, why don't you come in now that you're here? Su Luo trotted a few steps, held Yi Zayaramu's hand, and asked curiously. I don't want to delay my classmates' training. Yi Zayaramu smiled and said, It's okay to go in directly next time. Their training is mainly to find out the deficiencies and fill them. It won't delay too much, Su Luo said with a smile. After all, Yi Zayaramu would only be there for a short while, so the impact wouldn't be significant. Now that we have a theme song, elimination will definitely be based on the evaluation of the theme song. So as long as you work hard, your hope will be even greater. Su Luo was still relieved on this point. Walking with Yi Zayaramu all the way. Why did you look so sad when I saw you come out just now? Yi Zayaramu asked curiously. All three groups have completed today's game, Su Luo explained helplessly. Ah, Yi Zayaramu blushed and immediately understood why they were able to accomplish it. If this were played suddenly, it would definitely be difficult to succeed. But this game was announced in advance, so the actions were naturally arranged in advance. It is conceivable that Su Luo has to fulfill her promise and give gifts to 30 people. Hubby, very sorry, I forgot. As Yi Zayaramu spoke, he held Su Luo's shoulders and laughed. I was planning to give away the wood carving, but these 30 people. Why did I mention this game? Su Luo covered her face speechlessly and followed Yi Zayaramu. Husband, I was wrong and caused you trouble, Yi Zayaramu said apologetically. Don't worry, honey, I have a way. Don't let your imagination run wild. You haven't caused me any trouble. Su Luo was worried that Yi Zayaramu would get stuck in a rut and start overthinking things, which would make her feel bad, and that would be a sin. Really? Yi Zayaramu's expression changed immediately. She looked at Su Luo with confusion and curiosity, not knowing what he was thinking. It's really more real than pearls, Su Luo said, reaching out and scratching Yi Zayaramu's nose. Su Luo's idea was very simple. As a reward for the trainees, just carve 30 little foxes. The two returned to the room, and Su Luo contacted Wang Zhi and asked him to arrange to buy some basswood. Although Wang Zhi was curious, he still agreed and arranged for people to go out and purchase the goods tomorrow. Su Luo also took this opportunity to contact Chen Chich and asked him if he had got the wood. He said that they had arrived, 3 servings for him, Chen Chichai, Deng Keo, and Lu Han. The Nanmu wood they bought was considered quite expensive, so Chen Chichai finally decided to deliver the goods personally. After confirming these things, Su Luo entered the kitchen and began to cook dinner. Yi Zayaramu sat on the sofa, quietly watching the busy figures in the kitchen with a slight smile on her lips. You two have such a good relationship. Pei Enju walked down and said with a smile when she saw Yi Zayaramu. It's okay, it's okay. Yi Zayaramu was a little embarrassed after being caught peeping. Her face turned red and she pretended to be calm as she spoke. Are you, Fang Ersai? Pei Enju said with a suspicious look on her face. Fang Ersai, are you talking about Versailles? Yi Zayaramu covered her mouth and laughed secretly. It seemed that she had really irritated the single guy just now. After all, when she said it was okay, the light in her eyes and the unconscious grin on her lips couldn't deceive anyone. Then the two chatted for a while, mainly because Pei Enju was very interested in Chinese culture. The two chatted a lot, and Yi Zayaramu even taught her a song from her album, Little Lucky. It turns out that you are the luck that I want to keep the most. It turns out that we were once so close to love. When Su Luo finished cooking and came out to call them to eat, she heard the two of them singing in chorus. I'm so lucky to have met you, but I've lost the right to shed tears for you. I hope that in the sky where I cannot see you, you will spread your wings and meet your destiny. Oh, how lucky she will be. Pa pa pa. After the song ended, Su Luo clapped her hands. Very good, Su Luo praised. Both of them had sweet voices and their harmonies matched well. Husband, Yi Zayaramu turned around and saw Su Luo and called out with a smile. It's time to eat, Su Luo smiled. Then the three of them sat in the restaurant to eat. Teacher Su, did you write all of Zayaramu's songs? Pei Enju asked curiously. Yes, Su Luo nodded. So awesome, bringing up that guy. Pei Enju gave a thumbs up, her almond-shaped eyes narrowed with a smile. Where does the murderous intent come from? Yi Zayaramu smiled slightly and looked at Su Luo quietly. The strong, murderous intent in his eyes made Su Luo shiver. Eat, Su Luo decisively admitted defeat. After dinner, Su Luo takes Yi Zayaramu for a walk every day. Then he accompanied Yi Zayaramu to area number 7 again, and took Su Chengshuan and Song Jinan to do the basics again. At Yi Zayaramu's strong request, they danced to You Are the Most Important. He taught Yi Zayaramu some simple movements, and Yi Zayaramu followed suit. There were some leaps and difficulties, so Su Luo stopped Yi Zayaramu and used the child as an excuse to stop Yizayaramu from learning. Then after I finish my confinement, you have to teach me to dance. Yizayaramu could only pout and mutter. Of course, I promise you, okay? Su Luo said and kissed Yizayaramu. You want to die? Su Chengshuan and Song Jinan are still here. Yizayaramu pushed Su Luo away, patted him, and said angrily, We didn't see anything. Su Chengshuan and Song Jinan immediately waved their hands and said repeatedly. But Su Luo forgot that this trainee had a camera. This part must be kept, Wang Ji said with a smirk in the director's office. Large-scale talent show, variety show, love version. Yes, it's you. All right, Su Chengshuan, Song Jinan, you guys continue, we're leaving first. Su Luo saw that the time was almost up, so she pulled Yizayaramu and spoke. Okay, Teacher Su, take care. The two girls waved to Su Luo and the others. After walking out of area number 7, Su Luo looked behind him in confusion. Honey, what's wrong? Yizayaramu asked curiously, holding Su Luo's hand. I don't know, I feel like someone is looking at me, Su Luo frowned. Dong Nuo felt a panic in the darkness. It must be an illusion, don't worry. And this is the production team, don't worry. It's time to go home. Su Luo rubbed Yizayaramu's head and said with a smile. The two of them walked slowly towards the villa, but when they left, Su Luo frowned slightly. Little Lucky, lyricist Su Shijian Wu Huifu, composer, original singer Hebe Tyne. Chapter 165, Yizayaramu's career ambition. Su Luo and Yizayaramu returned to the villa, washed up together, and then fell asleep in each other's arms. Looking at Yizayaramu, who was breathing evenly in her arms, Su Luo smiled, and then a thoughtful look appeared on her face. He did see a dark shadow at night, probably a trainee, but he didn't know who it was. After thinking about the performance of each trainee in the afternoon, Su Luo locked onto an individual trainee named Dong Nuo. Among the trainees, Song Jinan is probably the only one with acting skills. After all, he has been an extra. The others basically had no acting background, especially Dong Nuo, who was a broadcaster. Thinking about it now, the jealous look on his face was almost written all over it. Su Luo shook her head and didn't care. This kind of thing was normal in the entertainment industry. If you want help from others, you can either work hard and meet people who are willing to help the younger generation, or trade with them so that everyone gets what they need. Since trading doesn't work with Su Luo, hard work becomes the only way. Since I have seen Su Luo teaching alone, I can just follow her. Su Luo would not refuse anyone who is willing to work hard. I can only say that people with a heart always tend to overthink things. Thinking of this, Su Luo felt relieved. As for Dong Nuo, Su Luo did not take it to heart. As for how she would behave in the future, it depended on her. The next day, Su Luo got up, prepared breakfast, and called Yizayaramu and Pei Enju to have breakfast together. Then, at Wang Ji's request, several people went to Area 11, where Lu Han and Zhang Yixing were already there. Su Luo was mainly responsible for teaching the theme song and dance. As for Uncle Dong, who was currently taking classes, he was handed over to Lu Han and Zhang Yixing. Yizayaramu sat aside and watched Su Luo lead the three of them to dance twice. All three of them debuted in South Korea and are very professional in dancing. After 2 times, there is basically no problem. Brother Lu, Brother Yixing, I'll leave my brother-in-law's side to you too. Su Luo said this with a smile as she sent the music to the group of 5 mentors. Wang Ji nodded beside him. In that case, Director Wang, shouldn't we arrange for Brother Lu and Brother Yixing to meet at noon? Let's make some arrangements for lunch. Yizayaramu and I will accompany you, and then we'll invite our brother-in-law. Otherwise, it wouldn't be appropriate for us not to invite him. Su Luo winked at Wang Ji as she spoke. Teacher Su Yu? Wang Ji wanted to cry but had no tears. He was cheated out of more than 2,000 yuan yesterday, and now it happens again today. Director Wang, look, Brother Lu, Brother Yixing, and Teacher Pei are all professionals. They can dance after I've danced twice. Uncle Dong knows nothing about dancing. Brother Lu and Brother Yixing took over this job, thinking of helping you record the show, right? Who knows, they might have to teach you until midnight. What if Uncle Dong can't learn it? He'll have to teach me until dawn. What do you think? Should we treat Brother Lu and Brother Yixing to a meal? Su Luo said this and winked at Lu Han and Zhang Yixing. That's right, Director Wang, why don't you arrange someone to teach us? Lu Han understood and spoke immediately. Oh my, I was planning to compose a melody tonight. Zhang Yixing is no longer the little lamb he used to be. I can treat them both, but what about you, Teacher Su? Wang Ji felt helpless when he saw this. He couldn't escape this meal. Zyro Mu and I are just here to keep him company. After all, I was the one who taught him this dance. If I don't sit here to keep him company, they might think I don't want it to be spread out, which would be inappropriate, Su Luo said with a wink. Finally, Wang Ji, with a look of sadness on his face, agreed to arrange another meal at noon. Director Wang, you can't miss the dinner we promised yesterday, Su Luo finally said with a wicked smile. You are such a bad boy. Don't worry, there will be no shortage of it. Wang Ji pretended to be angry and spoke. Then, just like yesterday, I ordered a meal from the palace garden. After calling Uncle Dong, Wang Ji's mouth twitched as he looked at the people eating and drinking to their heart's content. Director Wang, why don't you eat? Su Luo looked at Wang Ji and said with a smile. I'll eat, Wang Ji said with a bitter face. Seeing Wang Ji's bitter face, several people smiled at each other. After tricking Wang Ji, several people left happily, leaving Wang Ji alone and sad. Just like before, Su Luo sent Yi Xiaomu back to the villa and went to the practice room. Today, he noticed the man named Dong Nuo. Although she had been trying to hide it, Su Luo still sensed a subtle hostility and jealousy in the eyes of Song Jinan and Su Chengshuan. Su Luo said that she only knows how to watch the show and that few people would stand up and remind her about working hard. After all, no one wants to do good things and still be disliked. Yi Xiaomu did not come after class today. When Su Luo returned to the villa, she saw Yi Xiaomu lying on the sofa looking at her mobile phone. Husband, you're back, Yi Xiaomu said when she saw Su Luo come in. What are you doing? Su Luo asked curiously. Part of the script of Zhu Xian has come out. Let me take a look first, Yi Xiaomu said with a smile. Su Luo was curious, so she took the phone and took a quick look at it. It was pretty good. Do you really want to take the picture? Will you not take care of the child then? Su Luo rubbed Yi Xiaomu's little head and said, At this rate, I may not be able to catch up. The baby may not even be 100 days old, Yi Xiaomu said with a pout. It's okay. If it doesn't work, I'll write another script and you can still shoot it, Su Luo consoled with a smile. Yeah, Yi Xiaomu nodded with a smile. As the pregnancy progressed, Yi Xiaomu became less and less concerned about her career. She just wanted her child to be born and grow up healthy and happy. This mentality is completely different from what she had a month ago. If you want to shoot it at the end, we will postpone it. It's your decision. I will listen to you. Su Luo kissed Yi Xiaomu and then spoke. Okay, then I won't shoot. Let's leave the opportunity to the people in the company. I heard recently that Sister Yo has recruited a few more students from the acting department, Yi Xiaomu said with a smile. Then you tell Sister Yo I'll go cook, Su Luo said as she walked towards the kitchen. Yi Xiaomu made a phone call to explain the situation. Tanya naturally had no problem with it and agreed. Not long after, Pei Enju came back, followed by Wang Ji. The wood ordered yesterday has arrived. Wang Ji moved the wood into the living room and his nose twitched. What a nice smell, Wang Ji exclaimed in admiration. Director Wang, would you like to stay for dinner? Yi Xiaomu asked politely. Then I won't be polite. Wang Ji was delighted and agreed immediately. Yi Xiaomu and Pei Enju were both stunned and saw Wang Ji running into the kitchen. Chapter 166, Director Wang, where is your integrity? Teacher Su, don't be so polite. 7 or 8 dishes are enough. Don't be so polite, Wang Ji said with a smug look on his face. Director Wang, where is your moral integrity? Su Luo said without turning her head while cooking. What is moral integrity? How much is 1 pound? In the end, Su Luo made 5 dishes and a soup, and the 4 of them ate together. Teacher Su, your cooking skills are really amazing, Wang Ji said with admiration after finishing eating. By the way, the basswood has been delivered. It's in the living room. You didn't know that I moved it by myself, Wang Ji began to complain. Director Wang, being a director is such a waste of your talent. With your abilities, you're definitely a movie star. Su Luo covered her forehead and looked at the dramatic Wang Ji. After dinner, Wang Ji left the villa, and Su Luo carried basswood back to the room in several batches. Honey, are you going to do it tonight? Yi Xiaomu asked Su Luo, who was dividing the wood. Let's start tomorrow and tidy it up today, Su Luo said with a smile. Su Luo did not go to the practice room today. After sorting out the wood, she accompanied Yi Xiaomu for a walk and then went back. Dong Nuo was surprised that he didn't see Su Luo coming over tonight. While Su Chengshuan and Song Jinan were practicing in the room, he locked the door of the practice room. Normally this lock is just hung on it, but now it is closed for filming and has been unlocked for a long time. Dong Nuo pulled out the key and threw it into the nearby grass. At this time, Su Chengshuan and Song Jinan were immersed in training. After washing up, Yi Xiaomu nestled in Su Luo's arms. Honey, do you think my rabbit has gotten bigger recently? Yi Xiaomu said with a sweet smile. Su Luo lifted the quilt and took a look. Then he squeezed it gently. Oh, that's disgusting. Yi Zaiamu pushed Su Luo's hand away and said coquettishly. It seems so. How did you know? Su Luo said with a smile. I've been feeling a little bloated lately, Yi Zaiamu explained. But it's okay. I asked the doctor and he said it's normal. HMPH, I Yi Zaiamu am also a bear, Yi Zaiamu said proudly. That's right, it's very vicious. Su Luo stretched out her hand. Yi Zaiamu pushed it away, and Su Luo reached out again, but was pushed away again. He, don't move around, it still needs to grow, Yi Zaiamu said with a pout. Then I'll make it grow faster. Su Luo smiled and stretched out her dirty hands. The two played around for a while, then fell asleep in each other's arms. TT keyword add data title equals beauty, data tag equals fine recommendations, data type equals 1, data value equals 1930, /TT keyword add at this time. Su Chengshuan and Song Jinan were pacing back and forth in the practice room in Area 7 with anxious looks on their faces. The cell phone had been confiscated long ago, and the two people were banging on the door desperately. Is anyone there? Is anyone there? After a long time, the two men sat exhausted on the ground, their backs against the door. What a bad luck, why is the door locked? Su Chengshuan complained. Yeah, but we are pretty lucky. Song Jinan tried to find a way to cheer himself up. How can this be called good luck? Su Chengshuan looked at Song Jinan in confusion. Fortunately, there is a bathroom in the practice room, Song Jinan said helplessly, pointing to the bathroom in the corner. Nanan, your train of thought is amazing. Su Chengshuan gave Song Jinan a thumbs up. Just when the two of them were about to fall asleep, the door opened. The next day, Su Luo opened her eyes and saw Yi Zaiamu still sleeping soundly. Su Luo gently pulled out the arm that she had placed under her head. Yi Zaiamu turned around in a daze and pulled Su Luo. Wife, I have to go to class in the morning, Su Luo said softly. Oh, come back early, Yi Zaiamu muttered with his eyes closed. Okay, Su Luo nodded, then lowered her head and kissed Yi Zaiamu's forehead. Then Yi Zaiamu suddenly opened his eyes, hugged Su Luo with both hands, and kissed her hard several times. Liu, go quickly, Yi Zaiamu said and closed his eyes. Su Luo smiled and shook her head, washed up briefly, and went to the kitchen. 20 minutes later, Su Luo opened the door and walked out. Wife, breakfast is ready. It's in the microwave. Remember to eat it when you get up. If it's cold, heat it up in the microwave. Su Luo was walking on the road, editing a message and sending it to Yi Zaiamu. Teacher Su, wait a moment. Wang Ji stopped Su Luo. Director Wang, what's wrong? Are you going to treat us to lunch at noon? Su Luo saw Wang Ji and teased with a smile. Teacher Su, please come here for a moment, Wang Ji said with a serious face. In area number 10, inside the studio, Su Luo stood on the stage with 101 trainees below. I want to ask everyone a question. What is a star? Su Luo glanced at the students in the audience. Su Yueking, right? Tell us. Su Luo pointed at a girl in the front row. A star refers to a person who has a certain influence in certain fields, including but not limited to actors, singers, entertainers, athletes, etc. Su Yueking stood up and answered. Very good, please sit down, Su Luo nodded. A certain influence, then who knows what influence is? Su Luo asked again. This time, the girls in the audience all looked confused. Although they understood the word, they couldn't describe it when asked to explain it. Influence is the ability to change the thoughts and actions of others in a way that they will accept. Seeing this, Su Luo did not force them but said it herself. Combining the two, it means that celebrities have the ability to change other people's thoughts and actions. In summary, being a celebrity, as a profession that can change others, has its own corresponding professional ethics. At this time, most of the people in the audience looked confused and didn't understand why Su Luo was talking about this. Teachers need to have professional ethics, doctors need to have medical ethics, and similarly, celebrities need to have artistic ethics. Why am I talking about this today? Because something happened last night in our training camp. As Su Luo spoke, she looked deeply at Dong Nuo, but she saw that Dong Nuo's eyes were evasive and she didn't dare to look at Su Luo. At a training camp, two people were training in the practice room last night when someone locked the door from the outside. First, the lights in the practice room are dimmed every day after no one trains. It was indeed on last night, but the gate was still locked, which means someone was deliberately closing the gate. We have reason to suspect that everyone, including me, is a suspect. Su Luo looked at Dong Nuo below the stage. She shook her head at this naive and innocent boy. The audience was also in chaos at this time. Don't panic, students. The video surveillance is already being sorted out. It probably won't take more than an hour. By this time, Dono had already started, his heartbeat accelerating. Chapter 167, Go back and take a little time off, Happy. Nano, what's wrong with you? Song Jinan looked at Dong Nuo, who was a little restless beside him, and asked with concern. Leave me alone, Dong Nuo said impatiently. Song Jinan was embarrassed, and Su Chengshuan beside her gently pulled her. Seeing Dong Nuo's reaction, Su Chengshuan already had something in mind. Last night in the middle of the night, Wang Ji had someone break open the door of the practice room, and they came out. After asking them what time they did extra training every day, I let them go back and finally reminded them not to make it public for the time being. Then Wang Ji started watching the surveillance video overnight and found that there were no cameras installed in the corridor. However, later on, based on the extra training time Su Chengshuan put in every night, he began to watch the surveillance in the villa area. In the end, a person, Dong Nuo, was identified. Of course, whether this surveillance video can be used as evidence needs to be judged by relevant personnel. In the morning, Wang Ji discussed this matter with Su Luo. They were given an hour to either admit the mistake and quit the show, or for the show to hand over the evidence to the police. As for admitting mistakes in private, apologizing, and letting the matter pass, this kind of campus plot does not exist here. One of the functions of a school is to cultivate students' moral character. Knowing one's mistakes is the best way to improve. Once you leave school, you are all adults. If you do something wrong, you have to bear the consequences. Not calling the police directly is already giving them a chance. If you take the initiative to admit your mistakes, apologize, and quit the program, this matter will not be pursued. Otherwise, once the surveillance footage is collated, the program team will hand it over directly to the police. Su Luo spoke seriously with a serious face, looking at Dong Nuo from time to time. Her face became obviously panicked. She bit her lips tightly and said nothing. She had not taken this matter seriously at first, but after hearing what Su Luo said, she panicked and her hands were shaking constantly. Su Luo looked at her and sighed in her heart. She must have been scared. Except for Class F, all other classes should leave. Given the condition today, it's likely that they won't be able to attend the large class. In addition, Su Luo finally softened her heart. After all, for Dong Nuo, she probably couldn't imagine such serious consequences. The girls from other classes left Area 10, whispering to each other and looking curious. Kui Nanan, go and close the door. Su Luo looked at the figure who seemed to be still peeking at the door and called the girl who was closest to her. Upon hearing this, Kui Nanan immediately stood up, ignored the people peeking at the door, and closed the door. Now everyone in other classes has left. Aren't you going to stand up? Su Luo said, looking at Dong Nuo. The other girls followed Su Luo's gaze and roughly knew who this person was. But no one spoke, just looked at each other and exchanged glances. I'll give you one last chance, stand up. Dong Nuo was frightened by Su Luo's voice, and his body trembled. Song Jinan also reacted at this time and knew in his heart that this person should be Dong Nuo. Teacher Su, please give me another chance. Dong Nuo felt the strange looks from people around him, stood up, and looked at Su Luo with tears in his eyes. Since you've admitted it, Class F is disbanded. Dono, go find the director to terminate your contract. This is already a chance for you. After Su Luo finished speaking, she walked towards the door. The girls in Class F looked at Dong Nuo with disdain, and one by one followed Su Luo and left. Teacher Su, thank you. Su Chengshuan and Song Jinan caught up and said, many times when people are hurt, they don't really need an apology. It is enough for the other party to be punished. As the saying goes, if apologies were effective, why would we have police? Don't thank me. It's mainly thanks to the director. He checked the surveillance footage all night. Su Luo smiled and waved her hand. After that, Su Luo walked towards the villa. She was going back to take a break and feel happy. Dong Nuo sat alone in the studio, and the girl who was pointing and talking at the door was persuaded to leave by the program crew. Dong Nuo, Wang Ji walked in. Director, please, I don't want to leave the show. I don't want to lose this opportunity. Dong Nuo seemed to have grabbed a life-saving straw. When I found out you did this, I couldn't believe it at first. You and the other trainees were selected by our production team. And of all the trainees, you are the one I'm most optimistic about. You're a live streamer and you have talent. You have more opportunities than other individual trainees. But I didn't expect you to do this. Wang Ji's face was not very good. This trainee was recommended to him by a friend. I originally thought she was just a pretty face, but during the screening, I found that her professional skills were pretty good. and her singing and dancing were much better than other trainees. I'm sorry, director. I know I was wrong. Please give me another chance. Dong Niu begged with tears in his eyes. She knew that if she was really persuaded to quit, she would not have any scenes later. She had already boasted to her fans, and now she couldn't explain herself to them in this situation. Danyuo, if you make a mistake, you must bear the consequences. Your teacher has already told you this when you were in school. I will change. Isn't it said that it's okay to admit your mistakes and correct them? Dong Niu kept begging. That was at school. Once outside of school, everyone must be responsible for their actions. Wang Ji said seriously. Go back and clean up. This matter ends here. Director, I was wrong. I'm willing to do anything as long as you let me stay, Dong Niu said as he began to unbutton his clothes. Stop, the matter has been decided. This is already the lightest result. Don't make the mistake. After Wang Ji finished speaking, he turned away. This trick that he had used to treat